Good morning. It's weird saying that, Joe.
Good morning.
Good morning, YouTube.
Yeah.
Welcome back to another stream, the third stream in 24 hours. Because this morning, it's very exciting, Joe. We get to play our first ever game of 10th edition together.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to give a couple of caveats straight away, right? On purpose. This is legitimately, genuinely Joe and I's first game of 10th edition together.
Yeah.
Luckily, I was invited to a special behind-the-scenes demonstration and game at Warhammer Fest by Games Workshop. So I have played one game of 10th edition before, but we have held off on playing 10th edition here in the studio and practicing, and we've done this on purpose. If you're looking for a professional, slick, learn-to-play today, we're not the right channel for you. There's probably loads of channels that are doing that kind of stuff. But what we are going to be doing today is we are learning live this morning how we set up a game and how we play a game. Yeah. Normally when you turn up, we've got a pre-selected mission for you guys. We've already deployed on the table. We've done none of that this morning. Yeah. We are going to fumble through live.
Yeah, it's like imagine you've never played 40k before. You've just you'd been given the Leviathan box set a week ago. You've built all the models. You might not pay it all. And now you're going to learn to play the game.
Yeah.
So we're going to experience.
We're literally doing it live.
For you.
Right.
What you would be doing.
We're literally doing it live. So, first of all, big shout out to Games Workshop for sending us through Leviathans. We've got, obviously, the rule book here. We've got the mission cards that we're going to be using live here as well. And we have both the Space Marine half and the Tyranid half that we're going to be using. We're not using combat patrol rules for these. We're going to be using actual game rules, which causes us a couple of problems that we've already found whilst we were chatting just pre-stream, but we're going to roll with it anyway. And a big shout out to GW, who've also supplied us with the cards that we need to play with the units in the box. So these will be the type of cards that will be available for you guys to purchase at the point in which this goes live for sale, whenever that might be. So we have got army rules, attachment rules, enhancement, stratagems, and all the data cards for all the units.
Yes.
And we haven't even, there's things about declaring what leader attaches to. We've not done any of this yet.
Yeah.
We've done nothing, right? So this is going to be either a complete fucking car crash.
Yeah. Some people would say we're ill prepared. Some people would say that we spin a good story.
Well, no, I said to guys last night, I've genuinely done this on purpose. I've made sure the lads have got access to some of the rules, but I've been like, I don't want to play and play and play and play. So we go live and we're really good. And there's a reason for this, right? So I'll explain why I've wanted to do it this way on purpose. Throughout the whole of the rules release for 10th edition 40k, Games Workshop have hammered this simplified, not simple. We've made the game more accessible. We've made it easy to understand. We've made it easy to play. We've made it easy to get on the tabletop. So what we're going to try and do this morning is actually see whether that's the case. So in 2 hours, it's going to be a bimbling utter mess and they haven't achieved their goal, or we're going to be enjoying a game of 10th edition and they have achieved their goal. But I feel like this is a cool way of reviewing it.
Yeah.
Because we will actually learn as to whether this is an accessible edition or not.
Yeah.
In my opinion, anyway. Okay? If you're new on the channel, if you haven't seen us before, or even if you're an old sweat and you haven't done it yet, please make sure you hit all the magical YouTube buttons for us. That's my little keyword that I say, so Chris presses the YouTube button. Hit that like if you haven't already. Smash subscribe. If you aren't yet a subscriber and you're just watching, you'll need to be a subscriber to be able to chat in the live chat and hit that bell notification icon if you want to be notified every single time we drop a new video or go live with new 10th edition content. Yes, Joe?
There's a benefit to being a subscriber, isn't there?
What's that?
You receive things.
Fingers.
Yes. In the mouth. Joe's dirty underwear. Yeah.
Yeah. Feet pics.
Yeah. Being a subscriber is the only way to receive gifted membership.
We have to also turn on gifted memberships. Yeah. Now, a bit of a no, this isn't a moan. This isn't a complaint. We're very lucky right now. YouTube seems to have ran out of people with gifted memberships turned on to gift memberships too. Yeah. So at the moment, when anyone's gifting memberships, it shows that they've gifted and it doesn't give them out right now. Yeah. Okay. Which is amazing because we are currently at, for the channel at least, our own record number of members, which is amazing. However, like I said last night on stream, 76% of our members are gifted memberships, and 24% of our members, because YouTube started to give me statistics finally. And you know me, Joe, I like statistics. 24% of our members are not gifted and they choose to spend their own money. Yeah. If you have been gifted one of the ways you can really support us is by taking it out on your own once it runs out, or just upgrade into Jarl for the extra £4. Get yourself access to that monthly giveaway for the Jarls and above. That really, really supports us. It's amazing. I'd love to at least get to like 50-50 gifted, but I want to get to 50-50 gifted whilst keeping the record number, not by dropping down.
I would imagine statistically it's got something to do with the fact that 9th edition is ending and 10th edition is starting.
Maybe.
People are less interested for the last month or
What
so.
I will say is, we here in the studio, I think I can speak for pretty much everyone, we say we're very excited for 10th edition, and it's been really hard to not actually come in here and play 10th games and get used to it off camera. I really wanted to do this live, because I figured that every other channel would go live with a, here's how you play, and it's really polished and really smooth, and we're teaching you the game. I'm like, well, I want to give you the live experience.
People don't come to us for polished and smooth.
No, they don't.
Smooth bodies,
Really?
in roundness.
Polished forehead.
Yeah. Like glimmering foreheads of sweat.
So a big shout out to Joe, who's come on his day off on a Saturday to stream with me and learn the game, and a massive shout out to Chris, who literally learnt the deck an hour ago, right? Because Brom's not available, Paddy's not available, so we went to Chris. No, I'm joking. So Chris is back.
I am the Jake of you and Dempsey.
Just significantly more handsome. But Chris has just got back in the country recently. We'll probably be seeing him a lot over the next couple of weeks in 10th edition streams as well. So big shout out to Chris, who's running the deck for us. These two people have given up their Saturday morning so we can give you live 10th edition launch content. So big thank you to those people. If you do want to support the channel, obviously you can become a member all by yourself. You can also gift memberships, but like I said, it's currently not really working properly. So the best way to support us today is with probably super chats or becoming a member all by yourself for upgrading your membership. If you want to super chat big questions at points throughout the stream, Chris is going to interrupt us and ask those questions, and he knows how to look through all the super chats and stuff like that, so feel free to chuck questions in. We'll try and answer them. Sometimes we're going to have to stop, look at rules, and then give you the answer once we read it live. We want to give you guys as much information as possible. I reckon that the contents of the box is roughly 1,000 points aside-ish.
Like if you look at the old points, 9th edition,
Yeah.
you can easily go like, that's 150, that's 170, that's
Yeah,
probably
it's-
200. And
It's a little bit
kind of
more
like,
hard for the Tyranid section because there's a lot of bugs we haven't seen before. But I reckon they're probably about 1,000-ish points roughly. We aren't allowed to show the points. I don't think we've got the points right now, so we can't. We're just using the contents. We are only allowed to show you the contents of the box. If you ask us about Relic Terminators and whether they exist, or you ask us about Redemptor Dreadnoughts, or you ask us about Angron, if GW haven't shown it, we can't talk about it, right? So if you do want to super chat questions, please make sure you don't waste your money by asking us a question that we flat can't answer, because NDAs are a thing and I'd rather not break them.
Yeah.
So
we could make up an answer.
We could make up an answer, yeah. We did that before. When Custodians came out in 9th edition, I stood here and was like, I can't believe they took OBSEC off the whole army before the book came out, and that went viral quickly.
Yeah. I'm surprised they're all toughness 3.
Yeah. So we can make up answers. Anyway,
Just to interrupt quickly, reference making up rules, Joe. Apparently you did write an entire 40k academy.
I did.
So thanks for the super chat there, Adrian.
I did. I could do another one.
well, you could, yeah, we could.
Yeah.
Just steal the customer base.
Yeah, Eddie wants to be involved, so it really puts me off.
We'll just ditch him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just leave him on the side of the road.
Before we get going with the crazy edition that is 10th edition, and we're literally going to start with the mission and we're going to read through it as we go, right? We need to say a big shout out to some of our sponsors. So firstly, the incredible team at Siege Studios. You see my beautiful t-shirt now. We're in summer, so I've changed to a white t-shirt because I don't look so pasty white anymore.
Just don't eat bolognese.
Just don't even know. So big shout out to Siege Studios who painted our 1,000 Suns for us and who are currently in the process of painting Black Templars. And if you saw the chapter rules on Thursday, I'm really excited about using the Black Templars. They look like they could be lots of fun. So big shout out to Siege. Of course, if you want to send models to Siege Studios, you need to go to Element Games, our other main channel sponsor. Element Games are incredible. And we are running a 10th edition narrative event at Element Games in August. In collaboration with the guys at Factorum. If you check out the Factorum Facebook page or the Factorum website, you can find information on that. The tickets are on the Element Games website that went up live yesterday. So if you're in the area, if you're close to Stockport, you want to get involved in one of our narrative events, go and check out those tickets, get tickets to our narrative event, come and hang out with us there. It will be 10th edition and it will be Carnage because it's narrative and there's lots of fun. If you want more information about that, I'll be doing another separate stream some point in the near future where I can talk about that kind of stuff. Cool. Right, that's our sponsors. Done.
Yes.
Okay. So we're gonna go into the rule book of power now, Joe.
Yeah. And it is a toad.
It's a chunky beast, right? It is a big old book, this thing, and it's I mean I kind of love it, right? So we've got our battle rounds, which we're going to go through. Now I've read this a couple of times now, and you've read it maybe once.
I glimmered across it. I was like, there's words on here. I'm a pictures man mainly. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, so if we go into this big 2-page spread here, which says missions, right, it will say muster armies, read mission objectives, create the battlefield, determine attacker and defender, etc. Now what we could do is we could just use, actually...
Isn't there a Bogo mission?
There is an only war mission. Should we just use the only war mission?
We'll use the only war mission.
I'm not even sure if I'm allowed to show those then, potentially. Put them down there for now, right, I'm going to ignore them. So we'll go to the only war mission, right? So the first part of the only war mission is muster armies. Players muster their armies based on their selected battle size as described on pages 55 to 56. Each mission will guide players on what size of battle they can play and may include further rules that can affect how players pick their armies. So we go over to page 55 and 56, which is, I mean, that's a lot of pages for 55 pages, isn't it, to be fair? We'll go over the pages 55 to 56 for Muster Your Army, right? So we select battle size. Well, I mean, we're going to basically basically incursion, because I think it's around 1,000 points, okay? Yeah. Start your army roster. So you have to download something from Warhammer Community or use the 40k app. Can't do that yet, then those things aren't out, right? Yeah. Select army faction. I'm going to pick Space Marines, Joe.
I'm going to pick Tyranids.
Okay. Select detachment rules. I'm going to use the Combat Doctrines detachment rule, because that's what I have available to me.
I'm using hyper adaptations.
So these cards, this is a cool thing to already bring up, because you would have seen these, you would have seen some of these on the faction releases so far on the previews. This has, on this side, my army rules for Space Marines, which is Oath of Moment, and on this side, my detachment rule for Space Marines, which is my Gladius Task Force. Yeah. When the Codex comes out, I can assume we'll get multiple cards that will have army rule on one side and then the different detachment rule on the back. Yeah. This is quite cool, okay? So I'm going to go Gladius Task Force. Then select units. Well, we don't really have a choice here, because we have what's in the box. Yeah. What we do have is pictures of the armies. So if Chris presses the player one box for me now, we have the do you know how hard it is to photograph black armies, Jay?
I think we've got too much light going on. I think it needs to be darker.
So I have my Space Marine Gladius Task Force, and because it's Joe that painted it, we wanted to do black armour.
No, I'm going to defend myself here, right? We were talking about ways of doing Dark Angels, and everyone was like, "Oh, like Dark Angels are green," but the Lion, he's come out in his cool, sexy black armour. So we were like, well, like in the book, the Fallen aren't the Fallen anymore. There's the Fallen and there's the Risen, and the Risen are still in their Heresy colour scheme. So by gum, I've done them in the Heresy colour scheme.
So they are Heresy era Dark Angels in Primaris armour.
AKA the quickest way Joe can get through them.
Yes.
With only one colour.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, there is green in there, a little bit.
So I have a captain in Terminator armour. Okay. Yeah. So he's my captain right at the front there, who I will probably not make the Warlord, Joe. But I am going to give him an enhancement. Yeah. And I'm going to give him Artificer armour. Okay, which gives him a 2-up armour save, which he has anyway, but importantly gives him a 5-up fill no plane. I'll explain why in just a moment, okay? I also have my Librarian in Terminator armour, okay? The captain does have a Relic Blade, I think it's a Relic Sword. Yeah, no. A Power, a Thunder, a Relic Shield, a Relic Weapon. He's got a Relic Weapon, that's what he's got, okay? All right. And then I've got my Librarian who's got his Relic Axe, which is also a Relic Weapon. It's a Force Weapon, apparently. There you go, look at that.
Tis.
I have 2 units of 5 Infernus Marines. Okay, I wanted to break them up because I wanted more units on the table, of course. Yeah. Okay, so these are the guys with the Pyre Blasters, the 12-inch flamers of doom, death, and destruction. I have a Lieutenant with Combi Weapon. This is interesting because this guy has Lone Operative but doesn't have the leader ability, so he can't join a unit. So that Lieutenant that I really, really hate, which is why I think Joe picked Tyranids and made me play Space Marines, is he has to run around on his own. So he's got a Combi Weapon and paired combat blades. We then have an Apothecary Biologist. It's an interesting choice including the Apothecary Biologist in this particular box set because he actually strictly can't join any of the units in the box set. The Apothecary Biologist, it tells me I can join aggressors, eradicators, or heavy intercessors.
So other
Gravis armour.
Chunky armour boys.
Over chunky boys, yeah. I have 1 unit of 5 Stern Guard veterans, and I have to say, these models are fucking stunning. Beautiful.
Actually, if you want to make more of them outside of the box set, I would say you probably want to use the Black Templar... what are they called? Not Crusader Squad.
Yeah.
Models. They're very similar in the skirts and the tummy robes. They just got out of the shower.
What's interesting with these, however, is they come with Stern Guard bolt rifles, but you can replace it with a combi weapon. Yeah. Which is interesting because you don't get one or the other now, bolt or combi weapon. You just get combi weapon or bolt rifle.
Yeah.
Interesting. We have given them the Stern Guard Heavy Bolter. We then have a unit of the new Terminators, also very sexy new models. Big fan of these. We have the Ballistus Dreadnought, the new big chunky Dreadnought motherfucker, the new Primaris Dreadnought replacing the Boxnaught. And that is my Space Marine army. Now, at the select, there's a thing about you declare battle formations, which is where we then decide who's joining what, okay? Yeah. That's done in the declare battle formation step. But that's my new Space Marines, my new black armoured Space Marines, Joe.
Before we go on to Joe, I'm just going to go through some of the super chats and questions we've had so far.
Okay.
Because they are starting to build up, and
Good.
I'm aware that people are paying good money. So, and
I'll get my
Nick
tea.
Quitty, who I've already threatened to fight this morning, as well as James Hobbs, as usual, gobbing off, have both sent poo emojis.
Amazing. Thank you
Thank you
for the
very
poo.
much. Along with Tim Chaser. We also have had a gifted membership, so thank you very much, Nordus T44, who's gifted 1 membership. Rolfus, I'd just like to remind you, Joe, you are a national treasure.
That we must protect at all costs.
So creepy.
Aaron has sent a big $10. If he had realised the game was going to be like this, he would have stayed up drinking till 2 a.m. instead of napping. Raphael has sent 10 zlotys, or Polish money. So next Tuesday, 10th edition game?
Yeah, well, I mean, we have to basically use what's the content of the box for the forthcoming until they start giving us more faction rules.
Yeah.
We don't know when they're going to give us more faction rules. So we're under strict instruction at the moment. If we play 10th edition, we can only use the contents of Leviathan until new rules are released via GW, whenever that might be.
Are we allowed to?
I don't like it when you start that sentence live. Go on.
Right. So say, for instance, Termagants come in this box set.
Can we have more Termagants?
Add more Termagants, for instance. Could I use
So-
another Screamer Killer to duplicate what's already in the box?
So part of why Joe's so busy at the moment is because we were very, very, very lucky that GW actually sent us 2 copies of Leviathan, because I was like, hey, playing just the box contents for however long it is probably going to be a bit dull for people. So depending on how many of the Terminators and Stern Guard and stuff he gets painted, we could push the size of the forces up on Tuesday and play a slightly bigger game, which is my intent. The downside being we don't have points. So we need to try and guess the balance, which is going to be harder to do.
What we could do is a narrative game. We are a narrative channel. And we could just, I could just only paint Tyranids because they are my army.
Well, not-
So I'll only add to the armies that I do.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then you could have the box set. I could just throw Tyranids at you. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? Like Starship Troopers.
We're not
Hold,
really.
hold the line on some...
I go as
yeah,
far as to say we're not
defence
really a
lines.
narrative channel. We sit in that weird spot
We're
in between.
idiots.
Joe,
we
Joe
sit,
likes to use narrative as an excuse for 30 Terminators. And
we sit in that weird space, Joe, right? We're not a narrative channel and we're not a competitive channel. We sit in that weird space of non-virgins. We're just normal people who just play 40k.
We're just dads. We're just dad hobbyists.
Yeah,
And this is
exactly.
our local club. Yeah.
Cool. Any more, Chris?
Yep, plenty more. So Adrian already mentioned it. To prove simplified 10th, should you not have used Brom instead of Joe, who literally wrote a 40k Academy? Good luck, guys, and welcome back to me, Chris. Chris.
Yeah, well, it's actually lovely to have Chris back. We had a big cuddle when he turned up. I mean, we've got a hard stop at 2:30 this afternoon, so that's why we don't use Brom. He also wasn't available. To be
He's never available at him. His job really needs that bee looking after the
He's really got to go for that bee and it's
They must,
safety.
do you reckon he's the reason they keep being inspected?
Yeah.
James Hobb, again. Can't wait for people to start correcting Liam and Joe on rules for a game they've never played before.
Every preview ever.
Bellator, welcome. He's just gone to a YOL membership.
Hero, thank you very much.
Big Bad Peter Gaming, £2. Morning you free. Are the models monopose in the Leviathan box set, Joseph?
They are, aren't they?
They are.
They're all monopose.
They are push fit, but that's because it's a starter box set. There'll be people like, for instance, like kids that are coming into the game and buying the box set for summer holidays and birthdays and Christmas. It has to be like simplified, not simple. To put together.
Yes.
Obviously, we've got a second box set. What I really want to do, and this is a question I'm going to ask you live on the internet.
No.
I'm tempted to convert the Terminators that come in the other box set to be more Dark Angels-y,
Okay.
to show off what you can do with the box
Do
set.
what you want with it, as long as it's ready for Tuesday.
Because every time people send out Games Workshop send models to other people, like they're like paint it and send us the picture, and then we could.
Joe,
put it
you
all
already
over
said
the
yes.
community. All right then.
Yeah, that's as long as
And
it's ready
then
for
someone
Tuesday.
converts it, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know I could do that.
Oh, he's still going. Right, I'm going to push you along, Joe. So, Crumpets Panda, this is the last one I'll do. Let you guys crack on. £10. Currently building Death Guard whilst watching 2 handsome bearded boys play 10th edition. Ignoring the hangover from last night, why did you choose Dark Angels over Black Templars?
So, 2 reasons. Firstly, Siege, you painted the Black Templars, and if I'd have sent the box off to Siege, it probably would have been ready for today, because they're incredibly busy and they do it to an incredibly high standard, taking nothing away from Joe's ability. But secondly, we also had the Lion sent to us by GW, we had Azrael sent to us by GW. I want to show off those cool new models.
Yeah.
So we just get to put the Lion in his Heresy armour, Azrael in his Heresy armour, and we get to throw down with some classic Dark
and we've got
Angels.
a metric ton of Space Marines, like just
Also,
unbuilt.
Black Templars and Dark Angels are just my favourite 2 Space Marine chapters by a long way.
And I did say the other day on stream that I'll be doing Space Wolves. relatively soon, and we've already got Blood Angels. The only armies we don't have is Salamanders.
Oh, GW have just messaged me saying that there's new Horus Heresy kits available for pre-order. You can't now use in 40k. Cool.
The
Brilliant.
why? We're gonna get in trouble. No. Yes, the only armies that we don't have represented on the channel, or haven't got planned to be represented anytime soon, is Salamanders and Iron Hands.
When you say that, plan to be represented anytime soon, I mean, you're looking at me painting sisters. So maybe just don't remove the soon word.
Ever.
Because
you're painting sisters, which means in 6 months' time I'll be painting sisters.
Yeah,
I actually don't.
Are you going to finish this one?
I actually don't, probably not. I actually don't intend to hand these over to you, Jay. Having read the rules in this rule book, though, I fully intend to concentrate to start with on the knights, because they'll be done quicker, and they look terrifying now. Cool.
Right, Plummy Plum, welcome, Yoel, and Tim Chaser. Just big shout out because he's just gifted 5 memberships.
Have they gone? Have they
Thank
actually
you
been
very
given
much.
out?
2 have gone already.
Oh,
It says at the top how many new members.
We are on 4 new members.
Just 4, actually.
Yeah.
Right, Joseph, moving on.
Yeah.
Tyranids.
Joe.
Tyranids. So like I said, I'm using the hyper adaptation.
Press the player 2 button.
Sorry, Dad.
There we go.
Look at them in our beautiful purple Ronnie scheme. I love it. So I'm doing.
Tyranids.
So I need to pick a hyper adaptation. We'll do that in a minute.
Okay.
Right. So I have got an army of models. So I have got a Neuro Tyrant, who's the new one, who's like he's like the replacement of the Neurophrope, basically. I would assume, and he can join Neurogaunts. So he's in a unit of Neurogaunts, would you know? And he's got 2 little wibbly jibblers that float around with him as well. They're called Psycho. No, we'll come to them. Right. I then have got a Winged Hive Tyrant Prime in the list, and I'm going to give him a enhancement. The enhancement will be Feel No Pain 5+.
Okay.
And if he loses any wounds, it becomes 4+ Feel No Pain.
That's tasty, isn't
It's
it?
really good. He can join a unit, but he can't join any units in the box set. So
Okay.
he's just going to be bumming around for a while. And then I've got 2 units of 10 Termagants.
Okay.
I could run one big unit of 20, but you've got units of Flamers. I don't want them all to die in one round of shooting. so I've taken 2 units of 10. I've got my favourite models in this box set. The Von Ryan's Leapers.
Oh, they're your favourites.
They're my favourite. Having built and painted the whole box set, they're my favourite model in terms of like how they build and how they paint and how the paint goes on. They're my favourite, and they're really cool. And they're like lictors basically.
Mini lictors.
They're like lictor gaunts, they're like Hormagaunts slashed with lictors.
Lictor?
Yeah.
Fairly vanilla.
If you got a lictor and you got a Hormagaunt and you squish them together, this would be what fell out afterwards. I've got a unit of 2 Ripper Swarms.
Okay.
On here it says 3 to 6.
Yeah.
You can, for people who weren't in a rush like I was, probably make a swarm of 3.
Joe, we have another Ripper Swarm base.
Do we?
Well, you made Rippers before, right?
Yeah.
So we have another Ripper
But
Swarm
we're showing
base.
off what's in the box set, aren't
Yeah,
we?
I know, but there's
Oh, there we go. I've got 3. Here we are.
There we go. We put an extra unit of Rippers in because 2 come in the box team, right? Which
You can make a unit of 3, but you don't build them like how it tells you to build them in the box set.
Well, let's be honest, right? The Combat Patrol will probably use them as a unit of 2 because it's got different rules,
Yeah.
I assume. We'll just give you an extra Ripper base,
Right.
so it's fine.
I've got Barbagaunts, who are like the mini Tyrant Guard, basically.
Oh, okay.
Or Hive Guard.
Hive Guard.
Yeah, because they've got like an out they've got
Indirect.
they haven't got indirect actually. They're blast heavy, but similar, not the same.
Same, but different.
Yeah, I've got my second favourite model, but my favourite version of the
Model.
What's he called? Carnifex. My
Carnifex.
favourite Carnifex, the Screamer Killer, and I was super happy about him. And he is actually turbo good.
How much was the Screamer Killer the level of decision for you choosing Nids over Space Marines to play today?
All of it.
Yeah, it might be.
All of it.
Which purple do you use to paint your Nids, Joseph, from Big Bad Peter Gaming?
Penis
Thank
purple.
you.
So, hang on. And the last unit in my army is a Psychophage. Right, Big Bad Peter Game. You can go to the main screen. So I use what's the spray Colour Forge?
Colour Forge is is it Imperial Purple? No.
Imperial Purple. I base coat them with the Imperial Purple.
Is it Imperial Purple? Yeah, it is.
I think it's Imperial Purple. And then I mix two purples from Vallejo, Alien Purple and something purple and then I use the lighter purple over the top.
DM him on Discord, Pete. Right. So
When I get home,
when he's at home, DM on Discord. When he's
Yeah.
at home and he looks at it, he'll be able because he'll have the names in front of him.
What?
And he'll be able to give you
what I
extra
should have
colours.
done is a how to paint.
We can do that. We can add that content later.
Yeah.
I could teach you how to video content, and then
I could
I'll
just
edit
use
it
my
all.
phone, couldn't I?
No, absolutely not.
I use my phone. I'll be like, you know when like
You can put it on your own
when
channel.
you need to fix a thing on your car and you have to YouTube it and it's just some old boy.
If
in a
you
shed.
if anyone who just uses phones for content shouldn't be on fucking YouTube, right?
Yeah.
So no.
All right.
Okay, right. Okay. So
Or if I
that-
need to fix a tyre on my car.
So that's our selected units. And that is our selected units because that's what's available to us in the box. However, if you read the select unit step in the main rulebook, you select all of the units you want to include in your army. The unit must include at least one character model, right? Each time you include a unit in your army, it can take any upgrade, enhancement, or options it has access to. Note that on your army roster, including any number of models, any weapons, war kit, upgrades, and enhancements it has, and its points value. Subtract the points value from your total, which we can't do because we don't know the points, obviously. The only restrictions are that the unit must have the same faction keyword, you must have enough points remaining, and you do not already have 3 of the same unit in your army. Oh, okay.
No, well,
And then
that's supposed to be a preview.
you can only include 6 of each battle line or dedicated transport units, okay? Only characters can be given enhancements. You can take a maximum of 3 characters. And then in step 6 of mustering your army, Joe, select your warlord. So I'm going to pick my librarian as my
I'm going
warlord.
to select the winged Tyranid Prime.
Oh, are you? Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. Not the Neuro Tyrant.
Because they don't have to. They don't have to. Your warlord doesn't have to receive the enhancement, do they?
No. So the reason why I'm selecting my librarian is because he will be the one joining my Terminators.
Okay, yeah, I will select the Neuro Gaunt.
Because he then has lots of ablative wounds. is
the
what I'm
Neuro
thinking.
Tyrant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've mustered our armies. We then read mission objectives. Okay. So our mission objectives are here: capture and control, which is a progressive mission starting from the second battle round. At the end of each player's command phase, the player whose turn it is scores 1 victory point for each objective marker they control, to a maximum of 3 victory points per turn. Details of how to control objective markers can be found on page 58. Okay. So that's our read mission objectives. Create the battlefield. So it tells us, create the battlefield. Players now create the battlefield and set up terrain features using guidelines on the terrain features guideline. Okay. Players must then alternate setting up objective markers on the battlefield, starting with whichever player wins a roll-off. A total of 4 have been placed. Objective markers cannot be placed within 6 inches of any battlefield edge or with 9 inches of other objective markers. So we get to place 4 objectives now, Joe, and we get to roll off first. So we need a nice cheeky little dice cam.
A dice cam as well.
Dice cam. And I'm going to roll a 2, Joe.
I shall roll a
6.
3.
So you get to place the first objective marker
Yeah.
anywhere on the battlefield, more than 6 inches from any battlefield edge or 9 inches of any other objective marker. At this point, we don't know who's deploying where. So that happens later. You happy with your placement there, Joe?
Now I'm not so much. Yeah, why not? It's narrative. That building looks important to somebody.
Yes.
I've got valuable eggs in it.
Valuable eggs in your basket. I'm going to put one on this statue in the middle here, Joe.
I've got one of my Tyranid goo pools in it.
How
Have you?
long did it take you, Joe, to build the entire new edition box set? Thank you very much, Adrian.
I think it took me 2 days to build everything.
But remembering that this is his job.
Yeah, so it took me about 20 hours.
More than 6 inches from a battlefield edge, more than 9 inches away from another objective.
The doorway of this building.
Just so people can really see it at the top down.
Bring it back. You can bring it back a little bit. Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll
too
put it,
much.
I'm going to put it there.
Oh, and he's
so they
all or
can see
nothing
it.
card,
There you
yeah.
go.
What we're going to do on Tuesday as well is we'll use the mission deck on
Yeah.
Tuesday. We'll use the rule book mission today. We'll do the mission deck on Tuesday, so there's a reason to tune in. And then we'll put the other one. I kind of want to put it on this building here, but I feel like there's. Yeah, we'll put it on the corner of this building here, Joe. Right there, right like
Yeah.
that. Okay? That's our first. Create the battlefield. Now we determine attacker and defender. Okay? So players roll off. The winner is the attacker. Their opponent is the defender.
I will roll a 2.
My turn to roll a 6. Oh, I roll a 4.
I don't feel confident.
So
about
I am the attacker.
Yeah.
Joe is the defender. Okay. Declare battle formations. In the order stated below, both players now secretly note down, which we're not going to do because we're live on stream, which of their leader units will start the battle attached. They must specify which bodyguard unit. Which of the units will start the box and transports? We don't have any of those. Which of the units will start the battle in reserves? When both players have done so, they declare their selections to their opponents. Okay? So, my librarian will be attached to some Terminators.
And my Neuro Tyrant will be in a unit of Barbgaunts? Neurogaunts.
Neurogaunts, okay. In terms of reserves... Obviously.
Yeah, 2 units then. Just put 2 units in.
But that lets me put all my Terminators in Deep Strike Reserve,
Let's do it.
I think OBS Studio reconnection.
Yeah, that's fine. It'll do that. It'll tell you when it's doing it as well. As long as it says the reconnected bit, don't panic. And when I hear that bong, I'm already listening for the second bong anyway when I'm stood over it, so don't worry about it. If you see me panic, you panic.
Yeah.
Just don't want to do a joke.
This stream is not sponsored by Monster, but we should be. Monster, if you're watching.
I'm going to put all my Terminators in Deep Strike. Fuck it. It's a laugh, innit?
That's what happens in the video, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Deep Strike in.
Narrative.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do that.
Are you going to use the lieutenant to murder everything like he does in the video?
I'm going to try.
He'd be like, chop, 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 chop.
Chop, chop, chop.
Because according to that video, I feel like he's much better than he is.
Yeah,
in real
I
life.
really want him to be cool because he looks derpy, so I'd like his rules to be good.
He looks beautiful.
Players then alternate deploying their units one at a time, starting with the attacker. Models must be set up wholly within the controlling player's deployment zone and continue setting up units this way until both players have set up all units from their armies, or if you've run out of room to set up more units. If one player has finished setting up their army, their opponent continues to set up the remaining units from their army. If both players have units with abilities that allow them to be set up after both armies have deployed, the players must roll off after all other units have been set up and alternate setting up those units, starting with the winner. Okay, so attacker's deployment zone. It looks like it's in. Oh, defenders is okay. We're going to swap this round, Joe, because I'm lazy.
It's hammer and anvil, isn't it?
Right? Yeah, it's hammer and anvil, but this should be defender and that should be attacker.
Let's be honest. I've not exactly set up a
It's irrelevant
table.
Normally we'd swap places now because of attacker or defender. But what we're going to do, this is interesting. I feel like it's removed a roll.
Yeah.
Because you don't like roll now to see who picks what side and then roll to see who goes first. It's just removed that roll. Attackers this side, defenders that side, which is interesting.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be attacker this side because my stuff's here. The scoreboard says my name above it. We're not moving it around.
But surely attacker defender on hammer and anvil is different depending on what side of the table you're stood on.
We're in the right place.
If we were stood on opposite sides of the table, you'd have an argument. Oh, well, actually, it's supposed to be here or here, so it doesn't really matter, does it?
So it's 12 inches from the centre, so it's normal hamster and anvil.
18-inch deployment.
And I have to put a unit down first, starting with the attacker. Okay. Right, let's put this somewhere safe. Keep it secret, keep it safe. Right, let's get my little debris firkin out here. Like that,
While
right?
Liam's getting ready for that. What's the most interesting or techie nid box rule from GM Runs Game?
The techie.
Yeah.
Techie. Yeah. Teckie. So I'm not saying it wrong. I just don't understand what it means. So if you want to clarify
So
that.
the barb gaunts, when they shoot at something, if it's infantry, until your opponent's next turn, subtract 2 from the move characteristic, advance and charge. They're really good at slowing, like against spacemen, like against Death Guard, whose movement is slow. They're even slower. So removing 2 from advance and charges is really, and it's move count, which means from the Death Guard preview, it means their Terminators move 2 inches. Well, I imagine it means Necrons are super slow then. So that's really strong. That's really strong, I think.
Right, I've put a unit of Infernus thingies down. Big, long, dong flamers.
Sorry, could you just point to the camera, Liam? Oh, not to the camera, onto the board. Happy.
Lucky Mrs. Liam.
I'm going to put
All about the angles.
the brain bug with his unit of brains in there. And then he's with this big... The Barbgaunt unit's a unit of 11 as well, which is interesting.
That's odd, isn't it?
It's interesting. He's got 100% more brain cells than you.
Is it? Is it because it's got like a weird sergeant model, isn't it? Like a weird champion thing.
Yeah.
And that's the 11th model, which is odd.
The 11th man.
The 11th man.
Josh Palmer, thank you for the member upgrade. He's gone up to yo.
What y'all talking about?
Chris Galloway, £20 beer fund money. Liam definitely needs that after the other night's
I need beer fund money
He
tonight,
got
people.
through that quite a bit. 10th Hype Trainers at full speed now. Looking forward to running command squads again. What unit are you most excited to run?
Group killer.
I
What?
Can't really like.
We can't discuss.
I mean,
Today, I'm really excited to use the Screamer Killer.
I can say certain things because they have showcased certain things. And what they've shown so far, I'm actually very excited to run Angron in the new edition. I think he's going to be really interesting. And the other thing as well is, now when you look at the stratagems, Angron having access to things like Epic Challenge for a CP is just fucking terrifyingly cool. So I'm really excited to run Angron. He excites me quite a lot.
I think Seth.
With an F.
Seth
with an F.
SEF. I don't have any of the units that are specified in his units you can join, which means I get to convert up a command squad now.
You don't know what units you can join, Joe.
It does, because it says in Warhammer Community.
Does it say on the community?
Yeah.
Oh, thank fuck for that. Don't stop doing these things to me.
And Marius Gage, how sturdy are the cards? Do they need sleeves? They're pretty damn sturdy.
I mean,
I think they are A5.
yeah, not quite.
No.
So I tested this myself because I was like, oh, if they're A5, you could just print front and back, fold them over, laminate them. You've made your own cards. No. They're just smaller than A5, so you can't print both on one sheet of paper. Just fold it over. You'd have to fold it over and then cut it all out as well.
There'll be a lot of people that will do what you've just said and not bother.
No, of course they will. I think they need sleeves only because, from my perspective, from my personal opinion, I'm going to want to take these to every single time I play 40k.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to want to, because it's easier.
If you play one army, if the only army you play is Necrons, for instance, you're probably going to want to protect them because you're going to be taking that everywhere.
But it's good. It's good solid cardboard, but it is going to start to wear and
the
fray.
cards in the Leviathan box set?
Nope.
No.
If
no
you
cards.
play Magic the Gathering, or if you've ever held a Magic the Gathering card or a Pokemon card, it's basically the same material.
If you're gonna buy them, if you're gonna actually, so you don't have to buy these, right? These will all be available for download from the Warhammer community page for free. Okay, so you don't have to buy these at all. If you are gonna buy them, I don't know why you wouldn't protect them because you spent money on them. So put them in sleeves. If GW, I would be incredibly surprised if GW don't release wallets that you can buy with maybe an Imperial logo on the front or a Xenos logo on the front that you could put your cards in, and you just take a little folder. We said this, and I will confess, I had no idea they were doing this. But we said for ages, the way they should simplify the whole rules thing is by making filofaxes for rules, or that's what we said for the longest time.
Yeah.
And that's where I feel like this is going. If they don't chuck out 20 quid filofaxes with embossed logos on the front, then they've made a wild mistake with a license to print money.
What I've seen people do with old chapter approved books, like approved editions, they've got the new chapter approved book, taken it to a printing shop or a binding shop, who then cut it off and then put it on a ring binder. There's no reason why you couldn't take the cards you use all the time and then create a ring binder.
When I played at Fest, they had the cards for us there as well, and I had them all laid up around the table. The one thing I will say, and I fucking hate them for this, is I wish I still had a 6x4 table.
Yeah.
Because I don't have space to put the cards around the outside that's not on the table. And I've obviously already cut
When we
this
get
down.
a new studio,
there'll be space,
we can
trust me.
spread out all over the floor.
Yeah, there'll be space. Because they are. I want to use these at every game because they're so easy to. It just makes the army easy to run.
Yeah.
So there you go. Okay, my Ballistus Dreadnought is here.
Right then. I'm going to put down
The dog.
this big Chumbawamba. He needs freedom to move.
The Screamer of the Killer. Oh,
Straight out
right
in
in
the
the
open.
open, Joe.
Yeah.
Ooh. Caution to the wind.
Brave man or a stupid man?
Or both. I'm going to
I
take
feel like many people would go for the latter on that.
I'll take my other unit of 5 hot men. I'm going to put them just over an inch away from the wall.
So, my
Apologies if anyone
first
didn't see the Dreadnought go down. It is just by objective.
What
four
are-
by the wall.
infiltrators.
Infiltrators are units that can start the battlefield anywhere on the battlefield that is more than 9 inches horizontally from enemy models or the enemy deployment zone.
I'm going to put these, the Von Ryan's sexy leapers.
Do they have the infantry keyword?
They have the infantry keyword.
Beautiful. Okay, so my Stern Guard are going to also come down near said leapers. I'll put them around here.
Oh, why is that?
Because combi weapons are anti-infantry 4+ at devastating wounds.
And then...
And am I right in saying Devastating Wounds is the mortal wound? Converted
Devastating
damage?
wounds is damage is mortals instead of normal damage on a successful critical wound roll.
I'm going to put the Psychophage here.
What does he do?
He gives... So the Psychophage gives everyone Well, he's got 5-up Feel No Pain himself, and he gives all Tyranid units within 6 inches a 6+ Feel No Pain.
Ah, this is the Venom Crawler that's not Venom Crawler.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
Plus, each time this model makes a melee attack that targets a unit is below its starting strength, add 1 to the hit roll. If it's below half strength, add 1 to the wound roll. I would have preferred... I kind of feel like there needs to be a universal special rule. And then...
Stop it. We're having fun today, Jay.
We're having fun. We're not complaining. We never complain about anything.
I'm going to put down my lieutenant, who can't join a unit, over there. This apothecary is kind of wasted, right? Because he's actually not a bad model rules-wise. So he can join eradicators, aggressors, or heavy intercessors. But more importantly, when he joins a unit, he gives that unit the lethal hits ability, which means on every successful critical hit, it automatically wounds the target. And the Viv spectrum, if this model's unit destroys an enemy unit as a result of a melee attack, until the end of the battle, this model has an objective control characteristic of 9, which is interesting. So he's not bad. But he's going to be pretty tank in this game because he can't give anything lethal hits.
He can just hold an objective.
Yeah, he's going to stand back here, Joe.
I tell you what, the new Termagant models, chef's kiss. Mwah. Right.
Chef's kiss. Okay.
And then I'm going to take these little wormy boys. We'll hide that guy under a tree because then he's technically not here then. Right. The Rippers are there. The new Ripper models are much nicer as well. In fact, all the Tyranid models in the box set are a win.
Are they?
Yes.
Okay, so my enhancements I can put up here now because I know that my captain has a 5-up Feel No Pain, and I've not added any other enhancements for now because Joe and I just agreed to use one enhancement today for the sake of simplicity. My unit rules are here, my detachment rules are here, and my stratagems are here as well. You know the colour coordinating, Joe, right?
Yeah.
So green can be used in both, right? Blue is used in yours, and red is used in your opponent's.
Okay.
So I have access, as Space Marines, to 6 stratagems as well as the... That's a bit wonky, isn't it? We'll just sort that out later. 6 stratagems as well as the core rulebook stratagems, okay? So first of all, Joe, I have Only in Death Does Duty End. I'm going to tell you my stratagems, because I can do this now.
Have you finished deploying?
Yeah.
Oh.
I can tell you this now because it doesn't take forever to read through stratagems. So I have a 2 CP stratagem, Only in Death Does Duty End, okay? I target one of my Steptors Astartes units in the fight phase, just after an enemy unit has selected its targets. To the end of the phase, each time a model in this unit is destroyed, if it's not fought this phase, do not remove it from play. The destroyed model can fight after attacking unit, so fight on death for 2 CP. You don't have to roll, you just get it, right? On the chapter, 1 CP, I pick this in the fight phase. Until the end of the phase, melee weapons have the Lance ability. If your unit is under the effects of the Assault Doctrine, until the end of the phase, improve the armor penetration by 1 as well. Armour of Contempt is 1 CP, and Adeptus Astartes unit in your opponent's shooting phase or fight phase just after the enemy unit has selected targets, right? A unit that was selected as a target one or more attacking units until the end of the phase. Each time attack targets that unit, worsen the armour penetration of that characteristic by 1. So I can give it basically Armour of Contempt. Adaptive Strategy, select Devastator Doctrine, Tactical Doctrine or Assault Doctrine until the start of your next command phase. That combat doctrine is active for that unit instead of any other combat doctrine that is active for your army, even if you've already selected that doctrine as battle. Sounds good. Storm of Fire is 1 CP in my shooting phase. To the end of the phase, ranged weapons have the Ignores Covered ability. If you use this under the effects of Devastator Doctrine, improve the AP by 1. And then Squad Tactics. And Adeptus Infantry, so in your movement phase, one of Astartes infantry or mounted unit from your army that's within 9 inches of the enemy that has just ended the move, you can then make a normal move of up to D6 or a normal move up to 6 inches if it's under the effects of Tactical Doctrine. You can start like use it as an engage. Can't do it from an engagement range. So basically, if you move within 9 inches of me, I can spend 1 CP and just move away or move towards you.
Well, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah, not bad at all. That's my 6 stratagems I have available to me, Jay, just so you know. So there's no gotcha moments, because 10th edition's not about gotcha moments.
So hyper adaptations, the great thing about Tyranids is you can pick what your army does, depending on your opponent. So I've got 3: Swarming Insects, Hyper Aggression, or Hive Predators. At the start of the first battle round, select one of the following hyper adaptations to be active for the Tyranids until the end of the battle. Either cut out a lot of blurb in that, but yes, basically that's what it is. So Swarming Instincts, which is the one I'm going to pick. Each time a Tyranids model with this hyper adaptation makes an attack that targets an infantry or swarm unit, the attack has a Sustained Hits 1 ability.
So you get exploding critical hits against infantry, essentially, against my army?
Yeah. The other one is Hyper Aggression with Tyranids model from your army. When it targets a monster or vehicle, it gets Lethal Hits ability. Or the other one is if it targets a character unit, it gets Precision.
That's nice, actually.
Yeah. So if you're against someone who's got a lot of characters, you can go I can target your characters out of your units.
Cool. So we have now deployed, okay? So, determined first turn. The players should roll off. Again, the winner takes the first turn. Dice cam, you bitch.
He's too busy tapping. He's the new Brom.
It's all right, it's fine.
It's all...
I got a 5.
Don't try and call me out like that ever again, Joe.
Joe got a 4. So the winner takes first turn. Resolve pre-battle abilities, which we've just done. Begin the battle. Okay, players. The first battle round begins. Players continue to resolve battle rounds until the battle ends. End of the battle. The battle ends when all models in one player's army have been destroyed, or once the 5th battle round has ended, and then determine the victor. So we've just got a primary objective tonight for you people. Today, this morning, not tonight, is it? There we go, Jay. We get ready to play 40k. I get to go first.
That's pretty harmless, isn't it?
It's pretty harmless. Okay, so I'm going to go into my movement phase, which means both me and Joe.
Well, I've got the Skulking Horrors ability.
Okay.
Like a stratagem. Once per turn, when an enemy unit ends its move within 9 inches of this unit, if this is not engagement range of them, you can make a normal move up to 6 inches.
Okay.
It's almost like it's a universal special rule.
It was nice to see on live camera your excited little face when you discovered that rule, because as we've mentioned, it's not like you knew what was going to happen today.
No.
It's the first time you are reading it.
Neurocytes have the synapse. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I like it.
So I have another pre-game ability called the Priority Objective Identified, which is by this lieutenant with his combi weapon who can't join a unit. At the start of the first battle round, if your army contains one or more models of this ability, you can select one objective marker on the battlefield to be the priority objective. Until the end of the battle, while a friendly Adeptus Astartes unit is within 6 inches of this model, each time a model in that unit makes an attack that targets an enemy unit that is within range of the priority target, reroll win rolls of 1. So I have an aura that I can't really use right now because I'm not in range of him, which is going to be my priority objective marker, Joe. I feel like I'm going to probably want it to be this one here or this one here. So I'm going to go for this one here, I reckon. No,
The
we're going to
one
this
that
one
you
here.
have the
We're
most
this one here.
effect on, though, isn't
This
it?
one here. This one here. Okay, because I get
Bold.
reroll wounds of 1 because I can drop my Terminators in, put him nearby. It's quite cool. That's a pre-game ability.
Yeah. So I've got 6 stratagems, by the way.
I know. That's what I have. As well.
Endless Swarm. Basically, in my command phase, I can return D3+3 destroyed Endless Swarm models back to a unit, which is very, very good. I've got Synaptic Insight in the command phase, up to 2 Tyranid units from your army that are within Synapse range of army, or other Tyranid units from your army. Select 1 hyper adaptation until the end of the battle round. That hyper adaptation is active for those selected units in your army. To any. So basically, what it means is that I can pick the shoot characters one in a turn, and that's 1 CP. So I can swap the hyper adaptation for a turn, which is really strong. Rapid regeneration. Basically, in my opponent's shooting or fight phase, it's 1 Tyranid unit from your army, which is target of attack. It gets a 6+ feel no pain. If it's within Synapse range, it's a 5+ feel no pain. All right. Adrenal Surge. Up to 2 units from my army that are within Synapse range that are eligible to fight. Until the end of the phase, each time a model in that army makes an attack, a successful unmodified roll of a 5 scores a critical hit. Auto wins on 5s. And then Death Frenzy, 4+ fight on death, basically. And then Overrun, just before... So basically, before one of my units consolidates, it gets to go 6 inches instead of 3.
Okay.
It's not bad.
Okay.
It's not bad, Rooney.
Right, so my command abilities, I don't really have any right now, which is quite cool. So we just both gain a command point.
How much does that put us on?
1 each.
Just the 1.
You start with none, Joe, now.
You start with 0.
Start with 0. Stern Guard Bolt Rifle.
I will spend it wisely.
Welcome Ewan through. So he's just gone to your membership. And Leaks Veeks, morning all. Stern Wales getting poop faced because I can't say what he actually said.
You can do.
Oh, okay, yeah, but money. Just wanted to pop by and say hi and give some cash to the Joe Pie Fund so he doesn't steal food from the kids' plates at lunchtime.
I mean, he does still.
I just steal the children.
So we're going to movement phases now, Joe. Right, I'm going to start learning. Okay, so I need to go find my Ballistus Dreadnought, who has a move characteristic of 8. Stern Guard are 6. Lieutenant 6. Apothecaries 5. Infernus are 5. Librarians 5. So anything in Terminator armour is 5. Anything normal is 6. The Ballistus is 8. There we go. Good. Lovely job. So let's step the Ballistus out here in front of the Screamer Killer. Whoa, like that, right? I am not picking any doctrines right now. I'm not going to go to doctrines. Oh, I am going to pick, for this turn, the Screamer Killer to be my Oath of Moment target.
Oath?
Yeah, I don't think...
Who are you calling an oath?
And would you like to remind the audience what Oath of Moment does?
So if your army faction is at the start of your command phase, select one unit from your opponent's army until the start of your next command phase. Each time a model from your army with this ability makes an attack that targets that enemy unit. You can reroll the hit roll and you can reroll the wound roll.
I am going to spend my 1 CP. Oh no, I'll wait till you
Do we
shoot.
regret putting the Screamer Killer in the open?
Nah.
No, I don't think I'll kill it.
Nah.
Remember, monsters are more survivable now. We're about to find out. Okay, so Oath of Moment is going to be on the Screamer Killer because it's a big target in front of me, and I don't actually think that anything else in my army is really going to be able to get in range and do any real effective shooting this particular turn. What we're going to do now is we're going to move these guys out to here with their 6-inch move. In fact, we might as well advance them. Oh, another inch, yeah. Go on, Chris. Sorry.
What I don't like about this is when I do my preview mode, it shows you on the TV, and I can see your eyes every now and again flick to it, going, "What on earth is he doing?"
Yeah, so preview, yeah.
You see preview, but the audience doesn't.
I see preview
and it makes
up there.
me nervous because you look nervous.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
and Joe's just happy to be here. Like
that's because a lot of people that run the deck, Chris, will put things like top down on, right? And then we'll start having a conversation like we're having now, okay, when top down's on. And then the next thing I know is the audience has just watched a blank top down for 5 minutes whilst we're having a conversation. And I'm like, why haven't you changed it to front cam? But so that's why it makes me nervous. But
Are you just talking about Brom? Is that what's going on here?
Brom.
What have you for? I am the perfect computerman.
If Joe could work out how to put on screen at any one point top down, front cam, and dice cam, and just leave it, he probably would.
Do you know what we haven't had yet today, though? We haven't had a sad Joe.
It's not on.
Oh, I've just got a warning symbol on the button.
It's sad.
You've broken it already, is what we're saying. Does dice cam have to be on for that to work?
Dice cam have to be on, but I changed the whole so the button doesn't work at all.
Oh.
But I can show you how to click sad Joe later. The camera's moved as well. All right, fuck it. Okay, right. So they're going to advance to here, right? Now I only have to be within 2 inches of one or more models because my unit size is 5.
Yeah.
And if my unit size is 6, that's still the case. So with my and the reason why they've done this is twofold. Firstly, because things like Blade Guard can come in units of 6, and secondly, if a character joins a unit of 5, you still only have to be in range of one or more models.
That's good. Yeah.
But for your bigger units, you have to be within 2 inches of 2 or more models for any unit that's 7+ models. Okay. Okay. Cool. We're going to move my Apothecary's going to stay on this corner for now. You haven't got any deep strikes, have you?
No.
Nothing's in reserve.
No.
Okay.
All or nothing, me.
So I'm going to move my Stern Guard out as well. Might as well advance those at the same time. Whoop! Oh! Oh! They're running, Joe. They're running.
They're running like crazy fools.
Like crazy fools. Actually, do you know what we're going to do? We're going to hide them behind these flamers.
Yeah.
Well, only because I like my Stern Guard more than I like my flamers, because the Stern Guard look cool and the flamers look fucking derpy. There you go. All right.
I think the Flamer unit is cool. It's got a good place in Black Templars, the Flamer unit, and Salamanders. It's really thematic for them, obviously, because fire.
You don't sit in doctrines anymore, do you?
You don't. No, you don't sit in doctrines. You have access to 3 doctrines. You pick them in your command phase. You can only use each one of them once. So for 3 turns, you get doctrines, and those doctrines do different things. So Devastator Doctrine allows you to advance and shoot. Tactical Doctrine allows you to fall back and shoot or fall back and charge. Assault Doctrine allows you to advance and charge. Each one of those is basically once per battle round ability. Okay, but it does apply to your whole army, so it is quite strong. If you think about deep striking your Terminators in, right, and then in the next turn put an Assault Doctrine on so your Terminators can move, advance and charge, they suddenly become quicker, because often we find Terminators will deep strike in and then just kind of get stuck there because they're a bit slow.
Yeah.
Okay? So I think it's quite cool. I like it. Right, cool. That's the end of my movement phase, Jay.
Nice.
Would you like to Overwatch? I don't think you can, actually.
I don't have any guns that will range you.
That will range you?
Yeah.
Is that the English that we're using today? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I know it's early in the morning for you still, Strictly.
It is.
So I only really have my Ballistus Dreadnought to shoot, because I found out that my Pyre Blasters, they're not actually assault weapons,
Oh.
which is interesting. So it's just
I
my...
assume you're going to shoot at Mr. Screamington.
So we have heard a lot about how tough and durable monsters are, so we're going to shoot at Mr. Screamington, okay, with my Ballistus Dreadnought.
I'm going
Right.
to do a stratagem called Rapid Regeneration. It cost me 1 CP. Goodbye, 1 CP.
What's that do then?
It gives him a 5+ feel no pain.
Is it?
Yes,
Okay.
I believe. I might be cheating. Who knows? Basically, a Tyranids unit from your army that was selected as the target of 1 or more attacks from an enemy unit. It gives it a 6+ feel no pain if your unit is within synapse range of your army until the end of the phase. It has a 5+ feel no pain.
Do you know?
I have already got rid of your CP, so you are using it regardless of what you read.
Characters don't have grenade keyword, which is interesting. Right, the Ballistus Dreadnought's going to shoot at you now, okay?
Nice.
So I have the Ballistus Missile Launcher, and I can pick Frag or Crack, and I'm going to pick Crack. And I have the Ballistus Blast Cannon, and I have the Twin Storm Bolter. I don't actually know if the Twin Storm Bolter is or is not in range. 24 inches is there. No, it's not, okay? So everything else is, in fact, in range. Each of this model makes a ranged attack that targets a unit that is below half strength. You can re-roll the hit roll.
I'm one model, so I can never be below half
Yes,
strength.
you can.
Oh.
You are below half strength if you are below half wounds.
As it says in the rules.
The more you know.
Yeah!
There you go.
But it is below half wounds. If you're 10 wounds, you have to be on 1 to 4 wounds to be below half wounds.
That makes sense.
Right? Because it's below half. It's not half, it's below half.
Below
People
half.
I've already seen online, people getting that wrong straight away. Right?
If you are unsure of any of the rules, check out Liam's stream from last night. I was listening to it in the car on the way here. He does clarify some of this, so I just can't get enough.
What I tried to
voice.
do is I tried to pick out a lot of the differences between old and new rules, because there are some subtle differences, right? When you start charging, some of them will become quite prevalent as well. So we're going to start off with the Crack Missile, Joe, which is 2 shots, and my card tells me that I hit on 3s. This is much easier than having a big book in your hands as well, trying to balance the book and roll. This is just, I love this.
Yeah.
So I hit you on 3s, Joe. I hit you both of the times.
Tight.
But I would have been able to re-roll because of Oath of Moment. I am strength 12. What's your toughness?
9.
So I wound you on 3s. And because of Oath of Moment, I can re-roll that wound roll. You know, less re-rolls. So both of them have wounded you, Joe.
What is your minus AP?
My minus AP is 2.
My armor save is 2.
Okay, so you're on 4 pluses.
4s.
Oh,
I failed both.
That's the problem, Joe.
Winner.
That's the problem, Joe.
Damage.
D6 damage each, Joe.
All right then. Roll low, please.
I have rolled 9 damage, Joe, straight away.
So 9, 5 pluses.
Fuck's sake.
You've got this, Joe. You've not got
I've made 3.
Okay.
So it takes 6.
How many did you start with?
10.
Okay.
We've got 4 left.
Now I have my Ballistus Last Cannon, Joe, which is also 2 shots, hitting on 3s. I've hit you both of the times. It's strength 12. Well, the last one was strength 10. What's your toughness?
9.
Okay, so we're fine. We're still fine. Still 3s. Okay, good. This is strength 12, so still winning on 3s. But I have Oath of Moment, Joe, so I can reroll wound rolls. Oh, I missed you once. It's AP minus 3 this time.
So a 5. Good. Good.
And this is D6 plus 1 damage because it's a last cannon. That's out the box, doesn't count. So that's 2 damage, Joe.
He might live. He might live. He's taken 2. He's got 2 wounds left.
That's all my shooting.
Thank God.
I mean, against those guns, he didn't seem that tough.
No.
It doesn't help when you pull him right in the open.
Well, but he only,
On turn 1.
he only
With
moved.
a dreadnought that only
but-
had to move a couple of
Yeah, the
inches.
thing is, though, because of how I put this terrain out, I didn't really think about it. So,
Oh, you mean you won't game me today?
Useless already.
so the problem is, if I put him behind a building, he still needs to take a turn to just trudge out. So,
I mean, and the other thing as well is, in fairness, they don't degrade, nothing brackets. You don't lose movement now.
no. Can I get him wounds back though?
I don't know. Can you? You tell me.
Joe clutching at straws.
Yup.
That is the end of my turn. And we don't score any victory points in turn 1. It's only in turn 2. Okay. I only hold 1 objective right now. I could be in danger here.
Bombardment.
Bombardment!
I saw the word bombardment and it just.
It excited you.
Yeah.
Okay, Jay. Would you like to start your turn? You have a command phase. We both gain a command point.
Up to 1.
Joe, you are back to 1.
So I've got 1 command point, 1 command phase ability here. Select two friendly units within 12 inches. They count as being in synapse range. So I'll pick the Khan FX and these gaunts here. Why not? And then that's it for command phase stuff. Have I got a stratagem I could play? I might have to save it after what happened a minute ago.
We are at 475 viewers on a
475.
Saturday morning. So thank you all very much. However, we are only at 212 likes.
So these got
So please smash that like button.
these are
It will
movement
help
10.
massively.
Are they? Are you sure you would like to do that?
Well, I've got nothing else to charge at. And the
Yeah, but I
unit-
can 1 CP Overwatch right now.
Oh, you can do it now, can you?
Yeah, in the movement phase you can Overwatch now.
Well, that's a problem, isn't it?
And then I can also 1 CP Overwatch in the charge phase as well.
Have we've just skipped past your command phase, haven't we? And you have a model that is Battleshocked. Well, not battle shock. He needs to take a test.
He does have to take a battle shock test.
Half wounds.
He does have to take a battle shock test.
So how do I do this?
So monsters and vehicles, battle shock test.
So if you are less than half your starting number of wounds, you're considered below half strength, which means you must take a battle shock test, which means you look at its leadership,
Yeah.
which is
8.
and you need to get over that
Yeah, so
on 2d6.
the good thing about Tyranids in Synapse range, I do my battle shock on 3d6.
That's cool. You can also insane bravery it for battle shock. And insane bravery is, I think it's down to 1 CP.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have had 1 CP at the time this happened
Why?
because I'd spent it.
Well, so you get a command point at the start.
Yeah, but I assume you do leadership at the end of the turn, don't you?
No.
It's the second half of your
Fucking hell,
command
Jay,
phase.
you really
So,
you haven't run anything, have you?
Considering I've read the rules less than you, in the command phase,
I-
don't go off.
I'm playing,
Joseph.
I'm
Wait.
playing the rule of the
Command phase has 2 stages.
Yeah.
Resolve command abilities and gain a command point, and then battle shock. So you gain your command point before you do your battle shock.
And what
test.
happens if you're battle shocked? For those at home,
If you
'cause
are
I
battle
know.
shocked, you go to objective control 0,
Yeah.
and you cannot be affected by any other stratagems until the start of your next command phase.
He's only got 2 wounds, so
It's 1 CP for insane bravery if you want to automatically pass it, right? It's 1 CP. Battle shock step of your command phase just after you failed a battle shock test, so you don't have to do it before you roll. You can just roll it first and see what you get. And if you do fail it, it is then no longer battle shocked. Okay, there you go. So 3d6 for your battle shock test, Joe. Beat 8. You didn't. You're battle shocked. So you go to objective control 0, which means you can't hold any objectives. You can't be impacted by any stratagems, or you can spend your 1 CP now
Nah.
to auto pass.
He's only got 2 wounds.
Okay, cool. There we go.
Yeah.
If you listened to Liam's stream from last night, you would have known that.
Yeah.
I did know that. I was just pretending.
Just a reminder for all our viewers, this is the first time me and Joe have sort of attempted a 10th edition game, so there are bits that will be missed, and thank you very much for pointing them out. Liam from Pip, though, it's sort of a question. Overwatch is once per turn, not per phase?
It might be. That would be an interesting development.
And thank you very much, Schooner, 1979. Joe is a tactical carnifex, i.e. he has no clue. Peter Hudson, it's not cheating if it's an accident, it's just tactical.
So Pip's right. You actually the unit does allow you to use it in the movement phase or the charge phase, right?
Yeah.
The restrictions state that you hit on 6s unless it's obviously a torrent weapon, but then it also does state it is a once per turn stratagem. That's much better. If you just move that kind of fix.
Yeah.
1 CP Overwatch.
But don't you have to be able to what's the range of it?
24 inches.
24 inches?
Yep.
Jesus.
So for my 1 CP Overwatch now. So when your opponent's movement or charge phase, just after an enemy unit is set up, or when an enemy unit ends a normal move, advance, fallback, or charge move, 1 unit from your army that's within 24 inches of that enemy unit and that would be eligible to shoot if it were your shooting phase, you can shoot that enemy unit as if it were your shooting phase until the end of the phase. Unmodified hit roll of 6 is required to score a hit. Irrespective of the attacking weapon's ballistic skill or modifiers, you can only use this strategy once per turn. I'm going to spend 1 CP on Overwatch for my Ballistus Dread, Joe. Whee! So I'm going to start off with my Ballistus Missile Launcher. So I've got 2 shots hitting you on 6s. But I've got Oath of Moment on, so I can reroll hits. So I hit you once with my Ballistus Missile Launcher. I wound you on 3s. You look so angry.
Yeah.
I failed to wound you, but I've got Oath of Moment on. I still failed to wound you.
I feel like I selected the weaker of the 2 armies on this one now.
What are you rolling for? What are you rolling for?
Oh, save.
I didn't wound you.
Well, yeah.
Joe just loves rolling.
My Ballistus Last Cannon, however, will hit you. Oh, but I get to reroll hits. Oh! And then I've got my Twin Storm Bolters, which are rapid fire 2, twin linked. Okay? So you're not within 12. So I only get 2 shots. Hit you on 6s with rerolls. I hit you once. I wound you on, I'm strength 4.
Oh.
So your toughness is?
9.
So I actually wound you on 6s.
Yeah.
But rerolls for Oath and because it's twin linked. So I failed. There you go.
Who you calling an oath?
You calling an oath?
Okay. He's movement 8, 6, 6, 6. All right then, cool. I'm going to advance these.
I could have killed a Carnifex in your movement phase.
Could've
I
done.
like that.
I would have been sad. 10 inches.
Will the Screamer Killer have to do a battle shock test every turn now for the rest of the game?
Yeah, every turn it battle shocks now. Anything below half strength,
Regardless if it loses any more wounds.
yeah,
or
doesn't
models.
matter. It just continues to battle shock for the rest of the game.
Move 12, so he's just going to fly in there. Whee. Like so.
I think for me personally, I honestly believe that Battleshock is going to become a really big deal in 10th edition.
So, Joe, where did you just move your winged?
In here, the winged man's in there.
Thank you. I wasn't on the camera.
So I genuinely believe that Battleshock's going to become a really big thing in 10th edition, and I think some people have already kind of started to work this out. But armies that manipulate leadership and manipulate Battleshock, I feel like they're going to be a lot of fun, but they're going to actually be really strong. So when I read the abilities for Chaos Knights, I was like, oh, they're quite cheeky. I think they're going to be really good.
And I think a lot of people have ignored that Chaos Knights. Sort of.
I think that, I think
people. I agree. I think people haven't quite realised how important Battleshock is going to be.
In 9th, and arguably even in 8th, leadership modifying was kind of irrelevant. People didn't really care about it. It wasn't really used. It was kind of a bit shitty. And because of the wild discrepancies in leaderships across armies, it kind of felt like, well, if I tech into making your leadership worse and it works really well against orcs, it might not work so well against custodies, for example. So it kind of wasn't something that people saw quite often. But now, because of the way that Battleshock works and because of the way Battleshock armies behave, or Battleshock units, I should say, behave, I think it's going to be a really big deal. Going to objective control 0 is massive because you flat don't hold the objective. And going and not being able to be impacted by stratagems in an edition where stratagems are actually really important now. I don't know if I've read a stratagem. I've just been like, never going to use that. Yeah. Like I feel like every stratagem I've read so far, I've been like, oh, okay, I can see how that could be used.
Yeah,
and that's really good. Like I'm excited for that, especially considering, as we're already seeing this morning, CP's a premium now.
Yeah,
you don't just get CP for the sake of getting CP. So I think it's a big deal.
And psychic abilities are now shooting abilities.
Psychic abilities are now shooting. Well, not necessarily shooting abilities. Some of them are like auras and special rules and data sheets, etc.
So I'm now going to shoot my Barbargaunts.
Okay.
Barbarella at your Flamer men.
Okay.
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 And they get.
What is the AP?
0.
Okay, so I wouldn't get cover anyway because I've got a 3-up armor save.
No. But they are D6 shots blast.
Oh, and I've got 5 models in my Pyre Blaster unit.
So D6 plus 1.
Yes.
So D6 shots each. So 6, 10, 15, 19.
Plus 5.
Plus 5. So
24 shots.
24.
Less lethal. Look at how many dice you got there, Joe.
I know.
Exactly.
I've got the exact amount.
It's like you knew.
Yeah. And I'm ballistic skill 4.
Oh,
but
okay.
I've got sustained hits 6, haven't I? Or sustained hits 1.
So on a critical hit roll, which is currently a 6,
yeah,
you gain an additional hit.
Mm.
So take out anything that's not a 4, which is actually quite a lot. And then add back in the number of 6s that you've got, which is 5.
Yeah.
You didn't do too badly out of that.
It didn't do awful.
Strength is
5.
I'm a space marine, so my toughness is 4.
Yeah.
So you wound me on a 3, because if your strength is double my toughness, you wound me on a 2. If your strength is just more than my toughness, you wound me on a 3. If your strength is the same as my toughness, you wound me on a 4. If your strength is less than my toughness, you wound me on a 5. And if your strength is half of my toughness or less, you wound me on a 6.
Yeah.
Just because this is a learn to play. I'm just trying to... Because some of these we're going to assume people have knowledge from 9th
But you do not gain the bonus of cover, do you? Because you've got 3 plus armor.
So because I got a 3+ armor save and you're AP 0, I do not gain the benefit of cover. So I'm just on 3+ armor saves. Okay. The unit doesn't have any special weapons in there. There's just a sergeant, but there's just one unit as far as I'm aware. It doesn't get a separate data sheet for the sergeant. Infernus squad.
The thing I like about the Infernus squad is that the sergeant just foregoes that carrying his flamer and has a knife and a pistol. He's like, bah, I'm too cool.
But he's got an underslung
Lead
flamer.
fixed bayonet.
Well, it's underslung on the strap, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I roll 3+ saves.
Yeah.
Like this. So I have failed 3 of my saves.
I was hoping for more.
Which means 1 will die, and another guy will take a single wound.
A single wound.
Yes.
And then the Screamer Killer has a gun.
Does he?
An 18-inch range gun. So he's in range.
Is he?
And he's going to be like... He gets D3... No, he gets D6 plus 3. I probably should have fought him. So D6 for 4.
Is it a blast weapon as well?
It is a blast, but you only got 3 models.
I have, yeah.
4 models.
I would bet the other way around, maybe.
Plus 3.
Maybe not.
4. So you get 7. 7. And he's ballistic skill 4.
Is he? So he hits me on 4s. Oh dear, Jay.
I mean, you did absolutely slap the crap out of him. He's strength 8 though, so 2s.
It is a 2.
It's minus 2.
It's minus 2. So So I get cover
All right then.
because I'm obscured from you through the terrain. So the -2 becomes -1. So 4 up save, which I pass.
Boo. The Psychophage
Psychophage.
has a gun. It's only 12-inch range though. Boo. And then Mr. the Brainbug has an 18-inch range. Psychic Scream. Wah!
How's it go?
Thank you, Ginger Steve, for your £5 donation. Joe, do you even Warhammer, mate? Have you managed to completely ignore all of the hype build-up for 10th edition?
Don't
You
do that
even
problem.
had access to the rulebook.
Yeah. I mean, we've had access to the rulebook for a month as well.
I mean, we had a conversation
But
about
it's
this
here.
morning. I've had it, and I read stuff on the internet, and I'm like, oh, is that a thing now? I should probably read the rules.
So the problem I have is that, as my partner reminds me quite often,
You're a one-tab brain. You can only think about one thing at once.
Yeah,
I'm just
I
interrupting you
am
before
simple, as she said, and my brain is devoid of anything.
No, Joe, you're simplified, not simple.
I'm simplified.
Oh, you're
not
like
simple.
10th edition.
I am like 10th edition. And the problem is, if I try and learn new rules for new armies or new stuff whilst playing the edition before, I'm probably going to get them mixed up. And being on a YouTube channel, and I say rules that are in the future that I'm not supposed to, we get in trouble.
I mean, there is a reason. I said this yesterday, right? Because I knew yesterday was coming and I knew this morning was coming. There's a reason why we've dropped a lot of 9th edition streams. Because my head has been in the 10th edition rulebook and in 10th edition rules. And I was really worried about saying, I think there's probably already been a couple of things I've said that I probably shouldn't have, or things I've dropped where I think I've seen it on the community page and I haven't. So it's actually, like, from a creative perspective, I know it's, oh, boo-hoo, you get the fucking rules early and you get the box sent to you for free. I'm incredibly grateful, but it is quite stressful because you need to make sure you don't give away things you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
It's really hard, especially if it's like one new codex. What we normally do is just stop playing the army.
yeah.
It's not a problem. When it's a whole new edition and every new army gets new rules, it's really fucking difficult. Anyway, cool.
And it's frustrating because it's also impacted us in terms of wanting to play events, as it probably has a lot of the community. You know, unfortunately, Bristol GT features on the same weekend that this
Yeah.
may or may not do stuff.
That's exactly the thing you can't say.
I'm pretty sure you said last night.
Yeah, and then I got told off.
So I can't extend the ranges of any of my abilities.
Okay.
I don't think. Do I have a stratagerum?
Do you want to just talk about essentially, obviously you're using your Neuro here, Joe, and there clearly is no psychic phase anymore.
Yeah,
So
it
do you want
has
just
to
have
be.
do you want to quickly talk about that for people that maybe don't know?
It becomes a psychic abilities now, depending on what it does, is what phase it gets activated in.
So it's either a datasheet ability, like a rule,
Yeah.
under the ability section, or it's a shooting or melee attack, depending on what it is. Okay, so something like a smite, if the unit still has smite, is now in the range attack section, the range weapon section, and it just resolves like any other range attack, apart from it has a psychic keyword. And sometimes there's ways where you can do things like I make them hazardous, which makes them more killy, but obviously gives you the risk, as we talked about hazardous yesterday. Some of the other abilities are there, and their abilities, and it looks like things like librarians. If I go into my Space Marine Librarian datasheet, because this is actually an interesting point right now, if I go into my Space Marine Librarian datasheet and find him out, on his card here, he has a Psychic Hood, then he has Veil of Time, which is his psychic ability. While he's leading a unit, weapons equipped by models in that unit have the sustained hits 1 ability. Okay, he has Smite on his datasheet here, okay, which is a Witchfire psychic power, but it's 24-inch range, D6 attacks, ballistic skill 3 plus it uses his ballistic skill, strength 5 minus 1 D3 damage. I can focus it. It turns into devastating wounds, which means 6s to hit will do mortals instead. It's hazardous, however, so I have to roll a single dice every time I use this power, and if I roll a 1, I will take 3 mortal wounds myself. It's D6 attacks, ballistic skill 3 again, but goes up to strength 6, down to AP minus 2, and D3 damage. Again, there is a potential that they could be mortals. So that's his profile. So he just gets Veil of Time and he just gets Smite. So there is, according to this card at least, as a Psyker, no way I can pick psychic powers, I can pick psychic abilities. They have just given librarians what they've given them. I assume when that comes to things like armies like Eldar, where you would see, oh, I've got a Farseer, he's got Doom and Guide, I assume that's not going to be the case. I'm assuming a Farseer might get Guide or something, and then something else, if these powers still fucking exist, will be applied to a different model. I don't know, but there's no choice now. You just get it. The interesting thing about the things like the witchfires and stuff, historically we've just seen them do buckets of mortal wounds. It now would seem, looking at this librarian at least, that the only way you get the option of doing mortal wounds is 1, on a rare wound roll of a 6, and 2, with the risk of doing mortal wounds yourself.
Yeah.
So otherwise they're just shooting attacks, and I'm going to be honest, I flat prefer it. I just think it's better.
Yeah.
I think it's much better.
It speeds things up a lot.
Well, we've already seen there's a ton of devastating wounds in the game, but we've already seen that mortal wounds is actually a bit of a feels bad. Hey, I'm rolling a dice. I rolled a 6. I mean, I did, right? not weighted, obviously. You just take damage.
Yeah.
You just take damage. You've got no choice, right? Yeah. And I don't like that. But if I don't roll a 6, even if I'm focused, right, you get an armor save.
Yeah.
And I think that's better. And then what I do is I roll a hazardous test. If I roll a 1, I would have taken 3 mortal wounds on my character.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to charge you now.
Oh, are you? Well, I can't Overwatch, but I can heroically intervene with any unit.
You heroically intervene when?
After you finish your charge phase.
Okay. So the Leapers are going to charge the Flamerman. Oh, they need to take a battle shock test, by the way, because my Screamer screamed at them. He was like, eeeeee.
Is it if I'm hit or is it if I take damage?
In a shooting phase, after this model has shot, select one enemy unit hit by 1 or more of those attacks. That unit must take a battle shock test, subtracting 1 from the test. You must take it right now.
So my Infernus Marines, you'll be pleased to know, Joe, have a Space Marine leadership characteristic of 6+.
Okay, so it's now 7+.
So if I rolled a 6 or higher, I would pass. And I rolled a 7.
Yeah.
Now, you're -1, so I need to roll a 7 or higher to pass, so I do pass. Now, although it probably isn't all that important now for you guys, chat, if I hadn't have used my Overwatch stratagem, that would have been a big deal. Because I would have instantly gone to objective control 0, right? And I can't use any stratagems if I fail a battle shock test at that point. And interestingly, for Insane Bravery, you can use this in the battle shock step of your command phase, just after you failed a battle shock. So you can't use Insane Bravery if someone battle shocks you mid-turn.
Yeah.
Big deal.
Yeah.
Big deal. But I didn't fail my battle shock test. However, I also wasn't going to use my...
I rolled a 5.
So when you now... Okay, so Joe rolled a 5. How far away were you?
4-ish.
Okay. So when Joe moves his model, he has to move closer to the enemy unit selected as the charge, or towards the enemy unit selected as the charge, not necessarily in a straight line, however. And the rule states, if you can base, you must base.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Base is the place.
Base is the place.
London.
So if you can base, you must base. That's the rules.
Look at you with your zooming in and stuff.
Yeah, it's a little bit out of focus though.
Who are you trying to impress?
Well, we've got
Just
480 viewers to impress.
What is these people that aren't me coming on the channel doing a much better job than me?
I mean, that's
you're
everyone.
Although we're zooming in on some lovely new models you've got there, a $2 question from Stephen Whittam is, where are the trees from?
We got them from Factorum.
Yeah. We got this from Factorum.
Which is also foreground, I believe, for
Time Again?
Or Time Again.
They're Time Again, aren't they?
It depends what fucking
Either
day
way,
of the
one
week
of
it
those
is.
3 companies, go on their website and you should be able to
Yeah,
pass them
if they're not on the website, phone them up and scream, psychic scream down the
How
phone.
good are these Von Ryan Reynolds Leapers?
They're right.
Melee?
6 attacks each.
Oh my god.
6 attacks each, hitting on 3s with sustained hits, 1. Strength 5, -1 damage.
So what you're saying is, don't heroically intervene with Sternguard.
No.
Okay. Okay, so you get to... So, Joe, because you've charged me, your charging unit gains a special rule. And that special rule is called Fights First.
I know, it says here, Fights First.
No, so you've... Okay, so you've already got Fights First. That's very, very interesting.
Yeah.
Because if I charge... So there's 2 steps. In the fight phase now, there's 2 steps, right?
Yeah.
There's the Fights First step and the Fights Normal step. That's it, okay? So what you do is you resolve every unit that has the Fights First ability in the first step, and then you resolve every unit who doesn't have that ability in the second step.
Yeah.
It starts with the player whose turn it isn't. So, it starts with me.
Yeah.
I don't have any units with Fights First,
Okay.
so I can't select a unit. And we
hear
take turns. Yeah. So it's now your turn. What's interesting is, if I'd have charged you with my Terminators, for example, I have Fights First because I charge, because every unit that successfully charges gains the Fights First ability, right? So if I'd have charged you my Terminators, I'd have gained Fights First. Your Ryan Reynolds Leapers also has Fights First.
Yeah.
So in the circumstance where my Terminators charge those, the player whose turn it isn't goes first, you. So you would actually get to fight with them even though I charged you.
And they get to heroic intervene for free.
But you would have. So what I'm saying is, you would have got to go, even though it's my turn and I charged you. However, I don't have fights first, so I can't go. So Joe, you have a fights first unit. Your Ryan Reynolds Leapers.
18 attacks.
You get to attack my Flamer Dudes of Death, Doom and Destruction.
Europe.
18 attacks. What do you hit on, sir?
3s.
I don't think I care about fighting on death with this unit because they're a bit rubbish.
Okay.
Just gonna let you hit me. Hit me, bitch.
A £5 super chat from Marius Gage. Can your opponent use Overwatch while you heroically intervene? Since a heroic intervene says you charge as if it was your charge phase.
Ooh, well, that's going to be interesting. So heroic intervention specifically states your opponent's charge phase just after the enemy ends a charge move. One unit from your army that is within 6 inches of that enemy unit that would be eligible to declare a charge against that enemy unit as if it were your charge phase. Your unit now declares a charge that targets only that enemy unit, and you resolve that charge as if it were your charge phase. Okay, and then you can't do that with vehicles unless it's walkers, right?
So you're already engaged by this point because the heroic intervention comes after the normal charge.
So heroic intervention is at the end in your opponent's charge phase just after an enemy unit ends a charge. So Joe could charge 5 units. He could charge his first unit, finish his charge, and I could heroically intervene then. Yeah. Okay, so it's not at the end of the charge phase. So we're still in the charge phase at this point.
But by this point, they're engaged, though, aren't they? So if you were, I think your opponent use Overwatch while you heroically intervene? He's asking, or the question is, can you Overwatch the model that is heroically intervening?
Your opponent's movement or charge phase just after the enemy is set up, or when an enemy unit starts or ends a normal move, advance, fallback, or charge. So it specifically states when a unit ends a charge move.
Well, no, it says in your opponent's movement or charge phase. It's not your opponent's charge phase when you charge them. Because you're charging in your charge phase. It's not your opponent's
So you charge me.
Yeah.
It's your charge phase. You charge me. Okay.
Yeah.
I heroically intervene.
And what?
So you can't Overwatch
Yeah.
because it's not my charge phase.
Yeah.
Even though it says
You charge as if it was.
it was my charge phase.
Yeah. But it's not your charge. You charge as if it was, but it is not.
I'm going to say no. You can't Overwatch heroically intervening units.
Do you know what you should do, Marius? You should speak to Eddie.
I would rather.
Oh, well, no. If you don't talk to Eddie, message Kylo. He's the boss.
Don't message Eddie. Talk to someone who knows what they're talking about. The rules.
PT13, £5 super chat. Thank you very much. Event ticket bagged. Package sent. Uncle Joe.
Lad. He's sending us loads of baseball stuff.
And you come into the narrative event element in August. Would you like to?
When is it?
In August, the element.
Yeah, but
what
when in
weekend?
August is a month.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's
One of
several
them.
weekends.
I don't have a day off, Joe, so I don't know.
Well, maybe PT13 can tell us what.
If I'm parenting, no. If I'm not parenting, maybe. But based on if I'm allowed out of the house. I have to get permission, otherwise I get beaten.
Let me find our agreement.
I had to roll to wound you. I'm strength 5, so 3s.
It is the 19th and 20th of August, Joe. This to wound me, is it?
That's the wound, -1.
-1.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You notice I didn't set to defend. Do you know why?
Why is that?
It doesn't exist anymore.
Oh.
So, I have 4+ armor saves. Is that what we're saying? That's what we're saying, isn't it?
Get off your phone, Joe, and concentrate.
I'm checking for the 19th and 20th of August.
Joe, it's not a great roll.
That's July.
So unless I re-roll an armor
That's
save,
September.
I think you killed them to a man.
It says I am available potentially on that weekend. Although it does on my calendar because I have it says I've got a shared calendar and my partner's put on the Saturday Pig Experience Day. She gets that every day with me.
What day's the 15th that week?
The 15th of that week is a Tuesday.
Okay.
So there is every chance I could go in August to the narrative event.
Okay, so the flamers are killed, Joe. I'm not going to roll. I'm going to use one of my precious CP to re-roll one.
Huzzah!
So you can now choose to consolidate.
Yeah.
However,
Is it like boarding actions? Can I only consolidate if I get into range of another unit?
yes. So when you consolidate, okay, you consolidate after a unit is finished making all of its melee attacks. It consolidates. Each time a unit consolidates, you can move each model in that unit that is not already in base-to-base contact with an enemy model up to 3 inches. This is a consolidation move. For a consolidation to be possible, a unit must be able to end these moves within engagement range of 1 or more enemy units and in unit coherency. If these conditions cannot be met, then each model in that unit can instead make a consolidation move towards the closest objective marker, but only if, after doing so, that unit is in range of that objective marker and in unit coherency. If these conditions also cannot be met, no models in that unit can make a consolidation move. Okay, so you are within 3.
No, look. Tape measure says no.
it must be able to end with an engagement range, which is within an inch.
Which is an inch.
I don't know if I want to.
If a unit can end its consolidation with an engagement range of one or more enemy units, then each time one of these models makes a consolidation motion, it must end that move close to the closest enemy model. If it can also end that move in base-to-base contact with one of my enemy models while still satisfying all of the conditions above, it must do so. The controlling player chooses the order.
Must do so.
So if you can base me, you must base me.
Yeah.
If you can't base me, you can still move as long as you finish an engagement range.
What I do?
If you can't finish an engagement range, if you do finish an engagement range, I can now fight, by the way.
Yeah.
If you can't finish an engagement range, then you just flat can't do it.
Do you have any fancy close combat stuff?
Yes.
Then you probably don't.
I have a
do it.
Space Marine fist.
Ooh.
I do like this new rule though. It does stop some of that janky movement shenanigans. And
as I said on stream last night, Chris, as you'll know because you watched it, if you are a player like me who plays lots of World Eaters, whereby actually melee armies were quite squishy and whole, then I used to use the movement jank a lot to gain loads of extra movement to then not be quite so squishy. I'm less concerned about losing this now because I feel like things are a little bit more tougher. Yeah. However, that being said, I'm a little bit sad I lost on my movement jank.
I've got a stratagem here which allows me to consolidate 6 inches as long as I get within range of you. So I imagine that's not going to be locked to just Tyranids. I would assume that there might be units that get it, or a stratagem, or an enhancement. I can't imagine.
So, as a Space Marine,
yeah,
I have 4 attacks as a Stern Guard each.
4 attacks each?
3 attacks each.
Cheating.
Oh, that's Inferno Squad. No, it is 4 attacks each. I'm right. 4 attacks each.
That's mad.
Okay, I am right. I wasn't lying to you. That's because that's my Inferno Squad data card.
Madness.
Madness. So I'm going to hit you 20 of the times.
Ooh.
Okay, and I hit you on 4s, Joe.
I've got the
Joe.
stealth ability. Does that mean anything?
Yes, -1 to hit against ranged attacks.
Oh.
So I hit you on 3s.
You
Joe.
are punching me at range.
So I've hit you some of the times. Okay.
I'm toughness 5.
You're toughness 5. Well, I'm a Space Marine, so I'm only strength 4. I actually thought in the new edition the Space Marine toughness might go up, but strength might go up by 1.
I really like the depth. Their rules are cool. They're cool little shenanigans.
So I'm going to wound you on 5s, Joe. Okay. That wasn't so good, Joe.
2.
How many wounds does each model have?
3.
That's a problem. 1 can't die. So you have 2 armor saves. My close combat weapon is AP of 0.
And I have got a save of 4+. I have made 1.
Do you take a wound?
I do.
I can do.
There's a baby outside shouting.
Yes. It's not Eddie.
We must silence him. Should be sleeping with the fishes.
Okay.
That's the end of my turn.
End of Joe's turn.
Yeah.
End of a Joe turn.
It's your command phase now, isn't it?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, why?
I'm going to do a thing to you.
I'm
going to do it to you.
Are you?
I am going to
Use your once per battle ability.
Shadow in the Warp.
Shadow in the Warp me. Shadow my
If
warp.
your army faction is Tyranids, which is
convenient.
yeah, once per battle in either player's command phase. You can do it in your own command phase, which is actually quite good. But I'm doing it in your command phase because this is important. If one or more members of your army have this, I can unleash the Shadow in the Warp. When you do, each enemy unit on the battlefield must take a battle shock test.
In the command phase.
In the command phase. Now, that when in the command phase, do you take battle shock? Do you take it in the beginning? Do you take it in the end? After a player scored? Before a player scored? What is it? What is going on?
Well, if you've read the rules, you'll find out. So step number 1, resolve command abilities, gain a command point. Step number 2, take battle shock tests. End of command phase, score points.
Oh.
So if I fail battle shock with, for example, the apothecary biologist right here, and probably even the Spudnort, then I won't have the objective anymore.
Oh. Okay. So we gain CP first.
Both gain CP.
So I've already spent your CP, Joe. So you went up to 2, you're back down to 1.
Why am I spending a CP?
Because you just did it on that. Or was
It's free.
Oh.
My detachment rule.
Well, I wasn't listening.
You're like Brom, just trying to do me over.
So at the start of the battle round, I need to pick a unit to F you in the A with.
Oh.
Reroll hits and wounds.
Okay.
I don't know which one to do. I kind of want to kill your brain bug unit. I feel like the Screamer Killer now probably is a dead killer.
Wow. That's bold. The bold phrase to use.
I feel like I want to pick this unit here for reroll hits and wounds.
What's the range of your flamers?
12. Okay, so we're going to pick, for my Oath of Moment, Mr. the Brain Bug, the HQ Man's unit, okay? That's going to be my Oath of Moment
I
unit.
have been oafed.
You've been oathed.
Yeah.
For my combat doctrines, I think I'm going to pick tactical doctrine to allow me to fall back and shoot with my stern guard right now. It's not the best because I'm only using it for one unit, but I think that's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
So stern guard will fall back and shoot. Okay. I've gained a command point. I don't have anything I want to use it on right now, I don't think. But luckily, I have this handy dandy stratagem card, right? So when fight phase, don't need it. When shooting phase, don't need it. When fight phase, don't need it. When opponent's movement phase, command phase. Okay. Select the Devastator Doctrine, Tactical Doctrine, or Assault Doctrine until the start of your next command phase. The Combat Doctrine is active for the unit if of any other Combat Doctrine. Select it in battle.
Words.
Okay, okay, that's an interesting one.
There are some words going on.
Adaptive strategy, that's interesting. Until the end of the phase, ranged attacks have ignores cover. It's a Devastator Doctrine. Okay, I'm gonna change what I'm gonna do right now, I think.
Oh, I'm
gonna try and do some fancy stuff.
Shenanigans.
Okay, so we're actually gonna go Devastator Doctrine so I can advance and shoot.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we're gonna in my command phase, I'm gonna spend a command point on this unit here to give them Tactical Doctrine so they can fall back and shoot.
Thick. I like it.
Thick, right? Okay, beautiful.
With 2 C's.
Okay, and then in your shooting phase, I can then put okay, cool. We're gonna make
thick like a McDonald's milkshake.
Beautiful. So now I have to battle shock for it. That's my command ability's done, Joe. Right?
Your whole army now has to battle.
Now my whole army has to battle shock, right? Is there any modifiers, or is it just a battle shock test?
It's just, I believe.
Did your Neuro have anything?
Oh yes, he does, Mr. I know more rules than you, Joe.
I don't. I'm going to give a big shout out there to Lee Woods. Thank you very much for pointing that
out. Psychic terror. Brackets. Psychic. If one or more Neuro Tyrants are from your army or on the battlefield, when you unleash the Shadow in the Warp, subtract 1 from battle shock tests, enemy units on the battlefield must take.
Okay. Okay. Right. So because of
yes, there is a modifier.
So because I've already used the stratagem before the battle shock test, that still stays active.
Yeah.
I get the Devastator Doctrine. What that will stop me from doing if another unit fails is using the other stratagem that I want to use, right? So I'm down on 1. You've got that. You're all over it, Chris. So I'll start with I'll start here, Joe. My Stern Guard, leadership 6+. Now because of your Psycho phase, leadership 7+.
Toy.
They are good. They are insanely brave.
They are mad brave.
The Apothecary Biologus, also leadership 6+. Now leadership 7+. Whoop. He has failed.
He's so scared.
The Ballistus Dreadnought.
He's like, my brains.
My brains. So I can't use. So the Ballistus Dreadnought, leadership 6+. Fast, Joe.
Failed.
The Inferno unit over there. They're also leadership 6+. They fail, and then Mr. the Lieutenant over there. He passes.
Yeah.
So he's a very brave character.
He is so brave.
Okay.
He's a brave.
But
brave
I
boy.
can't use the stratagem on them that I wanted to use in Devastator Doctrine to give them ignores cover for an additional AP.
Nor can they hold objectives.
They can't hold objectives currently, no. Not until the start of my next command phase.
I feel if you've got an army that's going to be impacting battle shock a lot on your opponent, you're going to need some tokens to remember this.
Actually, you probably are, yeah.
What you need is lots of
because there's going to be conversations
shock
like,
face.
you know
that famous.
Just take a little picture out of that fucking what's that knobhead? That Hellstorm's thumbnail.
No, you know that piece of artwork where there's like a screaming man and it's all swirly. It's a famous picture.
So that means at the end of my command phase, I score a victory point for every objective that I hold. My Ballistus Dreadnought passed his test. So I hold that objective, so I get 1 victory point on my primary.
Do I score it now, or do I have to wait till my command phase?
Your command phase.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not good for whoever goes second.
So you score
That's really bad for whoever goes second.
You score 1 VP. Is that what you're telling me?
At the end of each player's command phase, the player whose turn it is scores 1 victory point for each objective marker they control, to a maximum of 3 per turn. Yes, end of each player's command phase.
You don't want to go second in this match.
You don't want to go second in this. This is just we're just using the core rulebook mission.
Yeah,
we're all having fun here.
Everyone's having fun.
So my Stern Guard are going to just fall back a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And we're going to fall back to in range of that objective marker as well, because stuff and things.
When do you do heroic intervention?
Heroic intervention. Heroic intervention is done after one of my units has finished making a charge.
After a charge.
So the heroic intervention stratagem, Joe.
Oh, he's in the yeah. I was wondering if I could chase after you as you ran away from me.
No, that's not
Cockney weasels, we shall follow you down the street.
Example battlefields. Yours look nicer
I
than
did
their
not
example.
follow the example
Yours
battlefield.
look nicer than their example battlefields, Jay.
That's a question from Cole Mahoney. Wouldn't the stratagem already spent then fail as the battle shock takes over?
No. So Battle Shock states. While the unit is battle shocked, the objective control characteristic of all of its models is 0. If it falls back, you must make a desperate test. Its controlling player cannot use stratagems to affect that unit. I've already used a stratagem to affect the unit.
Did we use the stratagem out sequence, or did we use it in the correct?
So I use the stratagem. So the stratagem I use is in the command phase, which happens in the command area, right? Both players gain CP, resolve any other rules that occur in the command phase. Battle shock then happens afterwards. Now, I guess it could be argued if I then fail my battle shock test with them, which I didn't, thankfully, I wouldn't be able to use that stratagem.
Well, yeah.
But because the stratagem, so the stratagem stays, here's where we're already breaking the game, right? This is where there will probably be some FAQs. So the adaptive strategy stratagem, you use it in your command phase. So you use it in step 1 command that says, resolve any other rules that occur in the command phase.
And the stratagem is the rule that occurs in the...
Select the Dev Doctrine, Tactical Doctrine, Assault Doctrine until the start of your next command phase. That combat doctrine is active for that unit instead of any other combat doctrine that is active for your army, even if you've already selected that doctrine in this battle. Okay, so I put them in Tactical Doctrine. Then I rolled for Battle Shock, and I passed, so it's fine. If I'd have failed, it says its controlling player cannot use stratagems to affect that unit, but I'd already used the stratagem.
Yeah.
So I think I'm okay.
Yeah.
Only because of the sequence. Could be considered a bit gamey.
I would argue that it's
and
correct.
this isn't a competitive channel.
I think that's right, though.
Yeah, because then... Yeah, because you can still affect it with, like, characters in the unit and stuff as well. So I'd say... Yeah, so further on you can't use... It basically means that you can't. That unit now can't use Overwatch or...
People like James Hobbs have currently got his hands over his ears going la 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 la.
La 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 la
Why is he
la
doing
la la.
Because he's gaming. Aren't you, James? Yeah, that's what I thought.
I'm going to use a ranged attack for Overwatch.
Oh, yeah.
I shall,
Okay.
for 1 CP.
Yes.
Ranged weapons from the Neuro Tyrant.
Okay.
It is Psychic Scream, brackets, ignores cover, Torrent, Psychic.
Okay.
Right?
And what does torrent mean, Joe?
It means that it automatically hits.
It does.
All 2d6 times of it.
Roll better than double ones.
I'm going to roll a double 6.
That was okay.
I rolled a 6. It's not blast. Boo.
So it also hits me.
Oh, do I re- No, I'm not going to reroll it. So it also hits you. It is ignoring cover. It's strength 5, -1, 2 damage.
Okay. So 3 to wound me. Everything wounds.
Everything wound.
-1.
-1.
Okay. I can't use any strategies on them because they're battle shocked. I can't give them Armor of Contempt. So I failed 4. Fucking hell, I failed 4. And you know what I also can't do? CP reroll. Because they're battle shocked.
Oh. Battle Shock is strong.
I keep saying this. I've said this so many times on the streams. Battle Shock is so strong. And I was like, no, I'm not sure. But I can't even CP reroll save because that's using a stratagem on the unit.
Yeah.
So it's very good.
Which means that in your command phase again, they'll have to... But they won't Battle Shock until your next command phase now, will they?
Correct.
Yeah.
But they stay battle shocked until my next command phase.
Yeah.
So, you know. Cool. Okay. That's a problem for me. Because I wanted to... The whole reason why I went Devastated Doctor... Oh, it's still moving. That's good. We're good. We're still moving. Okay,
Yeah.
good. So now... So you've now spent your Overwatch stratagem.
I mean...
Thank you, Jay.
It was useful. Because if I'd done it on Terminators, it probably wouldn't have done much. Although you did roll a lot of 2s.
I did roll a lot of 2s. It probably would have murdered some Terminators, Jay. So we're now going to do some striking of the deep variety.
And it's 9 inches away, correct?
Horizontally as well now. So it's not like you measure like that anymore, like you used to.
Yeah.
It's now exactly 9 inches away. So now I feel like these are going to come in here to reinforce that position that's just got decimated by angry psychic Tyranids.
Space Wizard.
Space wizards from space. And interestingly, Jay,
Yeah.
my librarian comes with them because he's part of the unit now.
Nice.
There you go. And what we're going to do over here is we're going to drop this guy in by these fellas just because why not?
The big dog.
Big dog. There you go. He's 9 inches away there. All right. Cool. I already actually quite like
Can you just
this.
move the spare tape measure?
This one.
The one that looks like a truck for top down.
Truckosaurus. Okay, right. Cool. So that's my movement phase complete.
Nice.
Now we move into the shooting phase,
Yes.
Josephine. Okay. So we're going to start. You will not be surprised with my captain. Captain, oh captain.
My captain, my captain.
Okay. And he's going to shoot at... So what does he have?
A gun.
So he just has a combi bolter and a relic blade. So he's going to shoot at the termagants that are the furthest away from him.
These guys?
Yeah, not the rippers. Okay. So I'm going to shoot at you with my my storm bolter, which is rapid fire 2, and they're within 12, aren't they? Yeah, they're within 12.
Yeah.
So
I'll get cover on them though, won't I?
you are half the units obscured from me, so yeah, I think you do get covered, if I remember rightly. I hit you on 2s, Joe. Pew pew.
I have been pewed.
You've been pewed, Joe. Okay. Once per battle round, one unit from your army with this ability can be targeted by a stratagem for 0 CP, even if another unit from your army has already been targeted by that stratagem this phase. That's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the Imperium Sword, you can reroll charge rolls for this unit.
Sword.
Sword. Okay, right, cool. So I've hit you 4 times.
I am
strength 4.
I am toughness 3.
3 to wound you. Oh dear. I have wounded you 2 of the times, Joe.
I've got a 5-up save, which is now a 4+ save.
You are, it is indeed.
I failed both of them, but it's fine. I get a 6-up, feel no pain. I failed both of them. 2 have died.
Cool.
Going well for the
Oh, Captain, he's already done some shooting. Right. Now, my one remaining Pyre Blaster, because I need to see it before you kill all of them, Joe.
Yeah.
We're going to flame them. We're going to flame some cheeky chappies now.
Yeah, I saw what those Pyre Blasters could do to termagants at Warhammer Vest. I was not keen on it.
D6 shots on the Psychophages unit. Not the Psychophages, the Neurotyrants unit. D6 shots. 2. They also are auto-hitting.
Tight.
And they're strength 5. So I wound you on, I assume, 3s for the Neurogaunts.
A Neurogaunt is toughness 3.
So I wound you on 3s. And because of Oath of the Moment, I can re-roll, but I don't need to. 2 wounds. AP nothing, sir.
AP nothing, so I get a 6-up save. Whee! I failed both of them. I get a 6-up, feel no pain. Whee! I saved 1.
In your shooting phase, after this unit has shot, select one enemy infantry unit hit by one or more of these attacks made by the Pyre Blaster. That enemy unit must take a battle shock test.
So I take the highest leadership, don't I, in the unit? Because he's a leadership 7, the Neuro
I
Tyrant.
want to say yes. You take the highest leadership.
Yeah.
I want to say yes. Let's roll
Or
with
the
it.
lowest leadership. So leadership 7. I've passed big time much wow.
That's an interesting question, though. To do so, roll 2d6 if the result is greater than or equal to the best leadership characteristic in that unit.
Okay.
Good. That's the way it should be as well. Okay. So I like that though. The fact that it just forces. They're actually quite good for rules, I think. If you have more than one left on the table. Right. Sternguard. Let's shoot some Sternguard at you. Okay.
They are much stern big wow.
I don't know how you've kitted them out.
I kitted them out how they come in the box.
1, 2.
I think there's one guy with a normal gun.
There's 2 combi weapons, 2 normal weapons, and a heavy bolter.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's cool. All right. These are infantry. Yeah.
Yes.
So we'll start off with the 2 combi weapons. Okay. So I'm a Sternguard veteran with a combi weapon. I hit you on 4s, but it's 1 attack, but rapid fire. So I get 2 attacks, but I've got 2 models with combi weapons, so I get 4 attacks.
Yes.
Correct. Okay. I hit you on 4s with a combi weapon.
Because I'm stealthy.
So I've hit you 3 of the times.
Nice.
Okay. And I am strength 4,
Toughness 5.
but I am anti-infantry 4+. So 4+ will cause a critical wound, and it's devastating wounds.
That's bad for Joe.
So 2 4+s.
Yeah.
That's 2 mortal wounds.
I have no way of stopping it.
So 1's dead. Okay. Then I have a Sternguard bolt rifle on 2 other guys. So these have 2 attacks each, as standard.
Yeah.
But they are also rapid fire 1, so they go up to 3 attacks. Okay.
Interesting.
Beautiful. So these will hit you on 3s because they're Sternguard bolt rifles. And I've hit you...
No, because what they hit on normally 2s.
3s.
Yeah, but I'm stealthy, so now 4s.
Correct. Now 4s. So I've hit you
So
2
it
of the
means that you
times.
cheated earlier.
I don't know. It's your rules, not my rules. It's on,
I did say I'm stealthy, -1.
So devastating. So I'm strength 4, toughness 5. So I wound you on 5s now.
Yeah.
So I've wounded you twice. They're AP -1.
So I've got a save of 4+, and that now goes to a 5+.
Yes.
Words.
So another one loses a wound. So just ignore it in case I rolled a 3 to hit, 4 to hit previously, or put it on whatever you want. Okay, fine. I now have a Sternguard heavy weapon.
Yeah.
Right. Devastating wounds, sustained hits 1. 3 attacks. I hit you on 4s. 5s because you're stealthy.
Yeah.
It is sustained hits.
You mean you have to roll 6s? Mm-hmm. So he means he missed all the times?
Yes, he missed all the times.
Good.
However, Joe, I have a bolter drill ability. Once per battle in your shooting phase, after the unit has shot, if one or more enemy units were destroyed, or enemy units were destroyed, okay, not enemy models destroyed, then it can shoot again. Okay. We won't be
Can
doing
they fall
that
back and charge?
then. They can fall back and shoot or charge, yeah.
Oh. Or charge.
Yeah? Shoot and or charge. Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's find out. Let's read the rule. This unit is
Thank
eligible to
you
shoot
very
and declare.
much, Power Pilgrim, for gifting 5 memberships.
Thank you, Power Pilgrim, you're a hero. The thing is, I'm not going to want to charge you, Joe, because you've got fights first. So you fight first. That'd be a silly choice.
It would.
Okay, so Stern Guard, underwhelming. Who knew? Terminator squads. No, we're
I think in bigger units, like depending on how you, like, for instance, if you could give the whole unit combi weapons,
you
I
can.
think they would be quite good.
you can give the whole unit combat weapons.
Yeah.
100%. And combat weapons also have heavy, I think. Combat weapons, no, they don't. The Stern Guard bolt rifles have heavy, so if you stay still with the Stern Guard bolt rifles, you hit on 2s.
Oh.
It's quite cool. Ballistus Dreadnought time, Jay.
Ball baggiest dreadnought.
Let's try and kill that Carnifex finally. Joe's favourite model, the only reason why he played Tyranids. My crack in your face.
Oh, the crack is wide.
I hit you once. Strength 10.
Toughness something.
I wound you once. -2, 4-up save.
4 up. Come on, buddy. You can do it. Goes through.
D6 damage. Just a 2, actually.
Double 6. No 6.
How many's he got left now?
0.
Was that him dead?
He's dead.
Oh.
He does have
Herpes.
deadly demise 1.
Oh my god.
But what does it mean?
I would have cried if that hit the deck.
Does he explode and do one
The
more?
crowd
wound?
didn't see that, however, Angron just went flying.
Off to heaven he
He
goes.
took a chunk out my arm as well. Quite a sharp man.
He would though, wouldn't he? He is angry.
I killed him!
Wow.
I killed him, Joe. I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
Oh, I could have rerolled the hit roll as well because you were below half strength. Now we're going to move on to my Terminator unit, which has a librarian and some Terminators.
Oh yeah.
Are you all ready for this? Boo, 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 boo. Right, Joe.
I'm going to
What are you going to do?
do
Speak out loud, Joe. Talk to the camera.
rapid regeneration for 1 CP. I've got a CP, so I
You
should
do
spend it.
indeed.
What's that mean?
It means I got 5 up, feel no pain on that unit.
Okay. Right.
So suck it.
Okay, so I have some Terminators. They're all in rapid fire range.
They are.
Right, and there's one assault cannon in there as well.
Yes.
Okay. I have Fury of the First,
Yeah. Are they thirsty?
which means I can ignore any or all modifiers that attacks ballistic skill or weapon skill characteristic and or hit roll. In addition, each time a model in this unit makes an attack that targets an enemy you selected for the Oath of Moment ability that turn, add 1 to the hit roll. So my Terminators are hitting you on 2s.
That's strong, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really good, isn't it? Right. My Librarian is also hitting you on 2s with his Stormbolter. We'll do him in just a moment, though. So let's start off with the Terminators, okay? And we're going to start off with the Assault Cannon, okay? So the Assault Cannon has 6 attacks, right?
Yes.
Now, I hit you on 2s because of Fury of the First, and I picked you for Oath of Moment. And my Librarian, because he's leading the unit with Veil of Time, gives me sustained hits 1. So critical hits will score an additional hit. So we'll start off with the Assault Cannon. Hitting you on 2s. So everything hits, and I get 3 additional hits because of Veil of Time.
Nice.
So the Assault Cannon hits you 9 of the times. Okay? Now, the Assault Cannon is Strength 6. Your Toughness is 3.
Yeah.
So I wound you on 2s.
Yeah.
And I'm going to pick up everything that's not a 6, Joe.
Yeah.
Because Assault Cannons also have Devastating Wounds.
Oh.
So I've done 4 mortal wounds, and then 5 saves with no AP.
5 saves with no AP. So 6s. Good.
And then all of these for 5 up for no pains.
It's quite strong, isn't it?
I mean, that was okay. I did well.
Save 4. 5 have died.
5 have died. Now, at the point in which, it doesn't matter how you pull units from this, pull models from this unit, at the point in which I selected you to shoot, everything could shoot, so I get to shoot everything in the unit, okay? So now we're going to move on to the Terminator Stormbolters, who are rapid fire 2, so I get 4 shots per Terminator for 5, for 20, for some. 16, there we go, 16 shots, maths. Now, again, I hit you on 2s with exploding 6s. Now what I can do here is pick up everything that isn't a 6 because of Oath of Moment. Just re-roll it and try and fish for more exploded 6s. Because, you know, fewer rerolls in this edition.
Much fewer.
Okay, didn't really pay off, but it's okay. So I ended up with 4 6s, but I missed 3 times, so I put 4 dice back in. Okay. I'm strength 4.
I am toughness 3.
Your toughness 3. Okay. So I wound you on 3s, and again with rerolls.
Which is mad, because they're toughness 3 and the Neuro Tyrant is toughness 8. He's actually better off not being in the unit. Because
When he's cutting around alone, he's going to get chow.
I know, but if you're shooting at that unit with lots and lots of low damage stuff, it's easier to have the wounds trickle over to him.
Yeah.
Through the unit.
All those armour saves.
Yeah.
Followed by feel no pain saves.
So, because it's a mixed unit, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So do them 5 at a time.
Do I have to do 5 at a time now?
Yeah. So 5 armour saves of 6+. I mean, that went well.
That went
So
well.
what are the 2 armour saves of 6+?
Well, these are 5 but feel no pains now.
Okay.
So 1 dies.
Okay. So 4 armour saves of 6+.
Ooh.
Cool. And then 5 up for no pains. Stop it. One more dice.
1 more dice.
Stop it. Don't start doing this again. We've got rid of this in 9th edition, okay?
3.
3 more armour saves of 6+.
3 6s. Oh.
No, and then 3 5 up for no pains. So luck I had to stop at some point. I'm actually bleeding from Angron.
I take, so 2 die.
Blood for the blood god.
1, 2. Oh no! Oh no! And then
Angron maybe bleed.
and then there's 1 guy left.
Hey, is that one guy? 6
6.
up. Oh, stop it. 6.
6. Oh.
5
5.
up.
Come on. Oh, look at him.
Pack it in.
Right, and then a 6. A 6 is coming. Oh, it's a 4. A 5 is coming. No.
He dies.
You killed the unit though.
Okay. So now my librarian
I
gets
take
to
back
attack.
everything I just said.
So now my librarian gets to fight. Okay. So he has a storm bolter, doesn't he?
Bolter of the Storm.
And he has smite. So we'll start with the storm bolter, which is rapid fire 2. Hits you on 2s. And that unit's still oathed.
Yeah.
And he gets, while this model is leading a unit, weapons equipped by models in the unit have sustained hits. So he gets, his storm bolter's got 7 hits.
Nice.
Strength is 4.
Toughness 8, so 6s.
6s. But Oath of Moment's a thing. So just the 4 wounds
Yep.
on his little gribbly gibblers.
They don't have a separate
No,
profile.
they're all part of the same.
Alright, so I've got 4 plus invulnerable save.
Cool. Followed by
A 5. Hey, no damage.
now. I'm going to do, I'm still bleeding. I'm going to do something because it's interesting. I'm going to smite you now. And I'm going to use the focused witchfire ability.
Ah, here's a question for you.
17.
Can you shoot a gun and do a psychic power in the same shooting phase?
Yes. You can shoot with all ranged weapons unless they're pistol.
Are you sure?
It's a ranged weapon, yes.
Okay.
You think I can't?
I don't know. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
But there's no psychic phase now.
Yeah.
It's just ranged weapons. You can shoot with all ranged weapons and models equipped with, unless they also have the pistol
It's
keyword.
not a ranged weapon, though, is it? It's a magic power.
It's ranged
That's
weapons,
why
Jay.
it has psychic as its keyword.
Psychic is keyword, but it's ranged weapons, Jay.
I thought you could do one or the other.
No.
Because then you've just got rid of completely one phase completely for a model, isn't
Yeah.
it? Which is ridiculous.
But I would imagine that their psychic weapon is better than their standard ranged weapon.
Yeah, but their psychic weapon was always better than a standard ranged weapon, Jay. So you're just losing loads of abilities there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to focus it because I think it's interesting. We haven't done this before. So it's D6 attacks. Okay.
Okay.
For 3 attacks.
Nice.
I could CP reroll it.
You could. But you could roll a 1.
I could roll a 1. I'm not going to CP reroll it. What would happen if I did? So I hit you on 2s. No, I don't hit you on 2s. I hit you on 3s with this particular ability. You ready?
Yeah.
You ready?
Ready?
Ooh, that's bad. But
Do I
Oath of Moment.
retain Oath now that I've gone to an independent
Still the
character?
unit. Still the same unit. So I hit you all 3 times.
Yeah.
Now, it is strength 6. It's 5 to wound you.
5s.
But we really want is 6s. But I'm actually going to leave that 1 5 in place and roll the other 2. So just the 1 actually.
Yeah.
-2.
So on my 4 up.
Yep. And it would have been D3 damage. If I'd have rolled 6s, it counts as D3 mortal wounds
He's
instead.
going to come over there and brain you.
However,
Yeah.
I now have to roll a hazardous test.
Oh, yeah.
And on a 1, I take 3 mortal wounds.
Oh, wow.
and I'm fine. I'm okay.
It's like,
Okay?
my brain!
And that's the same for Plasma now as well. Because he's overcharged his mind. I would argue they did quite well clearing out the unit. He then becomes very tough on his own.
Yeah.
Interesting, isn't it?
Yes.
So now I have the Lieutenant. I hate this model so much, Jay.
I don't understand why you hate it.
Because
It's
it's
really
just
good.
rubbish. It just looks awful. The whole face and the head, it just looks terrible. Right, so he has a combi weapon. Is Mr. the Ghibli Wibbler an infantryman?
He is a monster. A flying monster of death.
She's not an infantryman.
No.
Okay. Oh, okay. Right, so anti-infantry 4+7 wounds. So I think how many wounds are these little cheeky chappies here with the over-the-shoulder guns? These little cheeky, are these infantry?
Yes.
How many wounds are they?
2.
2 wounds. Okay.
So the little wibbly jibbly wibblies things, I think they're synaptic relays. I don't think they're actually part of his unit.
No, they are part of his unit.
So basically, I think because I picked 2 units, and they are considered as being in synapse range. So I went there, and I think I put it on them.
The unit composition is 1 Euro Tyrant, so they will be his synaptic relays. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. My anti-infantry weapon isn't in great range now for infantry. I'm just going to shoot a shot at your termagants at the back there. Okay, I hit you on a 3+. I miss.
That's a 1.
Okay, cool. Right, beautiful. Okay,
Nice.
we're good.
Toy.
We're happy. We finished shooting.
Yeah.
I'm going to charge you now.
You go charge now, are you?
Yes, I'm going to charge you now.
Where are you going to charge?
My Terminators.
I've put a tape measure down, and you took it away from me. Is that 11?
I can't fucking tell. Horrible language.
I think that's 11. You're not even touching my base.
Yeah, we're going to go with 11. So I need an 11 to
I'm
pass.
going to Overwatch you. I can't.
You can't, you've already done it. I need 11 to pass. We're going to go for it anyway, Jay.
Yeah?
Big dick swinging here.
Yeah?
Straight in with a double 6. Boxcars.
That's a double 1.
It was like a double 6.
It was like a double 6.
But upside down.
But not.
The other dude over there is going to charge some rippers.
Hang on. I'm going to heroically intervene.
What do you mean heroic intervene?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
You can't heroic intervene.
Yeah, I can.
You can't.
Why not?
Because it has to be a unit that's made a charge move. You have to heroic intervene into a unit that's made a charge move. I haven't made a charge move yet.
Are you sure?
Yes, Joe.
I can't just heroically intervene somewhere else.
No, you can't. They've got rid of all the jank. Remember I told you this? Why don't you listen? I've read it out about 45 times. I've even given you the rulebook to read.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
Well, this one.
How many times have you been in this house with a rulebook here? I've gone, there you go, there's a rulebook.
And if you haven't got the
Never.
rulebook, Joe, guess what? You can go on Warhammer Community and download it for free.
Somebody was busy doing something else.
Your opponent's charge phase, just after an enemy unit ends a charge move, you target 1 unit from your army that is within 6 inches of that enemy unit and would be eligible to declare a charge.
Oh, that's silly, isn't it?
No, it's better. It's much better.
I wanted to heroically
See,
intervene.
there's
over
no
there
way
and be
you
like,
can heroically.
"Wah!"
If I charge my apothecary into you, you could then heroically and I finish my charge move. You still couldn't heroically intervene because I've engaged you at that point. This unit can't heroically. That's what I told you. You can't heroically intervene. It's remove the jank. You need to let go of this other channel you were part of. All right. You're on this channel now, Jay. So my captain is 9 inches from your rippers.
We're going to rip you a new one.
Right. He is also the Imperium sword.
The Sword of the Imperium.
The sword of the. I don't know whether.
Talking of the Imperium, James Kennedy, £2 super chat. Liam is a hero of the Imperium, wounded by Angron.
Yeah.
I can't stop bleeding. I can't stop bleeding.
That'll
It's like-
never heal now.
Like my time in a
ever.
month. I think
So
it will.
we are having a debate in the chat at the moment. Pip going like wildfire. So obviously, when a character is attached to a unit for battle shock, etc., they're all purpose and encompassing. And then obviously, when the bodyguard unit dies, character goes separate. Battle shock is only done on the wounds of the character for that piece.
Yep.
But we are talking about, I think, here
The oath of moment. and how
oath
it
of moment,
yeah.
character carrying over, etc. So he said he still has oath on the character, but it's not the same unit anymore.
Well, he was in the original unit.
So it doesn't. So the wording for Battle Shock and when the bodyguard unit dies is that he goes to his original starting strength. So it's still the same unit.
I think we're talking about about Oath.
When he joins
does
a
Oath
unit.
still affect the character if the unit is then destroyed?
Yes, I believe so. As far as I understand. Let me read Oath. This is why we like these kind of learning streams.
It's good
The
to
trouble
learn.
is, I'm looking at chat sometimes. Pip's listening and picking up on what you're saying, and we're all doing different things, and then we're arguing about something I'm not even paying that much attention to.
That's the joys of being on deck.
So Pip says they covered it yesterday on the stream. They're not the same unit anymore.
But does that affect Oath? The other thing as well is, so the other thing I will say, if you watch any Warhammer fucking 40k battle reports, or listen to what the community page say, or even read some of the comments that the Facebook team write on, and then when we have the behind the scenes rules, they often get things very wrong.
So Pip continues, because you can have 2 leaders in a unit, they go back to being their own unit individuals. So if you have a leader or leader 1, leader 2 plus its bodyguard unit, they are unit 1, but bodyguard unit's now dead, so they go to unit 1 and unit 2 being leader 1, leader 2.
Okay.
I mean, it hasn't made any difference because you didn't take any damage here.
No.
So it says here, attached units. Some characters have the leader ability, which lets them merge with other units known as bodyguard units to form an attached unit. The starting strength of an attached unit is equal to the combined starting strength of all models in the number, blah, 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 blah. If either the leader or the bodyguard unit of the attached unit are destroyed, the starting strength of the remaining unit is changed to equal its original starting strength. For rules that are triggered when a unit is destroyed, such rules are still triggered when one of the individual units that make up the attached unit is destroyed, the leader or the bodyguard unit. If we then go to the leader keyword, which is through here somewhere, I might have already gone past it. Have I gone past it? Rerolls, Joe. Lots of rerolls.
Yeah.
We talk about rerolls quite a lot because, less rerolls, fewer rerolls.
Much less.
Much less rerolls. Making range attacks, locked in combat, wound saving throws. Somewhere in here there is a leader keyword.
Yes.
A keyword for leaders.
So whilst we're still looking through this, there's also sort of the debate of slow rolling versus fast rolling. So as you're getting attacked, clearly as your bodyguard unit depletes and dies, attacks are supposed to be one at a time, you're supposed to do one shot at a time. So there will be instances where you almost insist that your opponent slow rolls, because as soon as that bodyguard unit dies, you're going to the toughness of your character, not the toughness of the bodyguard unit. And so there might be a little bit of, not jankiness, but
so that's why we did it the way we did it. Because that's the way it should be done. Because when you roll it, so fast rolling, there's a section in the rulebook on fast rolling that tells you how you can fast roll. Basically, if everything's the same strength, damage, AP, etc., then you can fast roll. So the player who's making the attack selects all of his targets, and then will roll each weapon in its entirety, resolving those until he moves on to the next weapon bank, etc., etc. The player controlling the units being shot at decides on casualty removal, right? And that's why, for me, the best way of doing that is to fast roll if it doesn't make any difference, until you get to a point where it's going to start to make a difference, and then you move into slow rolling one at a time.
Yeah.
So some characters have the leader listed on their datasheet. Such character units are known as leaders. And the units they can lead known as their bodyguard are listed on the datasheet. During the declare battle formation step, while a bodyguard unit contains a leader, it is known as an attached unit, and, with the exception of rules that are triggered when units are destroyed, it is treated as a single unit for all rules purposes. Each time attack targets an attached unit, until the attacking unit has resolved all of its attacks, you must use the toughness characteristic of the bodyguard models. Now, that's interesting. So that means we probably did it wrong.
Right.
Because each time an attack targets an attached unit, until the attacking unit has resolved all of its attacks, you must use a toughness characteristic of the bodyguard models in that unit, even if a leader in that unit has a different toughness characteristic. So the librarian should have been attacking against the original unit's toughness because he's part of the unit.
Okay.
Each time an attack successfully wounds an attached unit, the attack cannot be allocated to a character model in the unit, even if the character model has already lost one or more wounds or has already had attacks allocated to it this phase. As soon as the last bodyguard model in an attached unit has been destroyed, any attacks made against that unit that have yet to be allocated can be allocated to character models in that unit. So it doesn't, nowhere in the rules does it actually say they suddenly become a different unit. So, and this is what I'm saying. So, Warhammer community will say, "Oh yeah, they become a different unit." They just throw shit out there quite often, and quite often they'll then FAQ it from the rules team, and they'll FAQ it differently as well, which is interesting. So, I'm not saying it doesn't become its own unit, but there's nothing that says it does.
Yeah. So it's its own unit now.
It becomes, so it goes back to its original starting strength
after the attacking unit has finished shooting.
Yeah. So now it's killed. It goes to its original starting strength.
Yeah.
But it's still part of its original unit.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Madness.
I feel like that will probably be FAQ'd because of things like Oath.
Yeah.
So either they're going to say, yeah, Oath remains, because at the moment, if I'd have made that charge, I would have argued I still get Oath against him because it's the unit for that battle round, right? But what Pip's saying, if it becomes its own unit, well, that isn't then the unit that I selected.
Well, I think I think the way we did it is still right, because the unit of Neuro Gaunts have got a 6-up armor save, right? Whereas the Neuro Tyrant has a 4+ invulnerable save. So I did all of the saves based on the Neuro Gaunts, and once they were all gone, I then started to apply them onto the Neuro
But the
Tyrant.
interesting thing for the leader ability says that until the attacking unit's attacks are resolved, you use the unit's toughness.
Toughness, yeah. So he would have counted as toughness 3.
So he would have counted as toughness 3, but you'd have got the 4-up invulnerable save.
Yeah.
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 That makes sense?
Yeah. And the other thing is, when a unit's dead, right? Give me the card.
So essentially, we rolled to wound incorrectly because I should have been wounding against toughness.
I'll roll a bunch of
no, it's fine. It's fine. I'm okay with it. Yeah. We rolled to wound incorrectly because we should have been wounding against majority toughness. Now, if a different unit shot you, I'm shooting you at toughness 8 because a different unit starting a fresh round of attacks.
Yeah.
However, you would have still got the 4-up invulnerable save. So the slow rolling was correct there. We just rolled the wound rolls wrong. Interesting. I didn't know that. I missed that part. I'm comfortable with it anyway. So my captain has the Imperiums. Back into it's interesting discussions anyway, and this is part of the learn to play sort of thing, because there is nowhere that says, so there is a section that says when the bodyguard unit is dead, he becomes his original starting strength. Doesn't suddenly say he becomes a different unit necessarily, because the unit was already formed.
Yeah.
That's an interesting potential dilemma there for rules that target units. Because I think you're going to find people that use things like Oath are often going to pick a unit with a character in it because I want to get that character dead, so I can reroll all hits and wounds. But you're going to have ablative wounds in the unit.
Yeah.
I pass. I don't know. If I'm honest with you. Anyway, Captain O'Cat. It's not going to matter for the rest of the game now because you've got no more attached units, but that will be interesting in the future. Yeah. So he has the Imperium Sword, as I keep saying, which means I can reroll charge rolls.
Yeah.
So I'm 9 inches away from you. 9.
No.
It's a fail.
It's a fail.
But he has the Imperium Sword, Joe.
Yeah.
Swap the dice always. Oh!
What happens if you roll those dice?
If I roll those dice, don't do it to me, Joe. Okay, so Captain O'Captain stays where he is.
Yep.
The Space Marines fail all their charges. It is, however, the end of the Space Marines' turn, battle round 2.
Yeah.
So we move into Tyranids, battle round 2, turn 2, which means we both gain a CP. So I got up to 2. Joe goes up to 2. Boom! You have any command abilities you'd like to resolve, Jojo, of the rabbit variety?
So I'm going to keep the units counters in synaptic link range that I've currently got anyway.
Oh, can you move that each turn?
Yeah.
Well, that's really
Command
nice.
phase, you just
that's really good.
What
Okay.
units counters in being in synaptic link range.
So you've got nothing below starting strength.
No.
So you've got no requirement to take battle shock tests
What do
anywhere.
you keep doing with the tape measures? They're all over the place.
Chris keeps asking me to move them out the way. By keep, I mean once.
If they don't move, you can't overwatch them.
Correct, because you haven't ended a move. But I can them when you then charge me.
Yeah.
Are you into the movement?
I am into the
Well,
movement.
should we just score you some points?
Oh yeah,
before we
I'm
do that?
holding 2 objectives.
So Joe gets 2 of the finest victory points. It's a high-scoring game, this rulebook mission. On Tuesday, chat, we will be using the mission deck, the proper mission deck, as long as I am allowed to use it. Let's check.
I was wondering if he's better off scooching over here. I might even.
Is the infantry?
Yeah, I'm going to.
Just because it's been highlighted, you know, we are 2 hours in and we're currently in round 2. But as it's been pointed out, this is a learning game. Everyone is learning the rules as we go. We are having discussions as we go as well. So you know, bear with it, chat, if you want to. If you don't, then come back later.
We also didn't roll a dice for the first 50 minutes whilst we were going through how to set up the whole thing up.
Yeah.
So the whole point in this was that you guys, when you get your hands on this box, whenever it might come out, you will follow the same process that we basically followed this morning, essentially, to play your first game of 40k. So you will grab your box, build your models, walk to the table with a friend of yours, and then you will be able to put this stuff on the table and play with each other, right? So that's the whole point. That's why we're doing this. That's why we've decided to, like, Joe and I think it's safe to say, have wanted to play a few games of 10th edition a few times, and I have had to really resist coming and playing in here, not on camera, because I wanted to actually learn all this stuff live with you guys, in the hope that you go, oh, okay, because you're going to have the same models in the same box, you know, you're going to have the same cards, You're going to have the same rule book, the same mission available to you. So I just think it's interesting.
Yes.
In separate news to Warhammer, though, Joe.
Yeah.
Schooner, 1979. I don't know who he actually is, but he knows you. Clearly. Your mum is doing something today, apparently. That's not a bad joke. Or is it
She's
today?
either swimming or running somewhere. No, my mother.
Or it's coming up. She's doing a run.
It's not today's run. It's not today, is it?
Oh, okay. I've
No.
misinterpreted that, but she's doing a.
She's doing a
run.
race. She's doing race for life.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have the link in the thing anymore.
I think the link is still in there. Let me
Yeah.
just check, see if the link's in there.
Hang on.
I'm going to mute everything before I go in. So
Right then. I've got, because I don't come out face, I've done my movement, my movemente. And then, what's the range on these little wibblies? A flesh borer is 8
Your
inch
channel.
range. 18.
I actually don't know if I did put the link in there. You told me to stop putting the link in there. You said she's got enough money out of you.
Yeah.
More. Yeah, so I did leave the link in there. I ignored you.
Oh, it's in July. Thank you.
So the first, hang on, what I should have done actually, honestly, what a retard.
It's good to know that Schooner knows more about your family than you, though, Joe.
Yeah. It's
Just some Mad Stalker vibes.
Yeah.
Just some Mad Stalker vibes.
I mean, his eyes aren't painted on. It is Joe's mum.
Yeah, not made of wood. So, Joe, your mother had a target of £500.
She did. For
We-
this is for race flight. Do you want to give us a full frontal?
We probably are.
No, we're not.
Okay.
We are now.
You've given up on the studio?
I was watching Joe do his movements and measuring, so
Yeah.
the audience
I'm
could,
done now. I'm done.
could be in the brain of Joe.
So Joe's mum's doing a race for life for Cancer Research UK, and we got hold of this this crazy idea, Chris, when the total was £420. Was that right? No, it's £320.
Yeah.
And her target was £500.
Yeah.
And we chucked it to our beautiful community, and we pinned it in a couple of the chats. Now it still exists in the video description. The first link in the video description below, it's just got a little arrow and then a link for Cancer Research. She's currently at, Joe, £2,005 with £418 gift aid.
Yeah. So she's
Beautiful.
She's basically raised £2,500.
Yeah, £2,500. So she's times her original amount by 5.
Yeah. So it says here 401% of the original £500 target.
Yeah.
That's going in a minute.
Which is solid.
That's really cool.
Hers was 500, and I was on chat. I was like, let's just make it £1,000. If we can get to £1,000, that would be amazing.
We doubled that.
And we doubled it. So, yeah.
Amazing.
So if you want to support Race for Life, follow the link below.
So what has moved, Joe?
Everything. No.
That's
They
why I was
haven't
on
moved.
top down, Liam.
Those two have moved. These little wibbly jibblies, they've moved. They stood still because they don't want you to shoot me.
So I feel like I can now Overwatch. This is the interesting thing, right? This is where the unit thing does become important, because as far as I'm concerned, that Neuro Tyrant is still under oath of moment.
Is he though?
Well, that's what I'm saying. As far as I'm concerned, I picked the unit with him in it,
Yeah.
therefore he's still under oath of moment. So I would normally want to spend 1 CP to Overwatch right now, because while I'm hitting on 6s with that Terminator unit, I can re-roll all hits.
Yeah.
However, because we're unsure, I'm just not going to use the
Because
Overwatch
he's a
strategy.
leader, does he get protection from the psychophage?
What's the Psychophage do?
As in, do I get character protection?
No.
Oh.
No. And not unless you have an ability that specifically states that whilst you're within 3 inches of something, you gain lone operative, like the Lion when he was showcased.
Oh, I thought
On Thursday.
leaders when they weren't in units became lone operatives.
Nope, they just unless they've got it on
They
their
still
data sheet,
need it
they-
as a keyword. Pip, 100% not oath now. From a stream yesterday. I don't know if GW did a stream or...
Well, GW would have
You
been
do
the
do
only
a
one.
stream, yeah. Again, I still don't trust anything that they say on their rules.
Right.
Until I hear it from the rules team directly,
I
don't
think
believe
a
anything.
mud pit, you and Pip, physical fight, let's go.
I mean, he wouldn't win that one.
Ooh.
Pip's got the body of a small child.
I'm going to shoot my flesh borers at that one flamer man.
Okay, cool.
I'm hitting you on 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sustained hits.
Beautiful. Who gives them sustained hits? They just have it themselves?
That's my army ability
Oh, of course, yeah.
of
Hyper adaptation.
They're
Beautiful.
hyped. They're all hype men. I am strength 5.
With an F. Strength 5, that's good, isn't it? That's right, that counts, mate, that counts.
Nah, that's all right.
That counts, it's 4. It's a 4.
We'll see how you roll.
AP,
Nothing, puffin.
where are you shooting me from?
Here.
I'm not going to claim from the trees. The trees.
You don't get cover anyway because you got an armor saver 3+. You don't get.
Oh yeah, your AP's nothing, of course. Right, dead. Oh, he nearly lived, Joe.
He nearly
lived.
The Neuro Tyrant
Yes.
is now going to Psychic Scream all over your Shermanators.
Okay, are you
Right.
sure?
Yeah.
You could kill the lieutenant.
Eh.
Because he's lone operative.
He is a lone operative.
He also has stealth though as well to,
Yeah.
to give you all the rules.
So, but it's Torrent, so I hit him anyway.
Yeah, so you could target him instead if you
No,
wanted
we're
to.
going to shoot the Terminators because screw those guys. That's
What's your AP?
I'm gonna spend a CP and re-roll that.
What's your AP?
AP is Juan.
So I'm going to spend a command point on Armour of Contempt
Yeah.
because you've targeted me in the shooting phase.
Yeah.
1 CP. I reduce the AP characteristic of everything shooting me by 1.
Oh. Probably shouldn't have spent that CP to re-roll it. But right, so 7, 5, 6, 7.
I wanted to tell you before you re-rolled. You can take it back if you want.
I think I rolled like much less. I think I rolled a 5. I'll take 5.
Up to you. I don't mind.
What are we doing,
having
Joe?
fun.
Are we adding your CP back or not?
Add it on. Add it on. Let's cheat. So they are strength 5, so they all wound you.
Okay, cool. But I'm now on my 2-up saves,
You
right?
are on a 2-up save, yeah.
So normal Terminators. I take a wound.
You take 2 wounds because it's damage 2.
I take 2 wounds. I'm glad I spent Oath of Moment now. Oath of Moment. Armour of Contempt. Which is called something else. It actually is called Armour of Contempt as well. Look at that.
And then the Psychophage,
Yeah.
he's going to shoot you.
Is he?
But he's Torrent.
Is he still shooting the same unit?
He's going to, yeah. We'll try and get that 1 wound off.
Hey, it's that one guy.
So he is D6 shots for either 5 or 6. 5. There we go. And then he is also strength 6.
Okay, so
Well,
3.
he's not also strength 6. So just the 3s. Just the 2 actually.
AP?
-1.
So,
now,
no.
do you still get? Do you get it from just that 1 attack, or is it for
Until
the
the end of the phase. 2 ups. Good, double 6s, we're good.
Lovely jubbly.
Lovely jubbly. He's gone quiet.
I'm just counting. Right,
It's his
we're going
brain
to take the shooter unit
Yeah.
of Barb Gaunts.
Barbara Gaunts.
Barbara.
Barbara Streisand Gaunts.
So I've got 5d6 shots. We're going to shoot the Terminators anyway.
Okay.
Right, so 5d6. They're blasted heavy. I haven't moved, so I get +1 to hit.
You do. And you get +1 to your number of shots because
Yep.
I haven't taken a casualty.
So
yet.
that's 22. That's 27 shots. 5,
Watch now, we watch maths with
10.
Joe.
15, 20, 5, 6, 7. And I hit you on 3s. That was not bad, actually. And I have rolled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 6s. So you get 5 extra hits.
One thing we can say about that Oath of Moment question as well, Chris, at the point in which the Librarian was attacking the Neuro Tyrant, I absolutely would have got Oath of Moment rerolls. Because it's at the time the unit makes the attacks. And it's not a separate unit at that point. It's just unclear as to whether a next unit would benefit from it or not.
And then I am strength 5, so 3s.
But this is typical chat on preview streams, Chris. Don't have the rulebook necessarily and all the other rules in their hands.
And there's multiple locations that we're getting rules from at the moment, different streams, as you said. Did the Terminators pass or fail their battle shot earlier?
They weren't even on the table.
Yeah, they were on
No,
the
of course not, yeah.
because they came in the end of the movement phase. What's this on, sorry?
On the Shermanators.
AP?
Nothing.
So just 2 ups.
Just 2 ups. Lots of 1s, please.
I mean, there was 2 1s in there.
It's enough to kill a man.
So 1 will die. And then another one will take a single wound. So you'll have 2 left. There you go, sir.
He is a single Pringle ready to mingle.
That's quite a lot of attacks for Terminators to just lose 1 more wound.
Yeah. I mean, I could have targeted the Dreadnought.
I mean, that's probably less of a desirable target, really.
Yeah. So, like, thing is, though, because what happens now is when I'm charging you, which I will in a minute, the Psychophage gets to add 1 to his hit roll when he charges a unit's under starting strength.
That's quite nice, isn't it?
So now we're going to do some chargings. So these guys are going to charge these guys.
Okay.
They are a 6.
You're in.
So I'm going to go here. You're in. And then the Psychophage is going to charge the Terminators.
Okay.
On a 10, he is in.
Liam Dempsey, was that psychic attack? If so, they get feel no pain, apparently.
Not from these guys.
What was the 2 damage weapon that hit?
The 2 damage one is a psychic attack.
I get feel no pains again.
Why'd you get feel no pain?
Because of the librarian.
Oh, because of his psychic hood.
Yeah.
He is hooded.
So the 2 damage attack would give me a feel no pain 4+ ability, of which I passed 1. So all that happens is that guy wouldn't have taken a wound.
Oh.
You still would have killed 1.
Nice.
Thank you for the reminder. I forgot about that ability altogether.
So is that a librarian ability or a Terminator's?
Psychic hood. Well, it just says it on the librarian
Just
data
why
sheet.
it's attached to the unit.
Yeah. While this model is leading a unit, models on the unit have the feel no pain 4+ against psychic attacks.
Oh, what I should have done in my command phase, but we've gone past there now, is that I could have done a synaptic insight and given some units extra things, but it's fine.
Well, what is it? Let's talk about it.
Because if I'd thought about this, right, knowing I was going to charge over there, right, the psychophage has got anti-psycho 2+ devastating wounds in combat.
Okay.
Right? So what I could have done is done synaptic insight, pick 2 units in my army, and change their adaptive jobby.
Okay.
Hyper adaptation, which meant I could have given him precision, which means that he could then, in combat, target the character.
But here's another interesting one, right?
Yeah.
The librarian has joined the unit of Terminators.
Yeah.
Okay. Does the unit now have the psychic keyword?
I don't know. Does it? Does it gain all of his keywords?
Don't know.
Well, if a unit if a character has scout and he joins the unit with scout, does he then confer the unit scout?
No, so I think that was sort of confirmed with the Rhino preview or whatever they
But
did.
but
where
scout
only if everything. So for instance, only if everything had it, it gained it. So I think scout into a bodyguard.
So scout's not a keyword.
Okay.
Scout's a unit ability. It's under the ability section.
All right.
So, but what we're talking about is keywords.
But
so
I can do a stratagem to target the character anyway, can't I? There's a universal stratagem.
If that's a character, yes. Is it a character?
No.
£10 gift from Sarius. Liam Chaj. There's a spelling mistake.
Well,
Page 12 for the example for VP on leader and bodyguard unit. I'm assuming we might have scored some extra VP here or there.
Hang on
page 12.
So here we go, Joe. This is what I'm talking about, right? So the librarian has a psychic keyword here. This unit doesn't. But this is an attached unit.
Okay.
So how does that work? Because I don't actually know the answer to this one. Does the unit now confer, like Psyker?
Well, that unit's under the protection of Veil of Time, which is a psychic ability. Here we are. We're all learning together.
This is where they're not. So this is where I love the attached rules thing. But this is where they're not clear, right? So my librarian says on his data card he can join a Terminator, Relic Terminator, or Assault Terminator squad. He has a Psyker keyword. The unit doesn't. But that is now an attached unit, right? Which now means that your Psychophage is going to attack my attached unit, and you have anti-Psycho 2+ devastating wounds. Now, if it does confer the keyword across to the whole unit because the Psycho is in the unit, that means that you can wound all of this unit on a 2+ with devastating wounds. If, however, it doesn't, it means that whilst I'm allocating it to the Terminator models, you're only wounding on a whatever the normal wounding process is.
Yeah.
And then when I allocate to the Terminator, which means we would have to slow roll everything.
Yeah.
So I think at the moment, the neatest answer is that we have to slow roll everything.
Okay.
Attack at a time. But it's not. There's nothing that tells you, even in the leader section, it doesn't tell you about the keywords and whether keywords confer or not to units. So what you don't want to be, like you don't want, I would argue that you absolutely don't want the Psychic keywords to confer, because otherwise a lot of armies, like Thousand Sons, etc., is going to really hamstring certain armies, where they're just going to, because there's a lot of anti-Psycho stuff in the game,
I mean, if they carried over, then surely the squad would also gain the character keyword, which then negates precision, because precision states, doesn't it, that it can target the character. Therefore, if they gained all the keywords, then you can't target anyone because everyone's down on character.
So Joe,
I don't know.
So no, I think you're right, Chris. To be fair. So Joe,
how much CP does Liam have?
I have 2 CP.
2 CP. Is there? You can interrupt.
No, you spent one a minute ago, didn't you?
Nope.
On
what did he spend it on?
On stuff, because I said so. I'll give him one.
You did Armour of Contempt, didn't you?
Yep.
But you were on 2 CP at the end of your last term, weren't you? So you went up to 3.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right, you're both on 2. We're continuing.
Not sure. I'm not actually sure.
Right then.
I think date sheets should probably stay separate unless it states otherwise.
Yeah, so I think the best way to do this is to go, keywords are separate, so you have to, if you've got enough attacks that you could murder the whole unit and then hit the librarian, you would need to roll them separately.
All right then.
So does that make sense?
Yes.
I think that's the neatest way of doing it.
What I'm going to do then is I'm going to spend my 2 CP on Adrenal Surge.
What's that do?
Up to 2 Tyranid units from your army that are in synapse range of your army and eligible to fight, or one or other turrets from your army that are eligible to fight. Until the end of the phase, each time a model in one of those selected units makes an attack, a successful unmodified hit roll of 5 scores a critical hit.
Okay.
And because I've got sustained hits, sustained is on criticals, which then means so I get exploding 5s and 6s.
Yes.
Yes.
That's exactly how that works.
Cool.
That's why I've kept trying to change everyone's language in the group chat that we've got to not exploding 6s, exploding critical hits.
All right, so the Psychophage and the Neurotyrant are both going to go under that ability.
Okay.
I'm going to swing first with the Psychophage.
So let's have a talk about their weapons and their abilities.
Yeah. So he has Talons and Betentacled Maw.
Okay.
He's anti-psycho 2+, devastating wounds. Devastating wounds on a roll of a 6, 2 wound.
Would do damage. Well, it's actually on a critical wound, but yeah.
Full frontal, my man.
You're supposed to be rolling dice.
Hang on. Right. So he gets it's melee D6 +1, strength, weapon skill 3+, strength 6 -1, 2 damage.
Yeah. Okay. So on a 6 to wound currently, or a critical wound, we should say.
Yeah.
You will do 2 mortal wounds instead of 2 damage.
And because I've got feeding frenzy.
Yeah.
Each time he makes a melee attack against units below starting strength, add 1 to the hit roll. If I'm targeting a unit that's below half strength, I add 1 to the wound roll as well.
And what's your AP?
-1.
Okay. What's the AP of the other dude?
Nothing.
Is there any other fancy abilities that you've got in melee?
No, because his Node Lash only works if he's joined a unit.
So I'm going to spend a CP on Armour of Contempt because I can use it in my opponent's fight phase. So I'm going to get my 2-up saves against everything.
Okay. So my Psychophage is going to make 2 attacks.
I should have not spent that CP.
I hit you on 2s now.
Yeah, you do.
Good.
2 times.
2 times. I wound you on 3s.
You've wounded me 2 times.
With 2 6s.
Which is devastating wounds.
So I do 4 mortal wounds to you.
4 more. Is it a psychic weapon?
No.
So I just take 1 dice.
That went a lot better than I was expecting it would.
Absolutely, that was good. Really good.
The Neurotyrant, with his claws and lashes, gets 6 whole attacks, don't you know?
Is someone go and drown that child outside?
Let's not. Put him in a paddling pool. Right. 3. But I have rolled a 5+, which explodes.
It does.
And then he is strength 5.
Thank you for shutting the door, Chris.
That is 3 wounds. This is not a wizard one, so it's just
2-up saves?
2-up saves.
Good.
Good.
Okay.
That could have gone better.
My Terminators are going to fight you back. What's this Psychophage's defences like? So he's toughness 9.
He's toughness 9.
With a 3-up save.
With a 3-up save with 10 wounds.
And the other dude is toughness 4.
The other dude is toughness 8.
Toughness 8, sorry, with a 4-up invulnerable save.
Yes, and 9 wounds.
Okay. So my Terminators have Power Fists.
He's just going to file in, because he has to base you, doesn't he? I'm not going to go in engagement range of Mr. the Lieutenant.
Okay. So because we are unsure as to whether your Neurotyrant would keep or lose Oath.
Yeah.
Because I selected his unit originally.
But now he's a different unit.
So Pip is arguing because of a stream that he watched. We are already aware that Warhammer often get their own rules very, very wrong, even on pre-recorded battle reports they put out to paid customers on Warhammer TV.
Yeah.
What I'm not going to do is I'm not going to include Oath of the Moment this time around.
Okay. All
right, just to be safe. I think I would rather err on the side of caution than benefit from a rule that I shouldn't have. I think it's the fairest way of doing it. All right. I'm not entirely sure how that works because it isn't clear. All it says is it goes to its original starting strength. It doesn't say it goes back to being a separate or a different unit.
Continue the debate because it is the biggest debate currently going on in
it's
chat.
It's a mass debate, yeah.
There is loads. Smarvin, $5 super chat, thank you very much. Look at the leader rule in deployment. It states that it is treated as a single unit for all rules purposes. Period. It never ends. Page 39.
Oh, this is where I may have read it before. Page 39. Where? During the declare battle formation step, for each leader unit, you must include one or more of that leader's bodyguard, or if your army also you can select one of those bodyguard units. That leader will then attach that bodyguard unit for the duration of the battle, instead of be leading that unit. Each bodyguard unit can have one leader attached to it. Okay. While a bodyguard unit contains an unit, it is known as an attached unit, and with the exception of rules that are triggered when the units are destroyed, it is treated as a single unit for all rules purposes.
I mean, that's pretty solid.
I mean, that actually is pretty clear.
So I think as usual, Games Workshop
got it wrong,
contradicting themselves because it's rules as written, rules as interpreted, and they might have to do an FAQ.
Each time an attack targets an attached unit, that until the attacking unit has resolved all of its attacks, you must use the toughness characteristic of the bodyguard models, which we spoke about already. I just missed the sentence beforehand. Even if a unit in that unit has a different toughness characteristic, each time an attack successfully with an attached unit, that attack cannot be allocated to a character model in that unit, even if the character has already taken wounds. As soon as the last bodyguard model in the attached unit has been destroyed, any attacks made against that unit that have yet to be allocated can then be allocated to character models in that unit. Okay. So here's an interesting. Talk about English, and I know this isn't their greatest strong point, Warhammer, but then this would also read this last point. As soon as the last bodyguard model in an attached unit has been destroyed, so there's no bodyguards left at this point, Joe, right?
Yeah.
Any attacks made against that unit that still have yet to be allocated can then be allocated to character models in that unit. So it is a single unit for all rules purposes.
Yeah.
So we're saying that Warhammer TV actually did get it wrong. Yeah. I suspected that was the case.
Pip's talking about the stream featured at 1 o'clock this morning. There was, I'm assuming Games Workshop hosted
1 o'clock
by,
this morning?
Yeah.
They're doing
Hosted
stuff
by
in
the
is it
YouTube.
Dallas where they're in?
Yeah, they're in America.
The Dallas Buyers Club.
Miracle.
I have watched so many things from Warhammer TV, from Warhammer streams, from Warhammer Plus where they've got their own rules wrong. It's actually, frankly, embarrassing from the company, which is why when Pip's like, oh no, they said it on stream, I'm like, for a lot of other companies, like, okay, I take it as gospel, but with Games Workshop, I flat don't. I just don't take it as gospel. If I don't see it in the rules in front of me, I'm like, well, what are you citing to tell me that is actually the rule? Because if you're citing Games Workshop's headline and it's not in an official document, I don't quite frankly believe it. But this sentence is actually quite clear. It is treated as a single unit for all rules purposes.
Yes.
So we're saying I get oath.
Yes.
That changes things. I'm now attacking your Nero Tyrant with all of my attacks.
All right then.
Okay? And I have...
Knowing this knowledge, Joe, did
Less
you still want to
tomato.
spend your 2 CP on the thing that you just did a minute ago? Does that make any difference? Because I can't remember what it was.
No, I still would have done it. I just didn't roll very great on the attacks.
Very great. No great. Not wow. Okay. So I'm going to pile in. And I'm going to base you here, and base you here, and base you here. And the reason why I'm going to do that is because I have to be in base-to-base contact with a model in base-to-base contact. Gone is the be within half an inch of a model within half an inch.
Yeah.
So you are in engagement range if you are either within an inch or if you're in base-to-base with a model that's in base-to-base of the enemy model, okay?
Yeah.
So I have 2 power fists in this unit right now, okay?
Fists.
Fists of power, all right? And we're going to hit you on a weapon skill of 3.
Ooh.
However, Fury of the First, each time I make an attack, I can ignore modifiers. And if I'm targeting the Oath unit, I get +1 to hit.
Yeah.
So I hit you on 2s. And I reroll 1s because of Oath of Moment, Joe.
That's lucky. You're a lucky duck.
Oh my god!
Good. I am toughness 8.
I'm strength 8 with my power fist.
So 4s.
4s with rerolls because of Oath of Moment. It's not gone well.
Not going well.
Just the 3, actually. It is, in fact, -2.
I've got a 4 up invulnerable save.
Okay.
On my Nero Tyrant.
We know how Joe rolls invulnerables. Oh,
2 go through.
that's 4 damage so far.
But is it?
6s?
It is.
So 4 damage. How much do you have?
I have got 9 wounds. So it's down to 5.
So now I have the Sergeant's power weapon. He has 3 attacks. He also... 4 attacks, sorry, with his power weapon. He also hits you on 3s and re-rolls because of Oath of the Moment. Moment of the Oath. Now, I did get 2 6s, and I do have Veil of Time, so weapons have exploding critical hits, so I hit you 6 of the times.
Nice.
I'm only strength 5 this time, though, so I wound you on 5s.
Yep.
But I do still have Oath of the Moment. Oh my lord. So I've wounded you 4 of the times. This is AP -2 also.
Yeah. How much damage is it?
1.
Just the 1, actually. So I can't die yet. But I take 2 more. He's down to 3.
In comes the Librarian.
Yeah.
Choppy with his Force weapon, and he has 4 attacks on a weapon skill of 3. Okay?
But you don't get the +1 to hit, though, do you?
I don't get the +1 to hit, but I do still get Oath of Moment. So I hit you 3 of the times, Joe, with my force weapon. It's strength 6.
So 5s.
It's 5s. And I get to re-roll.
Nice.
Because of oath for the moment. That was the 6, obviously. So just the 1, actually. It's -1. Don't fail this.
It's a 4. It's a 4.
Oh, it would have been D3 damage, Joe.
Oh, so he's fine.
Then. He's fine.
Now I'm going to attack you with Ryan Reynolds.
Von Ryan's Leapers Reynolds?
Yeah.
Yes?
So they obviously do the thing.
Yes.
6 attacks each.
Oh, they would have actually attacked before I did my Terminators because I didn't spend to interrupt. I just did it because I forgot they were down here.
You're just cheating.
just cheating.
6 attacks each.
Dirty cheating bastard.
Hitting on 3s.
Okay. Beautiful.
Whoop. That has failed, but I rolled 3 6s, so 3 go back in. Whee! And then 3s, because take 5. Oh my. It is that many at -1.
4 pluses.
Yes.
What? Stern Guard! So 2 die.
2 sterns are dead.
I'm going to take out the normal...
I'm a big fan of the Leapers. I think they're actually quite good.
Are you leaping for joy?
I am.
Lol. Fantastic.
You can have up to 6 of them in a squad as well.
Would you like to consolidate?
I would.
Joe's fat hands.
So I'm going to now fight you back, Joe,
Thick.
with my Stern Guard that have 4 attacks each.
Sturdy. Sturdy hands.
Okay?
Yeah.
I'm going to hit you on 3s. Oh. I've hit you some of the times. I'm going to wound you on 5s.
Yeah.
1 out of the box. What? Just the 1, actually.
I failed. I'll take one.
Take it, bitch. Cool. Boop. End of Joe's battle round.
It is the end of my round.
Okay.
The body is round.
The body is round.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, all right.
So it's your turn.
It is my turn.
You need to take command phase things first. So we gain a command point each.
We do gain a command point each.
Yeah.
And then we select command ability. So I have to pick a unit for Oath of the Moment. And I have to decide if I'm going to go into a doctrine of sorts. I went into Devastate Doctrine last time, so I'm going to go into Tactical Doctrine this time. Okay? And my Oath of Moment ability is going to be probably the... I might just go the... I'm going to go the Psychophage this time round.
Yeah.
Okay? Because of the lols, right? And then we need to take some...
Battle Shock.
Am I going to put anything else in any other doctrine? For a CP. No, I'm going to keep my 2 CP. Okay, so then we're going to go to Battle Shock. So they're not below half strength. He's not. They're not. He's not, so I'm good. No Battle
But
Shock.
you lost wounds though, didn't you?
Doesn't matter, I'm not
Doesn't
below
matter.
half strength.
Once you get to half strength.
It's once you're below starting strength, so yeah, absolutely.
Once you're below starting strength.
Once you're below half strength.
Okay.
Once you're below half strength.
Okay then.
Not half strength, not below strength, below half strength.
Okay.
Needs to be in both.
What is the objective secured, or the OC, the objective control of your lieutenant?
12.
I don't feel like that's true.
Just the 1, actually.
My Psychophage is objective control 3.
Have I got Terminators in range? I haven't, have I?
No.
Beautiful. Okay, so you hold that objective, so I get just the 1, actually.
Just the 1.
Just the 1 point for me, Mr. the Christoph.
Boff. You're on a massive 12.
Yeah, well, you got to let Joe win the first one, otherwise he gets grumpy about 10th straight away.
It's nice to see that actually he hasn't stopped smiling yet. You know? Even though he absolutely played awful with that Screamer Killer, his favourite model, that he got deleted instantaneously.
My own little personal goal was just kill the Screamer Killer because that'll make him sad.
I've got the Ryan Reynolds is doing their thing in the corner, so that's what they're called now.
Is it?
Because Von Ryan's Leapers is a bit of a mouthful, isn't it?
Ryan Reynolds Leapers.
Yeah.
I'm going to fall out this way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you can fall back and
shoot.
Don't you have to do a something escape if you want to leave combat?
Nope. Only if I can't make it out without going through your models,
Yeah.
which I can. Or if I'm battle shocked, then I have to do a desperate breakout test.
Yeah.
Shock the battle.
Emotional breakout.
Emotional breakout test. Okay, cool. So they're going to go there. Mr. the Apothecary might step into the building, into the corner at the bottom here and have a play as well, because he can do that without being engaged. Can I? I probably can't fit, actually. Let's not cheat. Let's not cheat, Joe. Yeah, I do. Right. My Ballistically Mad Dreadnought.
The Ballistas is a weird one in this box set because he counters a lot of things, isn't he? Like he is a direct counter to the Screamer Killer, and I would argue he's probably a better counter to the Screamer Killer.
He's cool.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. It's flat cool.
What's your movement?
5.
That was a Brom movement. That was
5.
That was a front to backer. That was.
That's 5. Just a 5 actually.
How, when you built the Listus,
Yeah.
that one, is he the same as the Redemptor chassis and then just different arms, or is it?
Yeah, it's the same chassis, but obviously he's push fit, so
So slightly, yeah.
so he's slightly easier. Because you've just fallen out of combat from me, can I now do a rule that allows me to Overwatch?
The cut down one type thing from the old book.
No,
Equivalent.
it's just Overwatch.
Yeah, you can, yeah.
So I can Overwatch the Terminators.
Yeah, you can. Why wouldn't you be able to?
I'm going to do that.
Overwatch is incredibly strong in the new...
Overwatch is mad good.
Yeah, Overwatch is very good. Yeah, you absolutely can Overwatch me now.
I'm going to spend my 1 CP to... I think you've got... Because it's a psychic attack, you get a 5-up Feel No Pain?
4-up.
4-up Feel No Pain?
Yeah.
That's good, isn't
From
it?
the Psychic... Yeah, it's really good, actually, yeah.
You can fall back and charge?
Yep, because I've got Tactical Doctrine on. I can fall back, shoot, and charge. I've got Tactical Doctrine on. For the whole army.
I'm going to do it, because I feel it's still good. I'm going to shoot the Terminators with my Neuro Tyrant.
Okay. What's the AP?
1.
1 CP Armour of Contempt.
Do you remember Transhuman?
Yep, it's the new.
It's the new Transhuman, isn't it?
I'm down to 1 CP.
2d6 for 8.
That's all right.
I'll
it's
take
good.
that,
Yeah,
actually.
it's not bad, is it?
4, 8. Toughness?
4 Terminators. No, 5 Terminators.
5. So 4s. It's not as good.
2-up saves.
2. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good.
What great use of our time. Right, carry on. If I could knock that one off, that would be quite helpful.
Yeah, okay.
Just knock him off.
Full story, bro. Right. Into my shifting phase now, Mr. Josephine.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to start off with the ballistically angry Ballistus Dreadnought,
Yeah.
who's going to shoot at the Psychophage.
Okay.
Right?
Do I get cover? I can't see from there.
No, absolutely not. Right.
No.
You are, however, going to be shot in your glorious face. Right?
Oh, my wibbly jibbly face.
We're going to start off with some crackage.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to hit you on 2s, 3s even. But I have Oath of Moment on.
Oof.
So I hit you 1 of the times.
I am toughness 9.
I am strength 10.
Oh.
3s. But I have Oath of Moment on. I wound you, sir, at minus of the 2 variety.
So I get a 5+ save.
Do you?
4.
Because I've got a 3
Oh,
up
I thought you had a
save.
2-up save. Okay, cool.
Not on the Psychophage.
So I do d6 damage. What? For just the 3, actually.
And I get a 5-up Feel No Pain.
You do. Do you?
He gets a 5-up Feel No Pain
Just
flat.
the standard. That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. He's good,
So
isn't
he's
he?
failed 1.
Beautiful.
So he has got 9 wounds remaining.
I'm going to shoot you with Storm Bolters. I've hit you 1 of the times. I haven't wounded you. I still haven't wounded you.
No.
Now, the main event, the Ballistus Last Cannon.
Yeah.
Not a good start.
Not a strong
Not
start.
a good start from the Dreadnought, but we'll re-roll it with the Oath of the Moment. I've hit you twice now.
Yes.
3s to wound you, sir. I've wounded you twice now. It's AP minus 3, this one.
6s! Oh.
Okay, and we will do a total of... Oh, that was bad.
4
Okay,
point-
stop. Stop. I'm going to use my CP
Yeah.
for a re-roll, for a change. So we've got 6 plus 1 each, 8 damage.
Oh. 8 Damagio.
8 Damagio, sir.
He literally takes 8. You've got 1 wound left.
Take it, bitch.
That's mean. That's mean. Those words are mean. Words hurt.
Okay, right. That went quite well, actually, if I'm honest. I think it probably went better than I thought it was going to do. Right, we'll go in here. We'll go to the
Oath of
Apothecary.
Moment and those things, mad good.
Yeah, Oath of
Aren't they?
Moment's good with them, right? It's not bad at all. You look at it, you go, oh, just 2 shots. But it's not that bad. Where's my... Oh, my Apothecary has his Absolver Bolt Pistol.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that yet because you've only got 1 wound left. So we're actually going to go... Okay, that's 2 damage. We're going straight into the Stern Guard Veterans, right?
Yeah.
I left 1 of each weapon in the child squad just to be difficult. So I shall start with my combi weapon,
Yeah.
which is anti-infantry 4+, devastating with rapid fire 1.
What do you hit on?
2 shots. I would normally hit on 4s.
But you
so
hit on 5s now.
I hit you once.
Boom.
I wound you on a 4+. I wound you on a 4+. It's a mortal wound.
Oh.
One's dead.
Oop.
Just one, actually. Then I have my Stern Guard bolt rifle. I would normally hit you on 3s. It's rapid fire 1, so I hit you on 4s. I've hit you one of the times. I will then wound you on 5s. I haven't wounded you. I then have my Stern Guard heavy bolter, which will hit you normally on 4s with 3 shots.
Yeah.
Now 5s. So I hit you once, but it does have sustained hits 1, so I actually hit you twice.
Yeah.
It's this one strength 5, so I wound you on 4s. That's 1 wound at -1 to Damagios.
A 5+.
2 Damagios.
Oh.
He's got a wound left. Now, out comes the Absolver bolt pistol from the Apothecary Biologus. He hits you on a 3. While he's leading a elite unit, he gets lethal hits. But he's not leading a unit, so I don't. I hit you.
You're -1 to hit.
Oh, fuck you. Okay.
Whee! I got 1 wound left.
He's alive! Who's alive? Okay, right. So the Terminators and the Captain. So the Captain's just going to drop some more shots into the Rippers, I guess.
Oh, hang on.
Hang on, what?
You finished a move within 9 inches of my termagants.
Okay, so?
Skulking Horrors.
Okay, what does that mean?
I get to, once per turn, if you've ended a normal move, advance, or fall back within 9 inches of this unit, if this unit is not within engagement range of 1 or more enemy units, it can make a normal move of up to D6 inches.
Okay. You're going to go 2 inches.
2 whole inches.
Where are you going?
Backwards.
Can you just confirm then for me what the apothecary can actually join? Because he couldn't join anything in the box set.
He can't join anything in the box
But
set. He
what
can
he
join aggressors, eradicators, or heavy intercessors. So anything that's gravis and on foot, he can join.
Yeah.
Like, when I say on foot, what I mean is not the gravis jump pack dudes.
Inceptors?
Yeah, Inceptors, yeah. So anything that can't fly, anything that's walking around, he can join if it's in gravis armour, basically. Okay. And if he does join a unit of aggressors or eradicators, I don't know if you're going to see him joining heavy intercessors so much. He gives them surgical precision, right? While this model is leading a unit, weapons equipped by models in that unit have the lethal hits ability. So that means that a critical hit automatically wounds a target. It's old born soldiers, basically.
He's going to be in every unit of Eradicators, isn't he?
If this model's unit destroys an enemy unit, and this is where you might see them in the other dudes, not Eradicators, aggressors instead. If you destroy a unit with the result of a melee attack until the end of the battle, this model has the objective control of 9.
Ooh.
So he goes to 9 in his unit of 3 aggressors who have also got objective control, I think 2 each.
Yeah.
So you end up with an objective control of 15 in that unit. That's quite good, right? That's really good. So I actually don't hate him. I think he's quite good on the whole. His actual, his output is kind of meh, but the fact that he gives lethal hits to aggressors is quite nice, right? Yeah. Anyway, so the captain now, so you've moved away from me.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to shoot you. I'm going to shoot Termagants. Fuck yeah. I've hit you 3 of the times. Your toughness 3. I've wounded you 3 of the times. I'm AP nothing.
AP nothing, so I get a 4-up save because cover. Whee!
Whee!
One has perished.
He's like, so now we're going to go into the Terminators, and now I need to think about whether I'm actually going to try and kill your units with shooting or not. Which I feel like chicken tonight. I'm going to put all of my guns into your Neuro Tyrant.
Oh.
All of the guns, Joe. Everything.
Rude.
Okay. Are you ready for this? Are you excited?
I am so excited.
And you cannot fight it.
Could poop.
We are going to, and what we'll also do is we'll declare that we are going to big boy smite you again.
Oh, yeah.
Just in case. Because I like that idea. Right, okay. Nothing to do with the fact that I've got a CP in the pocket. So we'll start with the assault cannon.
Messy.
I like it though. We need little card trays here now. Right, I'm going to start with the assault cannon, which is 6 attacks, shooting your Mr. Neuro Tyrant.
Yep.
And I hit you on 3s.
Oh.
Correct?
Yeah, he's not got no minus to be hitting.
Cool. So I missed you 3 of the times, but it is sustained hits, correct? Because I've got the librarian in the squad.
Is it not heavy? Oh, because you get +1 to hit, don't you?
No, it's just Ballistic Skill 3+. It's Terminator, isn't it? So it doesn't suffer the penalty. So I do have sustained hits 1 because of the librarian, so I hit you 4 times.
Nice.
Okay. I am strength 6. Your toughness is more than that, so I wound you on 5s.
But 6s do mortals.
But I have devastating wounds. So I've wounded you twice.
Yeah.
One of them's a mortal wound.
Yeah.
And one of them is a normal invulnerable save.
4 plus. Oh.
You take 2 wounds.
6s.
No, you take 2 wounds.
He's got
One left.
He's got 1 wound left.
Then I have my 2 bolters of the storm. Bolters of the storm hitting you on 3s because you're not the target.
I
of
think we
both.
might see a little bit of a comeback on the assault cannon front.
Wounding on 6s because you're toughness 8, aren't you?
Yes.
So nothing there at all. And then we have the apothecary, not the apothecary, sorry, the librarian, who has 4 attacks with storm bolter hitting you on 3s. So I get exposed 6 with him as well. Cool. And wounds you on 6s. Niente. But then I have his smite. D6. Be good. Yes.
Strong.
Yes. Hitting you on 3s. Interestingly, ranged weapons. Oh no, weapons equipped by models that unit have the sustained hits 1 ability. It's a weapon.
Yeah.
You get exploding 6s on smite. That's nice, isn't it?
That's interesting, isn't it?
And then it's strength 6 now, so it's 5 to wound you. 6s are devastating wounds.
How many?
D3.
D3.
So 3 mortal wounds, Joe.
3 6s.
It's like an old school smite, that one.
He is dead.
However, I now have to take a hazardous test.
Yeah.
I rolled a 1,
Yeah.
so I would take 3 mortal wounds. I do have a 4 plus 4 no pen against psychic attacks. This isn't a psychic attack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend my 1 CP to use a command point reroll, and it does specifically state that you can reroll hazardous tests.
Oh.
We're good. No 3 mortal wounds for Liam. Liam's down to 0 CP.
Boo. My poor baby boy.
Cool, that is... You'll be glad to know the end of my shooting phase. I'm now going to charge you.
Yeah.
So my Terminators and Mr. the Librarian are going to charge your Psychophage.
Yarp.
We're going to go this far. And we're going to be in combat with you. And then my Terminator Captain is now going to charge some Rippers because it's funny. And he's going to go this far. So oh my god, he can go where he wants. Right, okay. So, although you have to end in base if you can, there is no rule to say that you have to take the shortest distance possible. So I can go there, okay?
You have to be in base contact.
But I have to be in base contact because I can. The same with these guys. I can go wherever I want, but I have to end in base contact if I can. So we're going to do this because I can. Okay? There we go. All right?
Yep.
Beautiful. Okay.
You going to charge my one wound, Ryan?
I am going to charge your 1 wound Ryan's Death Leapers, okay?
Having army wide for a turn, fall back, shoot, and charge.
Did we reroll the hazardous roll?
Yes.
How did you do that?
With
Didn't
CP.
have CP.
I did have a CP.
You used it all.
I've been tracking them up here.
No, you used them all. You've used 2 throughout this one.
Have
You
I?
had
One
armor
more?
of content and you rerolled something else earlier on.
Did I reroll
In the
something
shooting phase. The damage. You rerolled the
Oh, I
damage
did. I did reroll damage. I didn't track that. So the Librarian takes 3 more wounds. You are right. Thank you. Thank you, Chris.
Cheating
No.
bastard.
roll. Thank you, Cole Mahoney.
Thank you, chat.
Thank you, chat.
Chat's always
Okay.
down to ruin me. as well.
Here's an interesting thing right now.
Yeah.
So I've charged you with 4 units.
Yeah.
All 4 of those units now have fights first.
Yeah.
But however, your Ryan Reynolds
Yeah.
also has fights first.
Yeah.
Which means it's my turn. You select the first fights first unit.
Yeah.
Your Leaper can fight before anybody else fights.
Nice. He's going to attack the Stern Guard.
Okay.
3s. I got exploding 6. Whee.
Wee.
A 3. Or that many. 3 at -1.
-1.
Yeah.
2 wounds go through. You kill a guy. You
Kill a
kill
guy.
one guy. Hey, Brick killed a guy. Okay.
That unit is now under strength.
It's under half strength. So always under strength right from the start. Okay, cool. So now I get to fight with all of my fights first units.
You do.
Okay, so I can just go through
I can get rid of that card now.
unmolested now. Okay, so we're going to start here and just go that way. So we're going to start off with the Apothecary Biologus and the Stern Guard veterans. Okay, so the Apothecary's going to go first, just for the glory, see if he can do it. He gets 4 attacks and he hits you on 3s, Jay. Now your stealth only works against ranged attacks, so I can still hit you on 3s, right?
Yours.
And then I'm strength 4, so I win you on 5s. I would you once. AP nothing.
A 4+. Whee.
It's fine. So the Stern Guard will now fight. There's 2 left in the unit now, with 4 attacks each. 4 attacks each is good, isn't it? It's really good. And these will also wound you on 5s.
Well, they are veterans, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. These will also wound you on 5s.
Oh, no.
So there's more wounds there. They're all AP nothing. They're all 1 damage.
He's only got 1 wound left as well.
Hey, it's
and
on
I've
there.
got no jobby jobs.
Oh, that's wounding! If you'd had a CP, you could have re-rolled that. Should have been greedy with your Overwatch, should you?
I know. Made you spend that 1 CP, which meant that your librarian. I planned that.
Did you?
I
Yeah.
planned that.
That's how that went.
To take that wound. That's what I done.
Okay.
And it is nice that CP's at such a premium now that you do have to think about it.
The thing, and the same as I've said as well, not only is it a premium because you only get a few, but all the stratagems are really good. And if they're a really good stratagem, they're 2 CP as
Armour
well.
of Contempt is really strong because of the massive decrease in AP as well
Yeah,
now.
massively.
It's huge.
100%. So I'll go in with the Librarian first, who has 4 attacks with his Force weapon. Okay, so he's going to hit you on a 3+, but I do have Oath of Moment Arm. Oath! So I've hit you 4 times, but weapons in his unit get sustained hits, so I've hit you 5 times with the Force weapon. Okay, now I'm strength 6, your toughness more,
9.
so I wound you on 5s, but again I have Oath of Moment on. So I've wounded you 3 other times. There are -1. These.
-1. He's got 3 up save. So 4s. Well, he's probably
Not
dead.
a strong start, Jay.
He's very dead.
So you will take a total of 4 wounds, 4 damage.
4 damage.
You've got feel no pains, right?
Yeah.
5 ups.
5 ups. And he has got 1 whole wound.
Yes.
Bye-bye. He's dead.
He's very dead.
He's got Deadly Demise 1.
So on a 6, he doesn't explode.
Aww.
Okay. Mr. Librarian did the work there. We like that.
There he goes up there.
Mr. the Captain is now going to fight the Rippers. This is fucking embarrassing. He has a relic weapon, Joe. Okay. However, he's a Space Marine Captain, all right? Once per turn, I can use a stratagem for 0 CP. I think that's anything I really gain from using a stratagem here, okay? So I'm just going to swing some swords at you now. Do you know what I fucking should have done earlier as well, which I didn't think about? What I should have really shown off. What would have probably kept some more Sterngar alive. Should have thrown a grenade at you.
No. I didn't realise the Ripper Swarms have got a gun.
Wasn't even listening.
Nah.
I was saying that my Sterngar should have thrown grenades at you.
Yeah.
This is 1 CP stratagem and you just roll 6d6 on a 4+ yourself on a mortal wound. That's the new grenades. That's how grenades
good,
work
isn't it?
now. Yeah, it's really good. Right, so I have a relic weapon, okay? Which means I have 6 of the finest attacks, Joe.
6.
I can reroll charges so I can use a stratagem for 0 CP even if it's already been used this phase. I don't feel like I need that right now. So we're going to hit you on 2s with my relic weapon.
Solid.
I'll hit you 4 of the times. Good old Mr. the Captain. All right.
I am toughness 2.
You know what? I'm going to use a CP reroll stratagem for free because I might as well. Because it's free, isn't it? I can use one once per turn for free. Once per battle round for free. There you go.
In it.
Okay. I am strength 5.
2s.
That's 5, Joe. At -2
I don't get a save.
and 2 damage each.
So you kill
2.5 bases.
2.5 bases. Wow.
And that would be the end of the Terminator Captain's attackings.
I get to hit you back now.
Do you?
Yeah, with my Ripper Swarm.
Yeah.
6 attacks with sustained hits 1. So if I've already got sustained hits 1 from my adaptive jobby, does it go to sustained hits 2?
I think so, yes. But there is no clarification as to whether they stack. That's a question I have actually got lined up for the design team.
We need a happy Joe.
You're going down.
I don't think I have.
So basically, I either get 4 hits or 8 hits.
I think they stack. I don't know why they wouldn't stack.
Is it not in?
Sustained hits 1 plus sustained. No, it's not in the book.
Oh.
So if you go to sustained hits in the book,
So how are you stacking them? Sorry.
So basically, my adaptive biology thing gives me army-wide sustained hits 1 when I attack a
But they
infantry
already
unit.
have
But
sustained hits.
they have sustained hits 1 on their profile.
weapons with sustained hits X in their profile are known as sustained hits weapons. Each time an attack is made with such a weapon, if a critical hit is rolled, that attack scores a number of additional hits on the target as denoted by X. Example, a model makes an attack with a melee weapon with a sustained hits 2 ability. If the hit roll is an unmodified 6, a critical hit, then that attack scores a total of 3 hits on the target, 1 from the successful hit roll of 6 and 2 from the sustained 2 ability. Now, you've got sustained hits 1, and you're adding sustained hits 1. 1 plus 1 is 2.
Yeah.
I think you get sustained hits 2.
Okay.
That's the way I think it works, but it doesn't actually tell you what happens if you stack multiple sustained hits on the same weapon that I found, and I've looked for this.
Yeah.
But I think you get sustained hits too, is my opinion.
So that one base, which had 6 attacks,
Yeah.
has now got 4, 8, 12, 13 hits.
Yeah, he's an angry little ripper.
He's really angry.
Num 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 num. What's his strength, Joe? 2. So that's why I want so concerned. 6s. Oh! I mean, he's an angry little ripper, isn't he?
You're going to die now.
Well, I mean,
As
I
he
can't.
burrows into your big toe.
Are you damaged too?
No damage.
Then I can't die. There's 6 wounds on the Terminator Captain.
Boo.
Assuming you're AP nothing,
You took a wound.
I take a wound.
How many wounds you got left?
5.
Whee. Well done, little ripper.
Well done, little ripper.
The little ripper that could.
Yes. Okay, cool. That will be the end of the Space Marines Battle Round 3.
Nice.
So we both get a command point. I'm back up to 1.
I go to 1.
You go to 1.
We both got to.
Do you have any command abilities to do?
No.
No stratagems using your command phase on that nonsense?
Well, I've got 1 CP, haven't I? So I could. I've got. Oh, these are in actual phases.
Oh, by the way, when I consolidate these guys, I am allowed to consolidate towards an objective as long as I can end in within range of it. That is an allowed thing.
No, is the answer.
Okay, cool. So, then we
objectives. Oh no, wait.
then we move into the battle shock phase.
Yeah.
So your rippers are battle shocked,
Yes.
potentially. What's the leadership?
8.
You're okay, you're good. Are they in synapse range?
That's a good question, actually. Science range is 6 inches. No.
So you roll it on 2d6?
Yeah. Can I not just take the 2 6s?
No, you can't, no.
That's rude.
You still did.
They still get it.
So that means you can use stratagems on them, and it means if you do decide to fall out of combat, you don't have to take a desperate breakout test. Which is interesting.
an emotional
Emotional
breakout.
breakdown test.
So I'm going to do some moving, I suppose.
Yeah.
That Terminator unit
Is a problem, right?
is a problem.
Well, Joseph, before you do some movement, let's add you some victory points, shall we?
2.
Big 2.
1.
And so it's been pointed out that when you, apparently on page 12, for scoring victory points, killing characters and bodyguard units, you gain 1 VP. So you've killed some bodyguard units,
Hey,
here,
what?
so you potentially have gained some additional VP here and there. I think it was page 12. Someone pointed out earlier, it was ages ago now. However, until then, awful gamer TJ, thank you very much for the 5 gifted membership.
No, so example, if a rule awards you 1 victory point each time an enemy unit is destroyed, and you target an attached unit, you would gain 1 victory point if the bodyguard unit is destroyed, and 1 victory point if the leader unit is destroyed, for a total of 2 victory points. But we don't have that.
We don't have it right now.
If that's what they're on about.
Maybe, it was just giving you more VP, maybe, where it was quite...
Things are gone now.
We just have capture and control.
We are playing a simplified version for the
We're playing the simplest so we can learn the rules in front of people. I'm hopefully we're having the experience that other people are going to have. And they go, "Oh,
just out of curiosity, Joe, you said that there was a time you had to leave by. When was that?
2:30.
After, okay.
What time is it now?
1 o'clock. It's got a big clock in front of you in red letters.
It's fine. Right. Shooting phase now.
Well, this is going to start getting quick, I think.
Right. So
I think we're now getting the hang of it.
So the Termagants are going to shoot your boys.
Are you AP?
I am AP nothing.
Okay, so I'm not going to use Armour of Contempt, Joe, again.
I already know that I hate that strategy. Right?
You already know that with the flex areas you'll be using that stratagem.
Yeah, all the time. So I hit you on 4s.
Yeah, okay.
No explodes. 4s. So I'm strength 5. Just the 1 wound, actually.
Don't
If
do
you-
that again, Liam.
If
That
you
was
would
not a
kindly
flat
roll
shot.
a 1. Boo.
Well, was not a good shot?
Your face leaning under the dice then.
The ear hole. Now my Barb Gaunts are going to shoot you.
Barbara Gaunts!
The Barbara.
Barbara
I
Streisand.
don't get blast anymore, sadly.
No, because I'm less than
Yeah.
5 models.
10, 15, 16. Much
Good maths,
less
Joe.
now.
Good maths. All your fingers at once.
I know. 10, 15, 16.
16!
I haven't moved, so 3s.
That's nice, isn't it? Heavy.
Yeah. And I get 2 explodes. Boop, boop.
2 critical hits scored for sustained hits.
Now, I can't remember if they're 5 or 6. They are
Strength, 5, aren't they?
strength 5, so 4s.
Oh, that's not bad, Joe. That was good.
I know, but
2 up saves.
2 up saves.
1 goes through.
1 goes through, so 1's dead.
Unless I CP reroll it for a laugh. Oh, he still dies, Joe.
That's what you get.
And that is your.
I'm now.
That's my CP on 0, Chris.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
you've
now
got it,
going
good
to
man.
charge.
He's really good on that deck compared to you.
I have my moments.
Over there.
Who's charging me? Oh, Mr. the Winged Man.
The Winged
We get to
Man.
see what he can do.
Yeah. I'm tempted to charge the Spineman. You can Overwatch, can't you?
Nope, no CP.
Oh. It's a 9-inch charge. They are absolutely toilet in combat, and they've only got 2 wounds. However, that your Terminator unit now minuses 2 from its movement, advance and charge.
Don't really care about that.
We're going to stay there. We're going to stay where we are. Do I charge Gaunts onto your captain as well?
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
Yeah.
I don't know, but why?
Yeah, we're going to charge the Gaunts.
Let's zoom in on your face.
Joe, sometimes your face just makes it look like you should definitely be on a register.
Of sexy beasts.
Yes.
Does Joe have Shadow of the Warp? The answer is no. Everything's dead.
What do you mean?
Weren't you Shadow of the Warping earlier?
I did it earlier, yeah. I've done it
Yeah.
already. I can only do it once. But he puts the unit in. He's a silence creature anyway. I hope so.
You're in trouble.
I've only got 4 cards left now, Liam. So, nothing but efficient to this card system.
I've only got 5.
A Winged Man.
Is he good? Please tell me he's good.
He's a very nice model, even if he's not good.
What's his AP, Joe? Okay.
Armor of Contempt.
Yep. And I can put it on him because once per battle round. Oh no, it's still battle round 3. I can't use it. If it was battle round 4, because once per battle round, I can use a stratagem for free.
Yeah.
I've got no CP,
Yeah.
but I've already used that stratagem for free in a battle round because I used a CP reroll in the last turn, so I actually can't use it. We're good.
Okay.
Good old you. If any armies come out with the old tricksy, creating stratagems to be more points, more CP,
How
That's a
much
big
CP
deal.
have
that's
I
going to be
got?
a big deal.
Just the one.
Just one
You've
actually.
got 1 CP.
I'm going to save it then. Right, so I hit you on 2s.
With your Winged Man.
My Winged
Look
Man.
at all this, and you got exploders in there. Look at
Yeah,
that.
there we go. Ah,
thought we
your
weren't allowed to
0
call them
CP thingy,
Yeah.
doesn't it say you can use it even if it's already been used that phase?
Yeah, but I can only use it once per battle round. That ability.
Okay.
Hang on. Once per battle round. One.
Oh
unit
yeah, the
damage
free.
bleed.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Because I used it in my turn, it's still battle round 3 that I used it in. I can't
Alright.
use it again.
so I'm stroke 6, toughness 5,
Yes, toughness 5.
3s. Oh, that was shocking. So it's -1, 2 damage.
So 3 up saves. So take 4 damage. I've got 1 left.
Got 1 left. That's good. That's good. So he's gonna. So then the termagants are gonna pile in.
You have to base. Could you not make base with the charge?
Yeah.
You have to make base if you can make base.
Yeah, I made base, so I'm just piling in.
Because then you can get more to attack. Can't you?
Yeah.
Because now you have to be touching a model that's in base contact.
So piling in's changed, Joe. All that moving that you're doing right there.
Yeah.
So basically, you have to be in engagement range.
Yeah.
Or base to base with a model in base to base.
Yeah.
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 So
And-
all Joe did there was shuffle people round.
Yeah,
so
I
that
just-
more
I moved round so I get more into
people can
combat.
Get into the base to base or base
This is something that I think.
to base to base.
This is something that I think is going to catch a lot of people out.
Base to base, London.
Base to the base.
Yeah.
So piling in is what is going to be a thing that I think is going to catch a lot of people out, right? Each time a model makes so when a pile in, you can move each model in the unit that is not already in base-to-base contact with an enemy model up to 3 inches. This is a piling move. For a piling move to be possible, a unit must be able to end these moves within an engagement range of 1 or more enemy units and in unit coherency. If these conditions cannot be met, no models in the unit can make piling moves. So if you've got a model right at the back who can't end an engagement range, no one makes a piling move.
Really?
Yep.
That's stupid.
I'll read it to you again. When a unit piles in, you can move each model in the unit that is not already in base-to-base contact with an enemy model up to 3 inches. This is a piling move. For a piling move to be possible, a unit must be able to end these moves within an engagement range of 1 or more enemy units and in unit coherency. If these conditions cannot be met, no models in that unit can make piling moves in this phase, and you progress to making melee attacks with that unit. Otherwise, the unit can make piling moves. Right. Each time a model makes a pilot move, it must end that move closest to the closest enemy model. If it can also end that move in base-to-base contact with 1 or more enemy models while satisfying all the conditions above, it must do so.
Did it say, sorry, you can't move it if it's already in
So
the
if
base
you
space?
have, so all right, hang on. Let's do a demo quickly because this is something that's going to be very, very, very important, right?
Where are we doing a demo so I can change the
It'll be a top-down thing because people are going to get this wrong, right? So I'm going to over-exaggerate this for the sake of demonstration purposes because this is something that people are going to get wrong because of what's happened in 9th edition. Okay.
Your side of the trees. And then
So this is a unit here, right, that you're attacking, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I charge in and I make base to base, right? I need some more models. So this is entirely a possible circumstance, right? It's unlikely, but it's a possible circumstance, okay? Because you've got just enough charge range that everyone's moved their maximum distance that they possibly can. You have engaged the unit. You have made base to base with the units the models at the front that could make the unit. The others have moved as far as they can. This is a possible circumstance. In this situation, this model here can make a 3-inch pylon move and be base to base with the model and base to base, therefore an engagement range.
Yeah.
This guy can move around there to be an engagement range. This guy, however, has no way of getting in engagement range if he piles in.
Yeah.
Because that one back model can't make engagement range, the unit can't pile in. That's the rules.
That's mad.
And then let's say fighting's all done, etc. We've already done our piling. Well, there was no piling. Also can't consolidate because the same rules.
Same rules, you can't consolidate, yeah, absolutely. It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very different. This is what I'm saying. When I talk about losing a lot of movement with my world eaters, I lost a lot of movement with my world eaters.
Well, I'll assume only 5 can attack, not 8. Then.
Let's go in between. 6. Let's give you 6 models just in case. Right.
Well, only 1 attack each.
Oh, well,
I'm hitting you on 4s.
Oh, fuck off, Joe! With your little bugs. What's this all about?
There we go. Not bad, not bad. I'm only strength 3 though.
Okay, so 5s. And it's not bad.
I mean, it's only 2. I just need you to roll A1, please.
That noise, Joe, would tell me, was I had my hands over my eyes, that I failed. I passed my test. Look at that. Double 6s, we're good. Okay. So
And you get to swing before my rippers do.
Yes, because it goes into fights normal. So guess what I'm going to do?
You're gonna
Fight rippers.
Oh.
Well, why wouldn't I? I might as well fight rippers, Joe.
You've started a debate now, Liam.
Have I won?
Rules is written, consolidation and piling. You know, it's the unit, not model. So you know, it's correct what you've just shown and talked about. But you know, people, it's to stop the move jankiness. Ultimately, I think is what it's intended. But a lot of people are feeling that it's going to, you know, reduce bits and pieces here because of the fact that you're not moving them. But that is the purpose of it, to stop people stealing movement. And
It's about so the thing is in 9th edition, and I hold my hand up high here and say I did this all the fucking time. Sometimes to people who don't play tons of 40k, who aren't particularly experienced, who don't go to lots of events, people like, and I'm not being rude here, people like Brom, used to fucking really catch him out sometimes. And you can use charge, like people were using charges with units that aren't even melee units just for movement.
Yeah.
Right? Just to set them up in a future turn or protect them from other attacks, etc., etc. People were doing this all the time, and there was loads of movement that people were gaining from charging. What they've gone down the route of is you're deciding to make a charge move to go and kill the enemy in melee. Right? That's what they want you to do. That's why they want you to use charge. They don't want you to use charging, consolidating and piling in just to gain free movement and place things where you can set. They want you to use charging in hand-to-hand combat to actually fight hand-to-hand combat to kill the enemy. That's the whole point. And narratively, for me, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? So there's little nuances, little changes to the rules here and there that significantly reduce some of the movement that you used to gain from piling in, consolidating, even charging. Okay? Because what we would do, we did this all the time. I'm charging you. I'm not making base. I can, but I'm not making base. I then pile in 3 inches, and I'm a fraction of an inch closer to you, but I'm still not making base. I then consolidate another 3 inches. I'm obsec. I'm on the objective. It's mine.
Yeah.
And that's all gone now, and I'm all for that personally. Despite the fact that I've lost loads of movement.
Yeah.
I still think it's a positive change on the whole. But this is what I kept saying to people yesterday. There's little things that people are going to miss. Like if one model cannot satisfy those conditions, you cannot pile in.
Yeah.
Like that's going to be a problem for people. Okay. Okay. I'm just making people aware of it, so you don't go to an event and go, "Oh, I can do this," and someone goes, "Cheat," because that's the worst. Especially when it's unintentional, right? So that's the end of your turn, Joe. Right?
Tis.
Cool. Cool. And we killed the Rippers, just so you guys are aware.
Yeah.
The Rippers got choppy chopped. Chop, chop, chop. Choppy chop. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Your command phase.
My command phase. My Oath of Moment unit is going to be possibly the Barbara Streisand gaunt things here. These cheeky chappies.
Yeah.
They're going to be my Oath of Moment unit, right?
Pass you the rule book.
Yeah, me.
Then I'm going to go into combat doctrines.
What's up?
Have a look. Little cheeky look.
No. Get
And
back.
I'm going to... Do I advance and charge?
What's that?
So,
Don't forget you are -2 to all of those.
Yeah, but I can then move 3, advance, and still charge.
That's true, yeah.
So it's not the end of the world. So how far away are the Barbara gaunts? So you're 9 inches.
Yeah.
So I can move 2.5 inches, because it's my so I can move 3 inches, which is 9 inches gets me to 6.
Yeah.
I'd advance minimum 1, which gets me to 5. I then charge, I would need 7. Mathematical average. If I get lucky on the advance roll, it's better.
Well,
We
you need
both
to roll
gain a
it.
CP.
Yeah. You need to do some battle shocks, don't you?
I...
On him and them.
Not on them, no. Why would I need to do it on them?
They're under half strength.
They're not under half strength. There were 6 models in the unit. They're at half strength, not under half
Oh,
strength.
it has to be under.
Yep, that's why I
Alright.
kept saying under.
The Stern
half
Guard
strength.
need to do it, and so does your captain.
So the Stern Guard needs to roll a battle shock test on a 6. We're good. Captain is on a... He's also on a 6, actually. Boop. He can't fall back out of combat. He can't get stratagems, and he goes to objective control 0.
Yeah.
Cool. Don't really care.
Wow.
So I think we could go into Assault Doctrine for advance and charge. Right now. And then we'll start moving. So Mr. the Apothecary is going to go back on the objective.
Yep.
Okay. Mrs. the Stern Guard are going to move forward 6 inches.
He's on 3 objectives. You get 3 points.
I'm on 2 objectives.
Oh, you're only on 2, yeah.
Yeah, I get 2 points, Chris, not 3.
2. Ooh.
Yeah. Walkie, 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 walk, 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 walk. I'm going to advance. Oh, then I can't shoot, actually. That's a problem. Ah, fuck it, it's fun. Let's show off the Dempsey. I'm going to advance Terminators. That's a cocked dice by lots. That's a 6. So I advance 4, so I can move 7.
I'm going to spend a CP.
To Overwatch.
To Overwatch you.
That's another stratagem that I think people are going to get very annoyed with very quickly.
Yeah. Well, it's like reactions in Heresy, isn't it, basically? So, I get 5 D6 shots at you. 12, 18, 21.
AP nothing, right?
AP nothing.
Okay, cool.
10, 15, 21. 6s. 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 4.
Correct. Because of sustained hits 1.
The one guy on 1 wound died? Or there is a guy with 1 wound. They should, I don't know.
No, one when we died, that's why
Yeah.
I'm so slow. Because I re-rolled it and failed, remember?
4s.
Oh dear, Jay. Did you really want to spend that?
I mean,
2 pluses. I'll take a wound.
who takes a wound? These are, I either Overwatch you now or I Overwatch you later.
Yeah, of
basically.
course. Yeah, absolutely.
And then you finished within 9 of me. So my termagants are going to move D6 inches. 1.
Okay, cool.
They will continue to skulk.
So now the Ballistus Dreadnought is going to shoot at those annoying blasty gaunt things. These cheeky chappies.
Europe.
Okay, because I've had enough of them now. They're annoying me. Slowing me down and shit. How many wounds are they, Jay? 2 each, aren't they?
2 each.
Okay. And the toughness 5?
They are toughness 4
Oh, are they?
with 2 wounds.
That changes things. Oh, I didn't pick an Oath of Moment unit either.
You did, I think you said the barbs.
I did pick the Barbs, didn't I?
Barbarettas.
The Barb Gaunts.
Barbarella.
So, you are wrong, Liam.
Full frontal earth, please.
What do you mean I'm wrong?
You are wrong on the pile-in and the consolidation.
How?
Well,
I read it out to you out loud.
As per the image, even on here, there's units that don't finish within range, or models that don't finish in range of engagement for both pile-in and consolidation, but they still complete the pile-in and consolidation
But
moves.
read the words.
So the termagant unit. Well, I'll read you the example from
Yeah,
page
go for it.
36.
Go read that one instead.
So The Termagant unit is selected to fight. First, the unit piles in and has all of its models move up to 3 inches in order to end closer to the enemy model and in base-to-base contact if they can. Note that the 2 Termagants are already in base-to-base contact with the foe. These models therefore do not move. So then a whole bunch of extra models move. Cool. So after making their pile-in moves, 5 of the Termagants are within engagement range of the Stone Guard veterans and so will get to make attacks. And then there's 3 more behind them now. So 3 other Termagants are in base-to-base contact with these models that are in the units. They're themselves in base-to-base contact with the Stone Guard veterans.
Yep.
Then at the very back, there's now 2 models. These 2 Termagants... Backtracking. These Termagants will also get to make the attacks. Reference to 3 that are in base-to-base. Then the remaining 2 Termagants are too distant from the foe and will not get to make attacks.
Have they been shown as making a pile-in move?
Yes.
Then read the rules for pilot. Read the pile-in move rules. Previous page, I think. So read the rules, the pile-in rules.
When a unit piles in, you can move each model in that unit that is not already in base-to-base contact with an enemy model up to 3 inches. This is a pile-in move. For a pile-in to be possible, a unit must be able to end this moves within engagement range of 1 or more enemy units in unit coherency. If these conditions cannot be met, no models in that unit can make a pile-in move.
Stop.
But the unit is in engagement range.
But models?
It's not talking about models, it's talking about the unit.
Did it not say each model must be able to end?
For a pile-in move to be possible, a unit must be able to end these moves with engagement.
Right, okay. So I've misread then, and I would thought it was a model-by-model basis. Perfect.
I'll make 2 attacks on you.
You go for it.
I missed.
Okay, I stand corrected. This is, I feel like we've picked up most of the nuanced changes in the edition. I think it was always inevitable we were going to get 1 or 2 little bits wrong. Thank you, Chris. I say thank you, Chris. Was it thank you, Chris, or was it thank you, chat?
I don't know. No, it was joint effort. I can understand what they were saying, but I understood it as you were saying.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted the rule book.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because my brain doesn't work. However,
but we're all learning here.
page 39 in the rule book has a nice clear image.
That makes me slightly happier with my wordies. To be honest with you. Right, cool. Okay. What we're doing? We're shooting. So I'm going to shoot my ballistic dreadnought at your Barbara Streisand's.
Yep.
I'm going to go for a frag this time, Joe.
Oh.
First of all, I'm going to fire the last cannon. Okay.
Nice.
So I hit you on 3s, and I put Oath of the Moment on. I wound you on 2s.
Yep.
I've wounded you twice. They're AP -3.
Yep.
And they're D6 plus 1 damage each.
So 2 die.
So 2 are dead. Okay. And then we're going to... Hang on, am I still within Stormbolter range now? I am still within Stormbolter range. So we'll start off with the Bolters of the Storm.
Yeah.
So 2 shots, hitting you on those, and wounding you on Toughness 4, that, but Oath means that. So 2 wounds at AP nothing.
Both fine.
Both fine. And then we're gonna frag you, which is now 2d6 shots.
That's mad, isn't it?
And it is blast. So I would have got more if I'd have fired this first. But I also know that you are 2 wounds each, and the ballistic glass cannon will just flat kill one each time.
Yeah.
So 7 attacks, that's right, yeah. So I hit you on 3s with this, and I get to reroll because of Oath.
Yeah.
So it's good, that Oath, isn't it? And it's strength 5, so I wound you on 3s with my frag, and I get to reroll because of Oath. So if you could fail all of those, 1 will be alive.
I failed 2.
Okay.
1 has died.
Wasn't as good as I was hoping, Joe. Very rude of you. How dare you do this? How dare you live? How dare you live, mutant? Heretic? Alien?
Potato.
Potato, Mr. Frodo. Okay. We're going to now use my Stern Guard Heavy Bolter.
Yeah.
And what did I leave in there? I left a combi weapon in there as well. So he is also in range. Okay, so we'll start off with the Stern Guard Heavy Bolter with his 3 attacks.
Yeah.
That is heavy, but I moved. But you're not mindful to hit now.
No.
So it's 4s with sustained hits.
Nice.
And I re-roll because of Oath. So I've hit you 3 of the times.
There's a beard here.
I am strength 5.
Yeah.
So I wound you on 3s.
Yeah.
And I can re-roll because of Oath.
Yeah.
So I've wounded you 3 of the times. That 6 is devastating wounds. So it does 2 mortal wounds.
So 1's dead.
And the other ones are just AP -1.
So 5s. Oh.
And 2 damage each.
Boo.
Unit destroyed. Okay. Beautiful.
Hey,
Beautiful,
1 less
beautiful,
card.
beautiful. Right, cool.
There we go.
Now we're going to move into the charge phase.
Just the 2 now.
Just the 2. So my unit of Terminators is going to charge your Termagants.
Sweet. You are -2 to this.
I know, but I might as well have a go because you've already Overwatched, so it's free. It's a free attempt. So it's a 6-inch charge, so I need to roll an 8.
Yeah.
No. I do have a commandage point, Jay.
Yeah.
So I can CP reroll for an 8. Oh, they're in! The Xenos are going to die. Oh, actually, this is a problem.
Oh, yeah.
This is actually a problem. This is actually a problem.
Right.
Because here's a whole other thing that's come in 10th edition now.
Yeah.
Do you know what you can't do?
What's that?
Finish any move on top of an objective marker.
Okay.
So can I move to here?
So you've rolled a 9. So -2.
I've got a 7-inch
so you can
move.
move 7. So to the wall.
So I can move to the wall here
Yeah.
and be in engagement range of you.
Yeah.
And he can go there and be in engagement range of you. And he can go here.
To keep you in unit coherency.
So can I go that way and still be in coherency in a minute when I pile in? But I can't get to base to base contact. This is a problem now, Joe.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do that, aren't we? That's what we're gonna have to do. And he's got 2 wounds. And he's got 2 wounds remaining.
Nice.
Okay. So fights first. My Terminator unit now has fights first.
Okay.
So he gets to fight. Now I can't pile in because I can't make base. And the reason why I can't make base is because I can't finish any of those moves in base contact with you without also stepping onto the objective marker or breaking unit coherency.
Okay.
So only 2 of my Terminators can fight. I can't fight with the Librarian.
So I can either do Death Frenzy on a 4+, I fight when I die, or I give myself a 6-up feel no pain. But you're all damage 2 in there, aren't you?
No, my power weapon is damage 1.
How many attacks do you get?
4.
You're not going to kill the unit, though, are you?
No, absolutely not.
I'm not going to bother. I'm going to keep my 2 CP.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll start with the power weapon.
My 1 CP.
Hitting you on 3s. 6s explode because Librarian.
Yep.
And then I am strength 5, your toughness 3, so I wound you on 3s.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 3 wounds and a cocker.
Yeah.
So that's 3 wounds.
So the 6 didn't explode. What did it actually do?
It caused a sustained hit on a critical hit roll, Chris. Correct. And then my power fist is 3 attacks, also hitting you on 3s. I miss once, but the 6 is a critical hit, and therefore I gain a sustained hit. Got you back. 2s, 2 more dead. Cool. Okay.
Right, and now I'm going to attack you with my Winged Tyrannid Prime.
Your Winged Tyranid Prime.
Yes.
You are.
He's hitting you on 2s.
What's your AP?
-1.
I'm going to spend my free command point
Yeah.
for Armour of Contempt. Oh my God, Joe! Oh my God!
It's alright, I've still hit you 4 times. Right. I wound you on 3s. If you can roll
1-1.
1-1.
Apparently I can.
Good. He's
I
dead.
die.
I can't consolidate now because I can't go into... Well, no, I can consolidate.
You can consolidate
towards the objective.
as long as you can end within range of an objective.
Yeah.
That's perfectly okay.
Cool. But the unit that hasn't fought can't do anything.
No, because it didn't charge.
Yeah. And now I'm going to attack you with 5 termagants.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, and then... Well, no, I'm not. He has to go to there.
Okay.
5 termagantes. And I hit you on 4s. But I'm going to roll... No, 6s. Oh, just the 2 hits. And then I wound you on 5s. Just the 1 wound. And then you roll a 1. Oh.
Good. End of a turn.
Is the captain battle shocked?
He's dead.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no. He was battle shocked. You couldn't play the stratagem on him anyway.
Oh, okay. Well, it's free.
Well,
He
he's
died-
dead
He
now.
died anyway, yeah.
He has died a
It is
death.
free. This is why you are right. We need battle shock tokens. We need to get some made. That's actually going to be very important, I think.
Yeah.
100%.
You can full facial me now.
I don't want it.
So we're moving to Joe's command phase. We both gain a command point. I'm up to 1, Joe's up to 2. It's important that you have this command point, Joe, potentially.
Yeah.
So you have no command abilities.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to move into battle shock.
Yeah.
Your termagants
R5.
are 5.
I started on 10.
You started on 10.
By your wording, I don't have to take 1.
You're perfectly fine.
Yeah.
If you'd have lost 1 more termagant, you potentially would have been battle shocked in your outside apps range.
to me. What is your OC?
I count as 3 models on that objective at the moment.
Why?
I'm OC of 3. 1 for each Terminator, 1 for the Librarian. You count as OC 10. Because you've got
Oh,
5
I
models.
thought OC was just for the unit.
No, per model, Joe. So your OC
Per
is,
model?
Your OC is 10 because you've got 5 termagants and each termagant is OC2. So your OC is 10, my OC is 3 because each terminator is 1 and the librarian's 1. And you add it all together.
Oh!
You wouldn't have thought we were a channel with fucking preview rules, would you?
Like I said, I didn't want to confuse myself with two.
No, fair enough.
Right?
Joe no read. Joe only paint.
Yeah, I told you I only do pictures. All right. Cool. So I get 2 points.
He does get 2 points. He has 2 objectives.
Right then.
I will give you them.
I will allow it. Right, Joe, you need to hurry up because you've only got an hour, and you've only got termagants and a winged lunatic left.
Yeah.
So you just come in, murder the terminators.
Are you still coming home with me, or are you going home?
I might have to go home.
Oh God.
Was he coming home with you for touchy-feely times?
Touchy-feely times, but tell me what I am and not selling.
Oh, okay.
On Sunday, bring a buy sale at Factorum if anyone wants to come along and buy all my Warhammer.
Yeah, if you are in the area, if you're in the Warminster area, Chris has himself a stand at the bring and buy sale at Factorum on Sunday because he has far too much. I think he's got more shit than me, and we have a studio.
It's an issue. I'm aware of it.
Yeah.
I'm going to charge you now.
Okay.
I'm in.
I can't stop you, so that's good.
There.
Base to base, yeah, good man.
Yep. Right then, he's going to swing first. I'm going to spend 2 CP in the fight phase. Up to 2 Tyranid units from your army that are in sign-outs range of your army and eligible to fight one or more, or one other Tyranid unit from your army that is eligible to fight. Until the end of the phase, each time a model is selected to basically 5s do critical hits. So 5s are sustained. So I'll put it on him and the termagants.
You know, you could 1 CP epic challenge instead.
What does that mean?
You can pick my librarian out.
Oh, yeah. I could do, couldn't I?
So epic challenge is now a new core stratagem in the main rulebook, right? I'm not saying don't do your sustain hits 5 thing. I just like showing off new shit.
He's only got 2 wounds left, though, hasn't he?
Yeah. So epic challenge. When a character unit from your army that is within engagement range of 1 more attached unit is selected to fight, target 1 character model in your unit. Effect until the end of the phase. All melee attacks made by the model have the precision ability.
Oh, then I shall do that then.
1 CP.
Re-granted you your 1 CP, and whilst we're on the number 1, thank you Tim Chaser, who just gifted 1 membership.
Tim, thank you, you're a legend.
Hero amongst men. So I get 6 attacks then. I've hit with all of them, and 1 explodes.
There you go, look at that. And you didn't get any 5s, I saved you 2 CP.
What?
It doesn't explode, what does it do?
It does a critical hit, which
Thank
therefore is sustained to the bar. Right.
I love you, Chris.
3s.
3s. Well, this is a problem. All on Mr. the Librarian.
But do they then pile over into the rest of the unit? Do any wounds carry over?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Did you want to roll? Because you might have to roll them 1 at a time.
Well, I think they're all the same, aren't they?
They are all the same, but yeah.
Yeah, they're all 4 up in vulnerable saves. So let's read the rules on precision. This is interesting. I love this. I love learning. I love
to learn.
Love to learn. Precision. Okay, when weapons with precision in their profile are known as precision weapons. Each time an attack made with such a weapon successfully wounds an attached unit, if a character model on that unit is visible to the attacking model's player can choose to have that attack allocated to the character model instead of following the normal attack sequence. So basically, for all the successful wounds that you rolled, of which there's 5, you can choose how many of them go on the character and how many of them go on the unit. Character or unit?
Character, unit.
Okay, so 3 4 up vulnerable saves on the librarian, I assume.
Yeah.
What, minus you 1?
Minus 1. Armour of Contempt!
No, I should have said it at the start. I forgot I had a CP. So it's 3 up saves.
3s. Oh, he's very
dead. Armour of Contempt wouldn't have made a difference there, Joe.
Yeah. Whee!
And then on the Terminators, you killed one of them, yeah. Armour of Contempt would have made a difference there as well. And he was on 2 wounds. That guy's dead.
Then he's going to pile into...
Consolidate, not pile him.
Into this dude.
Can you end in base?
Yeah, get him off that objective, Joe. It's not hard to finish
can't step
him
on the
with
objective, you're not allowed to.
an objective.
Not allowed to.
It's the rules. It says so in the rule book.
That one guy, here's that one guy. He gets to swing now.
Into the Termagants. They've hit you all of the times.
What, with your fist or your sword?
Sword.
Sword.
The only one that's left. Is it sword left or fist left? Oh no, it's fist left. Take out the successful wound there. So all hit and all wound, that's fine. Okay, we're good. There's 3 dead.
Right.
3 dead.
3.
3 dead.
2 beautiful wibbly jibblies.
Go on the wibbly jibblies.
2 6s, please. There we go. Right.
How do you do it every time?
4 5s. No, just 3 5s.
I mean, it's not bad. You could kill him.
If you got all 3 1s again, that'd be hilarious. Oh.
No, we're good. Okay.
Boo.
We're good. Cool. End of the turn.
End of.
So if you use precision, everyone's saying you should be slow rolling because of the way
Yeah,
you
you
keep going
should.
until it dies and then it
Yeah, you
continues.
absolutely should. You should slow
Not
roll.
gonna lie, I've not been listening to you guys. I've been pushing buttons.
So
and-
precision means you can attack the unit, or on a critical hit, it then targets the character.
What?
no.
No.
If you have precision, you can choose to allocate successful wound rolls to a character model. So if I read it to you word for word, Josephine.
You just did. We'll assume that you were right. And I was right.
No,
and
no,
we're
no.
all right.
No, I think we're just clarifying it for the chat.
Everyone-
No, this is
Right.
important. We changed it at the point in which I looked at the rule only because I'd realised that Joe could allocate, right? So the way precision works, weapons with precision in their profile, known as precision weapons, each time an attack made with such weapon successfully wounds an attached unit. If a character model in that unit is visible to the attacking model's player can choose to have that attack allocated to that character model instead of following the normal sequence. So what you should do at that point, I actually don't really care about fast rolling too much there. I don't think it makes a massive difference to me. But what realistically you should do is roll an attack at a time. Oh, I've successfully wounded you. On your character, please. Or I've successfully wounded you on your character, please. And the reason why... So what we actually did in that particular instance is we arguably made it worse for you.
Yeah.
Right? And the reason why we made it worse for you is you had to go, how many am I going to use to kill that librarian? So what if you just slow rolled it, the first time you successfully wounded, I could have failed my save, that librarian dies, all other attacks then go on the unit.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's why you should slow roll with precision. Because the first one successfully wounds, you go, I'm going to choose to put that on your librarian. I roll it, I fail, I die. Yeah. You go, cool, the rest of them are all on the unit now.
Because you failed 3 saves? So that means that he then would be on 1 wound then, wouldn't he? Because you failed the first one, which would have killed him because it was 2 damage.
Yep.
And then you rolled another one, which this
would have killed that one.
Would have killed that guy. And then you rolled another one, which would have left him on 1 wound.
No, because he also did another one to the unit.
Oh yeah.
So he's actually dead. Let's call him dead.
I mean,
and you put your gaunts back on. Put your 3 gaunts back on that you killed. Because you're right.
Yeah.
That's how it would have worked.
Okay.
If we would have definitely allocated the first one to the character and I would have rolled the save, there was a possibility that the first one I rolled would have been the saving throw as well. This is just the neatest way of doing it. Let's just do it this way. Okay? But chat's right. Now you know that you allocate at the point you successfully wound, you should probably slow roll.
Yeah.
Okay? Cool.
I suppose when it's character versus character, there's not going to be a million attacks, is it?
No, absolutely. Right, cool. End of your turn, Jay?
There's the number 10.
So it's now my battle round 5. I gain a CP up to 2.
I go up to 2
points.
I wasn't listening. Right.
Battle round 5, 2 CP each, Chris, and I gain 2 victory points.
Do the Stone Guard need to take another battle shock?
Right, you need to calm down. You're out of sequence again.
So Stone Guard take battle shock now. Well, no, actually, I shouldn't have scored my victory points. Well, actually, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I've got nothing that could fail battle shock on objectives, so that's fine. Stone Guard battle shock test 6. We fail. Oh no, we pass. Sorry.
Pass. You have to roll
above,
over.
yeah, above, not under. Cool. So I'm going to go to my movement phase. Stone Guard going to move up here. Oh, is that winged lunatic and infantry model?
Yes.
Cool. Okay. Let's do some shooting, Joe.
What's mad is he doesn't have an invulnerable save.
How many wounds does he have?
6.
6 wounds.
I mean, he's straight dead now, let's be honest.
Well, you don't know that.
You've finished a move within 9 inches. I'm going to move some termagants. 3 inches.
Can you do that every single time?
Once per turn.
That's cool. I like that.
So basically, we want to stay 3 inches. So he goes to there. So this guy here basically moves back. He's still on the objective, but we're away from being ballisted. Yes.
So we're going to start off with the Stern Guard. And the Stern Guard are going to shoot into the winged lunatic. The winged thingy-majigger.
Yeah.
Okay. I can see into the ruins, by the way.
Oh.
That's the thing you can do now.
Is it?
Yep.
It's not obscuring.
Yeah, if you are outside of the ruins, it gets obscuring.
That makes more sense.
Yeah. But you can shoot in and out if you're just,
And you check it all out.
But you do get cover, right? Just so you know. Stone Guard Heavy Bolter. We'll start with Stone Guard Heavy Bolter, right? I feel like I should have stayed still with them, actually. Yeah, I'm not going to charge. I'll stay still with them. Let's see what this can do if I stay still. Stone Guard Heavy Bolter. 3 shots, Joe. Hitting you on 3s now because I stay still. He's also my oath target for reference, right?
Oath.
Oath.
That oath happens regardless of whether you've got your warlord on the table.
Yeah, you just get oath all the time. I don't get combat doctrines anymore because I've used all 3.
Okay.
So 3 of them have hit you.
I am toughness 5.
Oh yeah, I'm strength 5, so 4s. But you know what? Oath. So that's 2 wounds at -1.
So 5s.
That is 4 damage so far.
Strong.
And then I have my combi weapon.
He's very fragile. Is Mr. the?
He's within 12, so I get
Mr.
rapid fire.
Shielded Prime.
So I hit you on 3s because I stood still, because it's a combi. Oh no, it's not a combi weapon, but I get oath. It is a combi weapon, sorry, but I don't get a heavy. That's what I'm saying. It's not heavy. So I hit you once. 4+, no wounds. Oath. 4+. That's a mortal wound.
Oh, I'm down to 1.
Is he more of a supporting character as opposed to a punch? Yeah.
He'll get a BAFTA for best supporting character.
So Mr. the Ballistus is going to shoot his Ballistus last cannons into Mr. the Winged Dude, and he's going to shoot Frag and Storm Bolters into Mr. the Termagants.
I'm going to spend a CP
Okay.
on rapid regeneration
On
the Termagants.
for a 5-up for no pain.
Yeah.
Okay. So last cannons. Hit you once, but oath. Hit you twice. 2s. Wound you both times.
-3.
-3.
He's dead.
He's very dead.
Boop.
Then we're going to Storm Bolter you. Bolters of the Storm. And I think I might have been doing this wrong. No, I did do it right. Good, okay. So Twin Storm Bolt. 4 shots, hitting on 3s. Wounding you on 3s. That's a cocker. 2 wounds so far, sir.
I've got a 4-up save. No. I've got a 5-up save, but I'm in cover, so 4s.
Yep, correct.
And then I've got a 5-up, feel no pain.
You have. Cool, 1 dice. 2d6 blast. For just a 6, actually. Hitting you on 3s. Oh, that's boo hiss boo. Wounding you on 3s. That is 2 more wounds, sir. And then AP nothing.
So 4s.
Yep.
They're fine.
They're good. Okay, sweet.
What a dream world we live in.
From Pip, thank you very much. Could any of your units gone to ground?
Yes.
In the terrain to gain the feel no pain?
You don't need to gain. No, you don't gain feel no pain if you go to ground. 1 CP go to ground, you gain stealth and the benefits of cover. So you can do it in the open. You can do it in the open. So you get -1 to hit and you get the benefit of cover.
Kept that quiet, didn't he?
I mean, it's cool.
I mean, I could have read the rules.
It's
but,
cool.
you know,
Rules, right?
but you know, who reads rules nowadays?
Anyway, turn, Mr. the Chris. We both gain a CP.
Whee!
And
You're
more
on 3,
importantly, you're still within 3 inches of that objective.
Yeah.
So more importantly, Joe will get 2 of the finest victory points.
I'm going to spend my 2 CP to pass my
Insane bravery.
insane bravery.
So you do it after you've taken the test,
Oh.
and it's 1 CP.
Oh, it's 1 CP, is it? You do it after you've done the test.
Yeah, so do the test.
So,
8. So you don't need to spend a CP, Joe.
oh, I am.
It's better. It's better now. It's 1 CP. Do it after the test, and you can use it as many times as you want.
much.
Does your winged boy have a feel no pain enhancement?
He did. He's dead now.
He did. He had a 4-up feel no pain.
That's silly.
Yeah.
That's silly of you.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have done, when he had 1 wound left, I would have done 6 damage to him.
I mean, Joe's won anyway. Maybe for next time.
Oh, he's dead. I did forget the whole time that he had feel no pain. But, you know,
I forgot my captain also had a feel no pain of 5+ all game. So we both did it.
we both did it.
It was fine.
Together,
No enhancements
Together
were had.
we're losers.
So we've both taken a feel no pain enhancement and neither of us used it.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do now...
Sounds like how I play every game of 40k. I remember rules as each game goes on.
What turn are we on?
It's turn 5, Joe. This is the end of the game.
Oh, is this my last turn, is it?
You just won, Jay.
Yeah.
Joe, you just won.
Oh, I'll take it. Okay, cool, yeah. Tyranids OP. There we go.
It was actually quite close on the whole.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
I mean, if I'd actually read the rules and remembered other strategies...
But this is key. This is important, right? So this actually, if we're honest with you, this does add some kind of like
Truth to it.
validation to what I said at the start.
Yeah.
I've kept Joe away from the table in 10th edition. I've kept most of the lads away from the table in 10th edition. I have given them access to the rules, but I kept you away from the table simply because I wanted this to be a genuine learn to play session.
Yeah.
Now, do we normally do 3 hours and 45 minutes for a game stream? Never. We never spend 3 hours and 45 minutes. But when you also think that the first 45 minutes we hadn't rolled a single dice,
Yeah.
we wanted to learn this game live with you people. We've asked lots of questions. We've done lots of rules digging. I would go as far as to say that I think we found a couple of issues and gaps in the rules writing. No surprise, it's a Games Workshop rule set. It's always going to be the case. There's definitely, for me, some things that need FAQing. Now, it does seem clear that when you have an attached unit and a leader, they count as a single unit for all rules purposes. But Pip has already said that on their stream, they said that when the bodyguard unit dies, he then becomes a separate unit and Oath doesn't count. But there's two contradiction answers there.
Yeah.
I also think there's a lot of stuff in this game which seems to, in my opinion, encourage more slow rolling than what we have done in the past.
Yeah.
The precision being one, and the psychic keyword in the unit when you've got anti-psycho weapon being another. And this is something that I'm not sure is by design or intentional, but it's certainly encouraging us to slow down a bit.
Well, the thing is, though, we're not shooting as many shots anymore, are we?
We don't seem to be, no.
There's much less attacks. There are re-rolls, obviously, but there's much less attacks going out from the units that are shooting.
Yeah.
So you can, in theory, take that time to do.
Now, what we can't really actually comment on is the power of Space Marines or the power of Tyranids in this particular stream, because it's not optimised, okay? We've both had characters running around who aren't attached to units who normally would be in a 2,000 point game. We also don't have 2,000 points. What I can say is if I was to build an optimised Space Marine list in 2,000 points, Oath of Moment feels like it could be very strong. I wasn't sure how strong it would be. I feel like it could be very strong.
So if we doubled this, everything that's on the table, right? So
Yeah.
2 Screamer Killers, 2 Ballistas, right? 2 Ballistas with Oath of Moment goes turn 1, that kind of effect is dead. Turn 2, that kind of effect is dead. Before they've even touched you.
And I also will go as far as to say that when we've seen some of the detachment rules for the other chapters, like Black Templars and stuff like that, and Blood Angels, combat doctrines give your whole army fullback, shoot and charge for 1 turn. Give your whole army advance and charge for 1 turn. Very good. It's really good.
Do you know what else is really good?
What's that?
Zeno, gifting 5 memberships.
Love you,
Thank very
Zeno.
much.
Hero. She was getting up at 4:30 in the morning, Chris, to start watching us from the start. I don't know if she actually achieved that, but that's what she was going to be doing. Amazing.
Scroll back to the beginning, see if she's commented.
I'll wait.
See if she says committed. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I would love to know what you guys think in the comment section below. I think as a core rule set, although we found a couple of little gaps and issues that I will be messaging to my guy in the design studio, on the whole, I actually really love the addition. And obviously, as we experienced when we talked about piling, be very, very careful how you read the rules. Unit and model is very, very different, for example. I got that one wrong, and you guys and Chris got that one right. There is a couple of, like I said a few times already, there's a couple of little nuanced changes from 9th edition that are going to catch some people out. So just give it a read over. And when you first get to the table against your first player, unless you're at an event, of course, just take your time, chill out, relax. Just go through the rules properly. I would encourage you to go down to 1,000 points. Play the basic mission in the rule book. Play that the first time. Don't come in with full secondaries and full primaries and all that kind of stuff, because there are little changes that you're gonna notice. We spoke about a few times about how you can't end on an objective marker, and Joe automatically, just because it's a habit, put that model on top of an objective marker. You can't do that. And it caused. I came over here going, I just charged through the doorway, but you put the objective in the way, so I couldn't just charge through the doorway. There's things that have changed which I'm not negative about. I'm positive about it, but it's going to catch people out in the early days. And one thing I do think. And Chris said this right at the start, and I actually now 100% think it's something we're going to need to do here at least as a channel, is work out what we use for battle shock tokens.
Yeah.
It's a big deal, because not being able to use stratagems on them came up more than I thought it would.
Yeah.
So we need to be able to...
We got loads of the objective markers from Warhammer Fest, didn't we?
Yeah, we won't use them to start with, but I'm going to probably... I know a person who makes little acrylic markers and stuff, and I'm going to probably ask them if they can make me a pack of battle shock markers.
Yeah.
Maybe we could even sell them through the web store, but I think that's something we're going to need.
Yeah.
100% we're going to need them. It's really, really important.
Especially in those bigger games. Lots of units everywhere.
Yeah.
Things like when we've already seen the AdMech bombardment preview rule.
Well, if you think, if you double the Tyranid army, that's a lot of units.
Yeah. How did you feel? So you genuinely hadn't really read the rules. We've talked about them a bit in the channel group chat, but you haven't really read the rules. So you have absolutely come and played this game completely from scratch, or with the exception of having 9th knowledge.
Yeah.
How did you feel?
Really enjoyed it.
Yeah?
It is simplified.
Oh, Joe won, so we enjoyed it.
It's simplified, not yet. Yeah, because I'm not a bad loser, but if I do lose, I am furious. No, obviously, it's very similar to 9th edition in terms of the core rule set that you use and you play with. Obviously, the only thing that you need to learn to work on, right, when you've got a rules lawyer in the corner, about how you use the terminology for critical, sustained, devastating. right?
But that is important as well, because
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people go, oh, it's exploding sixes, but it's not. It's exploding critical hits.
Yeah.
And that's important because there's things out there that will tell you that you get a critical hit on a 5+ or a critical hit on a 4+. For example, when you see anti-psych 2+ devastating wounds, that means it triggers a critical wound on a 2+, and devastating wounds activates off of a critical wound.
Yeah.
So people go, oh, devastating wounds, 6s to wound do mortals. No. Critical wounds do mortals.
Yeah.
So that language is important. And it's more important so that you as a player don't just go, oh, it means 6s do mortals. You go, oh, hang on, no, this means that 2+s do mortals.
Yeah.
That's important.
And also, the change in cover is much better now.
Yeah.
So, Space Marines always in cover with the 2-up save.
Was nonsense.
It's just infuriating.
Yep.
So now you can shoot at Terminators in cover and actually feel like you can do damage and hurt them.
Do you know, one of the biggest things I think that I felt throughout this game is the reduction in AP and melee makes a massive difference for Space Marines. So when you go, oh, it sucks, Space Marines now don't get cover. Yeah, but if everything in the Tyranid army today, apart from the Carnifex hitting me with AP1, and I just go, armor contempt, cool, my Terminator's still got 2+. It's a big deal, that. Really good. Really, really good.
Effing armor.
What do you think, Chris?
I thought it was very interesting. Being, as I said, I've been away, so I have dabbled reading bits and pieces here and there, but I've not got my head too much into it, being at work, etc. So seeing it actually, I'm a kinesthetic kind of learner. That's really helped. But the wording is the thing that's going to get me going. As you already mentioned, critical hits, critical wounds, devastating, blah 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 blah, anti. I think that's going to be the bit that I have to double read a lot of the time, just to be like, right, what am I doing here? And even if I have to make myself a little cheat sheet, I think it is a simplified version in that kind of aspect.
Yeah.
But
I think in 2 to 3 months' time, it will become our new language, and we'll all be used to it. I don't think it'll be a problem.
I think in terms of the Leviathan box set in itself, I think the Tyranids have a much more synergistic, I don't know if that's a word, but I'm taking it, a much more synergistic army.
Okay.
There's much more synergy within the Tyranids than there are in the Space Marines. Because you've got two characters in the Space Marine half that can't join unit.
That should be able, that can join a unit, but can't join what's in the
any of
box.
the units that's in the box. Obviously, you get a lot of mileage out of Oath.
A huge amount of mileage.
Huge amount of mileage out of Oath. But with the Tyranids, you've got you've got a couple of synapse creatures. You've got something that can sit in the middle, that hands out, feel no pain.
So what we haven't seen is the combat patrol rules, okay, for these particular sides of each army. So it might be that the combat patrol rules. They've stated the combat patrol rules for each faction are different to the actual rules, and the reason why they've done that is so that you can just use each combat patrol box and they'll be balanced against each other. So it might be that in the combat patrol box there's different rules for joining units. Maybe the apothecary can join a unit in the box. Who knows?
I think when I saw pictures of the combat patrols out of this box set, you don't get some of the models.
Interesting.
I think you don't get all the models.
So he probably drops the apothecary off because he's useless in this list, really.
Because if you think like this half of the box set versus, for instance, the Space Wolves. Combat Patrol, which is an Invicta Warsuit, a unit of intercessors, a lieutenant, and 5 Reavers.
Can't remember.
Or Hounds of Morkai, whatever they're called. So that versus this, that's a huge, huge difference. So it'll be interesting to see what they do to balance it out.
Cool. Anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed the stream. Please smash that like button if you have. At the moment, the first time we will return to the channel, because I'm going to have a couple of days off after the last 24 hours, 40 hours, is going to be Tuesday, and hopefully we'll be using the new mission deck, and depending on how much Joe gets done, zero pressure, genuinely, we may be using slightly bigger forces than we've got tonight, because we were lucky enough to receive 2 Leviathan boxes from GW.
You're off on Wednesday, aren't you? No, Monday.
I'm off on Monday, yeah.
So
is it members only Tuesday, or are we doing open?
Members only chat Tuesday.
Yeah.
So everyone can watch. Members only chat day, right? I'm not about on Monday because I'm getting my poppies coloured in.
So what I might, because I've built all of the Tyranid half, right? What I could do is build a couple units from the space. If I can get 1 or 2 extra units for both halves,
that'd be great.
Then
I'd like another unit of Terminators, only because I want to add a Terminator character to the other unit, and I'd like the other unit of Sternguard. I think 2 ballistas might be too much.
The 2 most powerful units in the Space Marine.
No, I think 2 ballistas would be too much.
It would be. Yeah. I feel like.
I'm just saying, Jay. I think that might be too much.
2 ballistas is mad.
So, I mean, even if I just get the Terminators so I can join the character to a unit to see how the captain works with Terminators would be nice.
Yeah.
But hey, don't panic about it. You know, you're a busy man anyway. You've got lots to do. Thank you guys for hanging out with us today. Is there any bonus, extra super chats or anything we need to talk about?
Stick Monkey right on the end there. £5, and it's for me. Not you. For me.
Okay.
By Chris a pint for doing a cracking job on the deck today.
This is the first time Chris has ever done a deck, and I literally showed it to him about 45 minutes before we went live. So thank you so much, mate, for coming and saving the day.
Don't shout too much yet because I've still got to press some 2 more buttons.
Super easy. You just have to press end screen.
And then
not
credits.
stream, and then end credits, and you'll be good.
Oh, I knew that in the head.
You guys are amazing. Let us know in the comment once the video is no longer live. Please, please, please drop a comment in the video description, in the video comment section below. Let us know what you thought of the new rule set. I'm super interested to hear what the community thinks. We live in a little bubble in a little echo chamber. I'm massively positive. These are fucking game changing.
I love them.
They're so good.
And as I was losing units, I'm like, cool, that's over there. I've got less to look through now.
These are game changing.
Especially, the thing is, though, once we've learnt them, once we know the actual unit rules, that I go, oh, cool, I need this one here. This is my stratagems.
Yeah.
The rest goes on there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then if I need them, then
if I need them, I just show them to my opponent.
Yeah, I've just got one card.
100%.
And that is for Brom, right? Right. No longer have I got when you're on deck and you've got 3 boxes strewn across the table.
The only thing I really hope is they also release maybe 2 cards extra that have the core rulebook strats on them as well. So you literally just have a pile of 2 stratagem cards which have got all of them on there.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that. Anyway, you guys are incredible. Love you lots. Thank you so much for joining us. Anything you want to say?
I've had a great time.
Have you?
Yeah.
Chris, anything you want to say?
No, that's it. Good
Okay.
night.
Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye. Have a wonderful time.